Alright, here we go. Elden Ring stream. Let's get to it. Let me start sharing this stuff. Let me see. Do my sounds work? Yep. Okay. Make sure. Yeah, I got sounds now, y'all. I'm fancy. I wonder what's taking us so long. 8-team live multi-stream event. I wonder what creators they picked. Oh no, here we go. We got Fighting Cowboy, a Burrow. Yo, Fighting Cowboy, he gets on everything, bro. Well, I mean, he gets on a lot of the Souls-like stuff, but. Hey, Afro Senju's up in here. Saikuno. Let me refresh the page to see if it's ready. The Night Hunt 8-team live stream event. Hey. Where's my iPhone? It's supposed to start. Today is the 28th and it is 6 p.m. Where's stream? Okay, so I'm not bugging. So yeah. So we're waiting. We're still waiting. Just nudging your bedpost. Just a line in the sun. Nudging your bedpost. Just a line in the sun. Copper heart. Breaking in. Sipping for the wrong team. Going down. In a new round. Sugar, we're going elsewhere. Yo, Tony, what's good, bro? Yo, I got a YouTube strike today. I don't know if you saw the community. Well, no, I didn't put it on the community post because I wasn't sure. I wasn't even sure if I was supposed to be doing this stream, but yeah, because I posted the Nintendo Switch unboxing. Somebody got a Nintendo Switch and they unboxed it. Other people was posting it, but I see the difference. What they did was that they they posted the video, but then they blurred it, and then some people only show images, so I guess that don't count. Me, I showed the actual video of the person unboxing it, so fuck it. I'm not even gonna get mad. I knew it was a risk doing it anyway, so. Damn, there's another video that came out today of someone actually powering on the Switch 2 and using it. Yeah, they coming for that. They gonna come for that. I've seen mad videos get taken down just over the course of since that video came out to now. So yeah, they gonna come for that. It's this company called Web something, and then they've worked with Nintendo in the past to do like mass takedowns. I hit them up to see if they could remove it. I said, yo, I'll take the video down. I'll never do it again. Like, just remove the copyright so YouTube can remove my strike, because that shit sits on your account for 90 days. Video's unavailable. I know you're not dead ass. Chat disconnected. Wait while we reconnect you. Do you have the stream up? Do you have the actual stream up? Is it doing that for you? Video unavailable.
Listen, Dewey So in the building.
Okay, so there's
Hoodie So in the building.
Gazer. Oh, it's back up. Hey, let's go. We back. That was crazy. I thought they was coming to clip me. I thought the YouTube boys was coming to clip me.
The night farers, the will to cross the endless night and fight on, till every shred of their being is ground away.
Let me open it up. Let's go. Wait, I didn't see that character, that Nightfarer. Shorty with the harp. That's new to me. It's a countdown. Yeah, peep here. Okay, we get more Night Lords. But I gotta put my headphones in. I know this shit echoing. I know this shit is echoing. I love the fact that this is only $40 too. This is dope. They knew better not to overcharge me. That might be my favorite character, the Executor. Let's go. 50 seconds left. Oh, I didn't even know I didn't have my camera on. Here we go. Here we go.
At first, there was peace, then came the Night Reign. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Elden Ring Nightrign, the Night Hunt.
I'm Jake Lyon. I'm going to be one of your hosts here, helping to take you through this show. And it's honestly, it's an honor to be here, standing alongside you guys. I've been a fan of these games for 10 years now, and so to be here and help showcase this first in-depth look really into the entire game of Elden Ring Nightrign is really exciting.
It's absolutely amazing. My name is Shio Wager, also joining beside Jake today. Also a big fan of the franchise, a big fan of breaking things down related to casting, analyzing. It's going to be amazing. Beside me as well, the very stylish, the very legendary Dan Tack. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yo,
I'm a member of the
got that coat
Namco Entertainment America team, and I'm here to give you the deep dive.
You see it's 78 for Medic. Yeah, I see you post that in the chat.
Amazing, so good. Now when it comes to the actual game itself, if you're not really
some people will not
familiar
just
with
gonna
Night
not
Reign,
just
coming
like
and
it.
asking, what is
Just
this
gonna
game?
not
So
like
releasing
it
very
because
soon. What do we have in store, Jake? What is Night Reign?
multiplayer.
Yeah, so
They
we
feel like
know
it's
a
a
lot of
cash
people
grab.
probably tuning into
That's a
the stream
narrative
have been
going on out
watching,
there.
like,
But
all
I
of
don't know.
the
I haven't played it.
content
I don't
we've
know.
been
So I don't
dropping so
know.
far about the game and looking to get into
That's
the
still a pretty
nitty-gritty.
good score,
We
though.
will do that, but to get
Mostly
everyone
positive.
up to speed, up to the baseline, this is a built from the ground
Every
up
game don't have to
multiplayer
be a 90,
experience.
99.
You're going to take on Night Reign in parties of 3,
people
going
like
after a
single-player
round
souls,
and
yeah.
challenging a certain Night Lord each time. If you're able to survive the first day,
Yeah,
the
they're
first
trying to
night
draw
boss,
in a new
the second
audience
day,
with
the
this
second
game
night boss,
and
then
give
you'll
the
survive and
existing players
challenge that
something different
Night Lord,
to
of
play.
course, to see if the run is ultimately successful or if it ends in defeat.
Yeah, it's a day-night cycle, 3-player co-op. Very fast-paced, lots of action inside this game. It's absolutely amazing. Night Reign is actually available on the 29th at 3 p.m. Pacific. At the same time, also at 9 p.m. Pacific for PlayStation and Xbox. It's going to be amazing. Now, there's a pre-order also available. What's that all about?
Yeah, you'll be able to get a unique gesture if you pre-order in time. And like you said, you still have time for that. Get the It's Raining gesture, which I love. And also, of course, we've got different versions of the game. We've got the deluxe and the collector's edition for those who want to get in on the DLC, who want to, have options. As far as the collector's edition is a pretty sweet Wilder statue that fans are going to be able to cap. I know a lot of super fans are going to be snapping that one up right away.
Yeah, and now the big thing about this
Yeah,
game
that Wilder
itself, right,
statue
Dan,
looks
when you're
dope.
playing it, when you're jumping in, there's a decision to make before
The
you
beta
get
was fun.
into
I played
that
that. I couldn't
field
even get
of
into
play,
the
right?
beta.
There's classes, there's
I
characters
signed up too
actually
late.
inside this game. Talk to me a little bit about the characters. How did they work inside the game?
Yeah, absolutely. So you have a selection of 8 different characters to play as, and they sort of represent different fantasy archetypes. So you can get in there, like if you're like me and you like to play a big bonk character, hit things really hard. The Wilder and the Raider are great choices. In fact,
Nice.
the Raider is one of my favorites. You can actually you plant your feet in the ground. You can actually punch some of the biggest bosses in the world. Just hit them. Actually punch them. I really like the Wilder because he's really versatile and he's got a lot of survivability. He can get in and out of battle really easily with his grappling hook claw shot.
Nice.
And he also has the ability to basically cheat death. So if you're an aggressive player and you like taking chances, the Wilder gives you that extra chance. A lot.
Yeah, you
of the
could
time.
take one
That's
critical
amazing.
hit.
So characters
Yep.
are in the game. They have passives, an ultimate, an ability.
Yo, the Sly Crow. What's going on, bro? The
I
game's
think
gonna
some
be
of the
interesting to see how
characters that
long
the fans are
the
gonna love
community
the
will
most
support will
are
be.
Iron
I hope
Knight
it
and
thrives.
Recluse.
I hope
For
it
me personally,
thrives.
those have been
I really do.
Interesting because Iron Knight brings this ranged bow user playstyle really into the forefront. So people who want to specialize for that have unlimited arrows in Night Reign. So they
I think
really
it'll be
built that
successful.
playstyle
I
to
think
be
it'll have
viable
some
from the ground
success.
up. And I think strategy-wise, it's going to be a very strong character that not
I don't
only
think
a lot
it'll
of
be
fans are going to
blow everything out the water, but I think it'll have like a nice player base
might use to
stuff.
great effect in challenging some of the Night Lords.
Absolutely. Now, the Executor was also revealed a little while ago. Talk to me about the Executor, the
Sure.
parry mechanics. So much fun, stylish in terms of play as well.
Yeah, I mean, you could turn into a giant wolf creature. So that's pretty
crazy.
freaking sweet, right?
You thought
Yeah,
you were the
that's
boss,
gonna be
I'm
my
the
favorite
boss.
character.
You
That's
become a boss of your own.
Executor.
And,
Yeah.
and if you do like parrying, it is an excellent push-pull. You can sit there, you
That
can do a
Doom
couple
game
of
has
defensive
potential,
blows where
really?
You can actually hit back with extreme strength.
I
You can
might
actually
try
knock
that.
the
I was
boss
thinking about
out.
trying that
Yeah,
out.
no.
Just have your whole team bully him after a good parry. That's a lot of fun.
It's absolutely amazing. The big thing too with it being a 3-player co-op is you're talking about team
I
compositions.
was thinking about
now,
trying
right?
that
So when it comes to
that
playing
Game of
as a team
Thrones
as
game
well,
out too,
are
King's
everyone
Row.
kinda, slot
I
into
was
one
thinking about trying that.
Wilder, one Raider. Can you actually stack some of these characters together? Have we seen like crazy comps like that happen?
Yeah, absolutely. There's no limit. So if you want to
snap,
play
yeah.
three Wilders or three Iron Eye, 3 Iron Eye is a really great range composition, by the way.
Yeah.
You can mix and match as you please. So you
Nice.
can make the group that works for you and supports your play style or your
Nice,
group's play
nice.
style.
Yeah.
Nintendo has
fact,
Dust
however,
Bloods.
though,
Yeah, that's coming out next
There
year.
were 8, right, Jake, in total?
That's
There's gonna
confirmed
be 8. Are
multiplayer.
you
That's
telling
confirmed
me
to be
we've got
another
something to
multiplayer
reveal
game.
today,
I'm
Dan?
telling you, we're going to reveal the 8th Night Fair right now.
Sounds dope. Hey. Trying to get my stream taken down. They're playing this copyright music. They better have whitelisted this. I hope Evan, this is whitelisted this for this stream.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Dude,
Yeah.
come on, that's too sick.
So what we have here is the Revenant, our 8th Night Fair.
Revenant.
Sort of a backline necromancer or summoner class.
Nice.
So if you're interested in that kind of play style, this one's for you. Now you got a little interesting taste of it there, but why don't we get more into her abilities and see how she actually works in gameplay?
Yeah, let's dive right in and look at some of the abilities, the class
You're
entirely.
gonna be on this
what
day
is
one.
Revenant inside
I don't
Night
even know, bro. There's so many games out right now. That's 2 days from now, right? That's Saturday, right? I mean Friday, right? Yeah, I probably won't cop day one. Like this check, I got mad bills to pay, and I'm trying to pay down on my debt, so I probably won't even buy this day one. But we will be on it. We will be on it, and I will stream it. What system are you getting it for? What system are you getting it for? Because I don't think it has crossplay. I don't think this has crossplay. Well, I don't know. Let me know if it does. I got to get a mic now. No crossplay.
I mean,
on PlayStation.
that is just wow.
Okay.
That is amazing. We got Dan changed up into Revenant Blue as well. You know, matching the pace of a Necromancer. I mean, that's fun. Talk to me a bit about those abilities as well. So the main one for her is what?
Absolutely. I can't wait to see her in play today.
Yeah.
So her passive ability allows you to actually resurrect slain opponents.
Oh, nice.
So when you're in the map, clearing camps and taking on foes, they'll
So I might get it on
appear as your
PlayStation too,
allies.
because
You're
I don't
actually
know.
turning
I
your
don't
enemies
think
against you.
Wow.
This is actually
a
really
lot of
pertinent
my
in some
other
the
friends
boss
are going to
fights,
be
too. If they
interested
have
in
ads
this.
to summon,
So
you're
I'll
gonna
just run with
get
you and your
advantage from
friend.
those as well. Not only that, she has 3 core main summons. The family.
Yeah.
Okay. And of the 3, the highlight is Sebastian, the giant skeleton.
Yeah.
And so her ultimate, not only does it res your fallen
Yo,
friends,
Crow, if you're still in
it
the
also
chat,
gives
are you gonna
basically so an
are you
invincibility
gonna
buffer
cop it
that
day
won't
one?
let you go below 1 HP.
Nice.
So a little bit extra survivability, but it also will trigger whatever active minion you have out will do a special ability based on the one you have out. So I think we'll get to see Sebastian's special ability today if we're lucky.
Yeah, that's huge. So Revenant will be being just played today on stream. You have a few of our creators are going to be rocking her, and it can be different every time, right? A lot of people online were talking about it, Jake. You know, what does she scale with? I believe it's faith, and that's really important to have that in the game as well, right?
Yeah, and so typically
I'm
a
not
lot of
getting
your
this.
damage on Revenant is going to come
Really?
from spellcasting.
You're not interested in it at all?
Like pretty much everything in Night Rain, you can take a character and build it in for a certain run
I'm
in a
more
way
into
that
a
maybe it
rematch.
wasn't fully intended for. If you find the right
What's
loot, if you
rematch?
decide to go that direction, you can play a melee Revenant. We're not going to stop you. It might not be the best idea considering you don't have that much vigor to work with, but
Yeah.
I guarantee you there's going to
Oh,
be
the soccer game. Yo, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I missed the beta.
Spellcasting and think about
Yeah,
the
I definitely wanna play that.
That buff could be
That
great
shit
for
looks
some
so fun.
allies
I
that
was
wanna
watching
get
people
in
play it.
aggressively. Dan, what are some of the strategies
soccer
you've seen
game, yeah, I'm
around
definitely
Revenant that have
copping that.
made it look the most effective for
Yes.
players jumping in?
So Revenant can be challenging because obviously she doesn't have
When
a
does
very
that come
high health
out?
pool. So
Yeah.
you want to stay out of the way of danger most of the time, but you've got your minions to kind of do that for you.
Nice.
Oh,
So
the
day one
Necromancer
Game Pass,
fantasy.
say less.
In a
You
way.
gotta buy
So
it. Let's
you're
go.
you're gonna be getting in those
Let's
camps.
go.
You're kind of a support for the rest of your team. You're kind of like a team commander almost, in the
Nice,
sense of
yeah.
a traditional necromancer backliner, where you're like watching what's happening, you're filling in the gaps where you need to be. And of
I'm
course,
sharing
you
the
can
link to the
You
stream.
can dish
I'm
out
paying
some
attention.
extreme damage.
Yeah.
Absolutely, from the backline, using magic, using spells. Definitely a good pick for casters, but also, again, if you like summoning stuff, this one's for you.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. Lots of micromanaging, lots of big brain stuff. So, you know, me personally, love the Raider. Turn the brain off, go punch bosses.
Yeah,
You
I
have a
like
big
the Raider.
brain,
That's gonna
pick
be one of my
Revenant,
other
maybe pick
favorite
Iron Eye.
characters.
It's a big deal. For all the brains that are watching here today and the 8 captains that are with us playing, I want to break down the format of what we're going to be looking at, what the challenges each year are going to be coming in, and you know what the overall rules for the game so far. So Jake, you went over it a little bit, right? But the format for the game, there's a day, a night, a day, a night, then a Night Lord. So 2 days in total of gameplay, 2 night bosses, then a big Night Lord, correct?
Exactly, and for our competition, exactly here, how we're having these 8 teams compete against each other is that they're going to play 3 full runs against 3 different Night Lords, and so they get 1 shot at each Night Lord.
Second week
and we're
of
going to be
June. Come on,
scoring
July
them based on the
June.
results. Which
Okay,
Night Lords
second week
are
of
they
June.
able to
Okay,
take down?
all right.
You know, and ultimately, it'll be curious to see because we've got some very strong players in here. There could be teams that clear it all. We've got some tiebreakers in store. Should that be the case, but. I mean, we've seen a lot of runs fail in Night Ring. It's got that signature challenge that fans of the series have come to expect, and I think maybe even some of our most experienced streamers here today could find struggles depending on the run that they're on.
No, absolutely. We've talked about it a little bit too and seen it as we played the game, all of us in total. You could fail in your preparation in the daytime. A night boss could take you down in the nighttime as well. When it comes to the score too overall for these teams, looking at the score breakdown as how things are going, they're gonna have to just run at this 3 times in total, right? So while they're playing this, they're trying to get these points up. The harder night bosses you're fighting, the harder Night Lords you're getting as well.
My son Afro
You see on
Senju's
screen
on
These are the 3 Night Lords we're looking at today. So a lot of people have seen Gladius. It's like a 3-headed dog beast. It's really, really cool. That's 1 point, one of the earlier Night Lords in the game. After that, Libra, who Dan, I think you've said is, I think maybe even the hardest Night Lord inside the Night Raid, right?
We're going to see Libra today.
We're going to see Libra today. And after that, Caligo as well, that none of these teams have actually faced or know much about. So we've kind of kept this last boss from them. They've had some practice on the previous ones. But at the same time, you know, when it comes to playing for a score, playing for things here today, these 8 teams, what are they going to be winning, Jake?
Because it's great if we had some kind of like trophy or like
rematch is June
prize.
19th. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I'm
That would
thinking.
make a lot of sense, right? Given that it's a competition.
Hey, look at that.
Just a little bit, yeah. So the team that wins this is not like a first, second, third place thing. The #1 team that wins this, the 3 players that win today, get Guardian's Great Shield that Jake's holding over here, doing a really good job. I see the muscles being flexed. It's a heavy thing.
I want that sword.
Surreal, man. Like,
We got Wilder's
swing that sword around.
yeah, Wilder's great
Yo,
sword. Like,
if they
completely
sell
down
that
to
sword,
every
I'm
inch of
buying it.
detail and
I don't care what
scratch.
nobody say.
And then Wilder's buckler as well, which I would say
This
is
is
the
what you
best.
actually get the buckler parry with.
Yeah, you can parry your problems away, parry the competition away, but amazing real-life replicas of these items in-game, which I know mean more than money to some of these players who've played for so long.
I mean, this is an incredible competition, an opportunity for these teams to come together and play. As you mentioned, a lot of very long-time fans of the series. We had talked to some of them at PAX, and players were just super stoked at the chance to compete and you know, be in this officially recognized challenge for Elden Ring Nightraigne. I know a lot of fans around the world are also tuning in to get their first glimpse on it. So it's awesome to have the community involved as we dive deeper and, I mean, reveal the Revenant for the first time. I know people are really stoked to see that game.
Yeah, we'll find a way to get these items to you in a sense. Maybe they might stay in our living rooms for a little bit and then end up in theirs afterwards.
Guys,
But
I'll keep them in my car until we need to bring
Yeah,
it'll
exactly.
be fine. Don't worry about it.
But we've talked to you guys a lot about these teams in general. We've used the word team over and over again. I want to dive in and see who these teams are. So
My son
for every
Fighting
team, there's a
Cowboy,
captain,
my son,
8 captains. Each captain's picked
Afro
2 players
Senju's
to
on
play
there.
with them. We'll dive in for Team
Hey,
Blue
my
so
guy.
far. Fighting Cowboy,
The Souls
Oro
God.
Burrow, Scott John. If you're a fan of the Souls-like series, you can know
Burrow,
and
too.
understand these are some big names, some heavy hitters coming in on Team Blue.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be one of our favorite squads, but the hits, they keep
I've never heard of
coming.
these guys.
Team Tan, led by Lil Aggie, followed up with Parkin Harbor and Star Zero Chris. This team, I think, is also going to be a very serious contender. They've got their eyes on the Sword and Shields.
Yeah, styles are all different. Team Green,
know Myth.
Roll
I know Myth.
Asu. The content is here for this team. We did some listen-ins in practice. They're really funny. I can't wait to see how they approach the game compared to our season's experts. It's going to be wild.
Team Bronze, led by
Duality, never heard
Duality
of
with
these
teammates
people.
Gino Machino and It's CBD. We'll see what they're
What
able
do I
to
think of
bring.
Mind's
They
Eye?
strategic
I like
diversity
I like what I saw.
Every team kind of
I did a
brings their
reaction
own
to it.
unique
It's on
flair
the
to
channel.
competition.
Yeah, lots of
I like what I
chemistry in that
saw.
one. Past that,
It
Team
looked
Gray,
better than the
Team
leaks.
Cloud,
Like
Afro Senju,
whatever they
Balvin,
leaked, that was
Runescape.
like
When it comes to style, this team has it
alpha
locked in, and I
footage.
feel like it could be a
This what
dark
they
horse
released
coming
looks a
into
lot
today
better.
to even take away the whole competition.
Team Purple is going to be
Why
led
is
by
TSM
Zentreya
Myth there?
with
I don't know.
teammates Donkey Bird and
I don't know.
Delicious. They're styled after the Recluse, but I'm curious to see if that's a character that they would actually bring out in the competition.
Yeah,
Zentreya.
absolutely. Team Cyan as well. The
never heard
big
of these
boss,
people
maybe
either.
even Distortion, Spicy, Lobos Jr.
Really? You think
all
so?
experienced with so
Looks
much
AI
just
made?
Elden Ring type gameplay. I'm hyped to see them play today, Jake.
Yeah, that's a squad that gets very locked in when they play. Definitely one of
I
our
know
favorites in the
Saikuno.
competition. And lastly, it's going to be Team Violet, led by Saikuno with teammates Garrick and Raditz. We'll see if they're able
Shit,
to
might as
bring
well
that
play
heat
AI,
as well.
really?
And we talked to Saikuno yesterday. We're pretty stoked to be part of the competition with so many well-known names here from the creator community.
Yeah, a lot of these creators we
I'll
saw
play
coming in at
eventually, but
varying
not for
levels
60.
of just
I
success.
wonder
We didn't see too many fails,
if
but
it
a
will
lot
be
of success
60.
all across the board.
I would hope so.
Approaching and having a little bit of expertise on every single squad, Dan. When someone's new coming into Night Reign, what advice do you have for them just jumping in for the first time?
Oh, for the first time, you know, your first few runs, it's going to be a lot of learning.
Yeah.
Like a lot of other roguelikes, you're going to have a combination of acquired skill and knowledge as you go through the game. It's going to help a lot.
Yeah.
So just getting a sense of how the game
Do you know
plays
how
is really
Sakuno
critical.
got
But I'd also like
famous?
to say, you know, maybe start with Wilder.
Nah,
Iron
how did he
Eye.
get
They're
famous?
a little bit easier to play. You know, Iron Eye, you can stay back from the action and just, you know, shoot
I wasn't
away.
watching him from the
It's,
beginning.
it's-
I'm gonna be
it's fun to
honest,
play
so I don't know
fast.
how
And of course,
he got
Wilder has the
famous.
ability
What
to
did he do?
survive.
Yeah.
And that's, again, as you're learning the ropes, that can help a lot. Especially when you're going up against the first combatant here today, Gladius.
Gladius, yeah, no joke at all if you make a mistake. That's the big thing about this type of series, right, Jake? It's like, it's such a perfect idea to make it a
don't know how
roguelike as
you got
well
in the
because you want to
Pokemon
try
streamer
again. You want to have that repeat, and we know how many times you have deaths to bosses, like 600 on some of
What
them
did
as
he
well.
do?
It's gonna be fun to see how these guys go in here and try again against these bosses too. Here are 8 teams on screen for you right now, and they're all just waiting at that round table, maybe at the sparring grounds for that expedition to start, to lock in with Gladius and get things going.
Yeah, everybody's, you know, getting prepared, and this is the area of the game where you're going to be able to access, you know, your different cosmetics, thinking about different things you want to
Sakuno
level
friends
up.
with
We talked a little
Valkyrie,
bit
pretty
about
sure that
some of the
helped. Yeah.
roguelike elements. Maybe it's a good
'Cause
moment to bring
Valkyrie and
that up.
Pokemon
Dan,
is
talk to me about some of the
pretty
relic
tight.
system that players can expect to sink their teeth into when it comes to specializing, optimizing their builds.
Yeah, so even though you're going to be starting every run at level 1,
Yeah.
you're making permanent progression as you play through the game. These relics can range in quality, so you're looking for the large gems to give you serious impact on your run. It could change your ultimate ability,
Yeah.
just give you more stats. There's a huge breadth of diversity in what you can unlock. For example, I like to play a support build, so even when I'm on Wilder, I have it set so that when I drink a flask, my teammates get the flask. When I use buffing food, it also buffs my team.
Yeah.
So when I go into a boss fight, I'm just like, here's all the buffs, and here's all the healing.
Yeah.
So it makes, you know, again, you can kind of spec your character to your own personal taste above and beyond what the character offers.
Yeah, there's like some colossal weapons in the game. I'm a big Raider main, and like I did an intelligence mind Raider build. I know it's like blasphemous.
Mine's eye is 16
But I
main
was
characters
casting
against
like
Mafia
I was
3.
casting some crazy spells playing Raider
You mean
long
the voice
range.
actor?
So like you can really tune your character to whatever you want it to be, and then have 8 different characters to play. The just skill tree paths in this game are endless, Jake.
Yeah, there are so many options. So our teams are getting ready to play. I think another aspect that we're going to see come to bear.
Linky Clay,
as they
that
start
was
to
my
go up as
mother
it runs,
freaking
looks like they're all
guy.
starting to kick off
That
here.
was my
Is this
guy,
team
man.
competition?
I
You're
love
seeing everybody
Mafia
start to lock
3.
in their heroes, and
Mafia
this is
3
where
was so
the teams
fun.
are making
Yo,
that
Noob,
first
what's going on,
really
brother?
major differentiation in terms
How you
of
doing?
what strategy they're going to bring to Gladius, this first Night Lord.
Absolutely. Looking at a few Iron Eyes all across the board as well. We see an Executor, I think, towards the bottom left there. We're tuned in with little Aggie right now. See what they're rocking. Double Iron Eye with a Duchess.
This is an extremely
Sup,
high
sup.
damage composition.
Yeah, very fragile though,
They're
right?
not going to have any frontline support
Same voice actor,
whatsoever.
that'd be
The
my
Duchess
favorite.
is going to have
I got
to be
pretty
nimble
far,
in
and
and
then
out
I
of
said,
combat.
I'm
One
gonna
of the
take a
things that the
break, and
Duchess
then I never
has,
got back to it.
not even counting her
I was
abilities,
playing it on
but
PS4.
she has
I
a
got
double
mad far,
backstep,
and then I was like, oh,
which
let me
is
take a break.
fascinating for getting out of trouble. And
Yeah.
the Duchess is going to be in a lot of trouble here because they're not going to have a front line without it. But that said, the amount of damage output this team can deal.
Okay, let's get
is
active, y'all. Here we
absolutely
go.
Absurd.
Where we landing, boys?
So Dan,
Where we landing?
we're right here at the very start of a Night
I
Reign
did
run.
love it. I
Everybody
just
is
never
hopping
came back
in
to it.
On the 29th, they're going to be
I
able to
played
start
most
a
of the
run
game.
much like
I
this.
got
And,
mad
you know,
far in
what
that
should
game.
we do on this
If I go to
first
my
stop
old
in? We know
PS4
we're always
save, I
racing against
guarantee
the
you
clock
I'm near
in
the
Night
end.
Reign. So
I
give
guarantee
people
you
a
I'm
head
near the
start.
end.
You are, but for first-time players, I wouldn't really worry about the time element at first. Just try to get a handle on what everything is and how things work.
Like
But the
you had to
time coming
basically
later,
create
that's sort of a thing you
a whole
perfect,
new
rather than
mob.
to-
Like you had to
to
get all
mess
of
with it early on.
all your bosses
So
in
clearing out
order.
the first
And
camp
you had
is
to
a very
kill the
traditional
old
opener,
people
if
that
will.
fucked you over.
This camp will take you from
Bruh.
level 1 to 2, give you some introductory consumable
that
items
game was fire.
and weapons to start off your adventure.
You gotta beat it.
basically
Man, that's a
wanna
rule
be
you
level
made up.
2 before you start any
I
other
say I love a game,
Yeah, we
then I
go
love
over to
it.
Team Green here as
That's
well. You
my-
can see
that's
that
your rule
it's
you
not
made
just the camp you start off with. There's also churches available all around that can give you more flasks. They just hit one
Oh, they getting
and walked
active.
away. So towards the top left now, that's
Does
where
the stream
flasks
look
are in
clear to
total.
y'all?
They got 4 flasks
Be
to
it
start
then?
things
I will.
off.
I will.
The rest
You
of
know
the team
what?
should be at things
Just for
like
you.
3
I'll
and
beat it.
whatnot. We can go and tune over to Team Blue as well. Look at how
I'll
they're
probably
getting
have to start
their
over, though,
camp.
'cause
Just
I
started a little
probably
bit
won't be
later,
able
but
to
we
find
have
my old
Revenant
PS4
in the
file. Maybe
pool.
I
You
will.
just
I don't
go
know.
through
I'll
camps
look on my
so
drives. I got
fast.
my-
They
I'll
just
look at my
landed, by the
drives.
way. This camp's already done.
Yeah, look, it's cleaned out already. And again, the Revenant is really great at clamp clears because of not only does she have her family friend, but she's also going to create minions from fallen foes. And as you can see, they're going for the church there. You know, depending on how the structure of your map is at the beginning, you know, you may hit churches up early, you may hit them late, or you may bypass them entirely.
Yeah, I want to go to Team Purple right now to look at just what happens in some of these.
Yeah, it depends. Like, especially if it's like a longer game for me, I take my time because I go all around. Like Final Fantasy games, like if you look at my playtime for Final Fantasy.
I know this seems like a very big BR thing. There's a circle close again.
I got like 115 hours.
They're all doing their own
That was
runs.
one playthrough.
It's not all the teams on the same map.
So yeah,
every single team is in their own seed, doing their own run, kind of racing.
You said Elden Ring Fortnite edition. I'm dead.
Like a yes/no check system every single game. Did you beat the Night Lord? So that's what we're looking for.
That's basically what it is.
I know you see everyone's kind of on the same map, but they're in their own type of games right now.
So yeah, they're all going to be facing Gladius at the end of this.
Yeah.
But how they get there is going to be very different.
True, very true. So towards the end of night one here,
this
Dan,
guy
that
Wilder, it's like a
Team Purple, we're looking at them right now. They could be
kinda
facing a different night boss compared to say someone like Team Violet, who's looking at something else entirely.
Absolutely, and again,
yo, Nick's down 3-1. Yeah, I know. Yo, Halliburton went crazy. He had a triple double. He had like 32. What was it, 32, 14, and 15 or something
That will
like
significantly change your game plan if you decide to go down that route.
Yeah, I want to tune in with Team Gray right now. Again, they found a Guardian Golem in a very different place.
It's more like a linear Helldivers
inside the game. We found a Guardian Golem inside the cathedral.
Yo, Helldivers
spawning in at the top of a fortress that these guys have to scale from the base.
Hey, my guy Afro Senju.
Where's the top of? We can go to Team Tan right now. Again, I can show you the differences in this game. That's Executor, a double Executor team with an Iron Eye.
I love it. That's very bold. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm rooting for this team now.
Oh, they got a Nagakiba as well, so they're going like the perfect item for the Executor.
See, I knew Afro Senju was going to pick the Executor. That's the same character I'm going to pick.
Down a little bit and just talk about day number one. I talked about fortresses, cathedrals. What's available on the map for teams?
Going to be OKC, Indy.
Really
yeah, I think OKC taking it. OKC taking it. I don't see Indiana being
so
OKC.
You kind of have to determine with your team, like, okay, we're level 3. How aggressive are we feeling?
Yeah.
Do we want to take on a castle? Do we want to go to the castle and check that out?
Nobody could call Halliburton.
Do we have a Stone Sword keys to do the EVGA?
Again,
yeah.
I mean,
and the bonuses that they provide.
Overrated again.
Yeah, the big thing too is every single camp inside the
killing this whole playoffs.
game on the mini-map, you can see it pulled up. It has a little emblem next to it that shows you what type is in that cap, what type of weapon is available. So if you're going up against Gladius, I believe you're looking for holy weapons as his weakness, right? Every Night Lord has a weakness, so you might go for a holy camp. You might go for a fire camp for a certain amount of weapons you like to have. So that's a big thing too.
100%, and especially if you're just starting out, getting those weapon vulnerabilities is going to help a lot.
That should be easy series. I don't know about easy because Indy's hot, man. They're shooting the 3.
Now, Jake,
they're shooting the period like very well.
Camps,
they're shooting very well right now.
The camps will change all around.
I don't know.
Is the castle.
I think it'd be
a
like
bit about that castle,
a
Jake. What's
6-game
available
series
in the center of the map? It's a big place with
I see
a lot
OKC
of loot
in
available.
6.
Yeah, the castle is definitely something that a lot of our runners are going to take on because it's one of the most powerful, dangerous challenges in the overworld, but it also has some of the best rewards. Right now, Team Bronze, they're challenging an Everjail, so they had a Stone Sword key to open this one up.
Well, they smoking that boss.
Fight. And I mean, what's crazy is with how many runs we've personally seen Shadow at PAX East and here, this is the first time that I've actually seen this come out of an Everjail, and we keep saying that every run. Like, there's always something new, even for us, who we've seen, like, close to 100 runs at this point. Talk to me, though, about this little mechanic there. Right at the end of that, they defeated a mini-boss, and they got that boss reward. That was a blue rarity, but tell me a little bit more about that looting rarity system when you defeat mini-bosses and major world bosses.
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever you beat a boss,
you're
gonna get
OKC,
depending on the strength of the boss,
they playing different right now. They really playing at a high level.
And other things like that.
Shay's getting everything.
But they also include
at the free throw line. You got
so they can
what's
be
my man name? Williams, he's playing crazy. Lou Dort playing crazy.
HP, or
Chet's contributing. You got everybody contributing. Their whole team is top to bottom, just contributors. Everybody's doing their thing.
You're going to build a completely different character composition every run.
I love that. Right now, you can see that. Yes, one team went to go for an Everjail. They fought Stoneskin Lords. It was very contained, kind of in a boss arena. Now we're invading the camp. A different team decided to go for the Red Maiden Knights. This is Team Cyan, Distortion's team. They're rocking Recluse here. Talk to me a little bit about Recluse. I mean, we see spells being casted, we see channeling happening. This is a very different type of ambiance everyone else has been watching, and these mobs are going down fast.
So Recluse is basically the core caster of this game.
Yeah.
The archetypal mage. So pretty sensitive to damage, but has an incredible depth of skills. In fact, she creates a magic cocktail based on the elements that are available, and you can create like a dozen different spells
Distortion two.
out of that. And her ultimate
who's
ability
Distortion
is
one?
amazing for your whole team. It puts a curse on the enemy, and every time the enemy gets hit by anyone on your team, they get health and FP back.
Oh, that's nuts. You just
So-
get to sustain.
You can just chain your abilities over and over on bosses, just empty everything you got on.
And she hits so hard. I want to jump over to Team Bronze here. Once again, just looking at a team that's taking on something very different from everyone else inside this night hunt right now. So they're actually inside this castle. You can see you're not going to be looking at a boss health bar down below, but a lot of these things that spawn in the castle are just strong. These are the Crucible Knights, basically a mini boss, and there's like 5 of them that spawn in.
The castle has sort of mid bosses, like this one, that will drop perks after they. So, if you can clear the castle,
they
you're gonna
wrecked
get
him.
a lot
God
of,
damn.
a lot of XP and a lot of loot.
There it is, yeah.
See here, you know.
And this is the big thing too when it comes to this game, right? So Iron Eye, you can see the inventory is already full. We're still making decisions here. Every single weapon has a passive that can help you. So increased two-handed strength, increased jump attacks, less FP consumption. You're thinking about min-maxing 24/7, even if you found the perfect weapon. And also, when it comes to fall damage, inside this game, there is none. So scaling this castle, getting out of it, a lot easier inside Night Ring.
There's no fall damage, and there's also you can grapple up sort of walls and stuff by jumping. The traversal is paramount in this game, and you have lots of ways to move around. You can sprint super fast. You have slipstream jumps to get you across. You can jump to the top of this castle if you want.
Let's look at the bottom of the castle real quick. Team Purple wanted to tune in with
I
an
see
8
why,
AP. This is the very
I see why, like,
basement
the
of
hardcore
castle we're
players-
watching right now in a different world entirely.
The hardcore
They're
Souls
facing
players
the Royal
don't like
Revenant
this,
down here,
but
struggling a little bit.
I
A
love
few
it.
players going
This
down
shit
now.
is cool
Jake,
to me.
the Revenant, usually we fight him in a big open field. In a claustrophobic dungeon like this, it's so much different.
Yeah, and Limu trying to clutch this one out is the
Dookie
only
Bird?
player left
Why would
alive
you
because
name
your
yourself
teammates
that?
are down, and you attack
What
your
kind of name
allies
is
when they're in
that?
that down state
That's
to
childish.
get them back up in the fight. But there you see it. The second time you go down in short succession, there's twice as many attacks, as much damage necessary to res you back into the fight. And oh no, they're leaving
They're running
behind.
away.
oh, they dipping on him.
Help.
Oh, here we go. See that?
Oh,
A
that's
benefit of the
bad.
Iron Eye, getting your friends up from long range.
Look at the Revenant, though.
The Revenant's got a problem with that.
He's not letting him get it for free.
He's
If she
blocking the
does
door.
go down, she's going to die and lose an entire... The Revenant's left the dungeon, chasing him
Yeah,
down through the hallway. Oh, no.
Luckily, though,
Smoke.
it's not the end of the run when you die in the daytime. So when you die at this phase, it's a setback. You're going to lose a level, but you are going to respawn as at Site of Grace. And it's also a big decision point. It's like, do you want to go back in and take on that challenge that just bested you?
Yeah.
And try to, kind of get back into the run? Or do you want to cut your losses? And some of those decision points are really key when it comes to the end game and how
That's
far
not
you
fighting
can get
cowboy.
in a run
Let's
of
go.
Night Ring.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing we noticed there in that one, Duchess was using her ultimate there, so it makes her invisible. In fact, it can make your whole team invisible. So that's a great way to get your allies up, or to get a surprise initiate on an opponent.
I want to stick with Team Blue here as we get over towards what seems like an Everjail, just to see what boss spawns out of it, so you guys can see kind of the diversity we're locking in with. We had the Stone Skin Lords before. Same type of Everjail here. You just need a Stone Sword key, and then they'll lock in with this one too.
We can also get to see some of this Revenant gameplay. I mean, this is a new character we're showing for the first time, so let's see how White Cowboy takes on a classic.
Uh-oh, the Godskin.
The
Godskin
Godskin duo.
twins.
And there
See,
she
there you
is.
go.
Spawns
A duo.
Frederick.
That's a
Not twins.
tankier summon than yeah.
Looks like they're gonna try to aggro, pressure that boss down.
Wait,
the
why
side.
they health is
Maybe
halfway?
ultimate aggro,
Why?
great opportunities for the teammates.
Wow. They're kind of using the apostles.
The bell-bearing
Why they health is
hunter
halfway down?
has also joined the fray here. So that's when you're traveling around in the overworld. Yeah, you never know where you're going to run into.
And they immediately asked to just disengage.
Yeah, this.
And
Get
these
out
are-
of there.
These are some of our strongest players in the competition. I think this is actually great for fans to see that one of the key decision points in Night Ring is picking your battles, deciding sometimes it's better to come and take on a smaller camp. I mean, they're only level 4. Fighting the Godskin duo plus a Bell-Bearing Hunter at the same time
It's a lot.
is a lot. It's
Crazy.
seriously a big risk you would take. But coming to clear a couple camps, getting a little bit stronger, maybe they'll return and take on
Yeah,
that.
They got
you can
people
come back
playing
later
already.
if you want.
Yeah.
So that's absolutely viable.
Are you talking about like
And
outside
the
of
damage
this?
actually sticks
Like,
when they come back
other
later.
players
So
playing?
It does.
the Noble, even if they come back on day 2, they're going to be rocking this one, which is huge. But I've never seen these many boss bars on a POV before.
It's a
like
lot of
4
boss
in total.
bars.
Yeah,
It's a lot of boss bars.
Lots to micromanage. Well, look at Team Bronze here next, just to see what's going down, or actually even jumping over to Team Gray. I know we're bing-bonging here afterwards. We'll check in with Bronze for a second. They're taking down the castle. If you guys want to see the Godskin Nobles taken down as well, we can tune in with Gray. That double Executor gameplay, I know they're experienced with the Godskin combinations when it comes to some of their movesets, so they're going to be parrying maybe even the roll a lot over and over again. So, yeah, here we go with Team Gray. EVGA, by the way, in a completely different section of the map.
Yeah, and you don't need to be a parry wizard to use the Executor's parry in this game. It's much more flexible. It's sort of, it's one of his special abilities. So
Yeah.
you basically set it up and then unleash.
Gotta watch out, though.
But yeah, you do need to set it up.
Body them.
Noble's a huge threat. Moonski's gonna have to get the res. Iron Eye, I think, is another great aspect. We saw another team pull this too. The arrows are really flexible to res. One pro tip we've seen a lot of teams do though is even if they're running more of like a melee focused build, we've seen some of our stronger players
Iron
still
Eye,
have a bow in the back pocket,
Executor,
tap into if
and
they want to get a res
those
off
are
in
like
a
your
difficult
three
scenario.
best,
But this team also is
best characters
not
to
feeling
use
that smoke.
together.
Just wants to chill out.
Because
and
you could
go
heal
for
your
it.
teammates from long range
Fighting
with
off a
Iron
little more
Eye.
than they can chew and seeking other
And then you got
opportunities.
the Raider.
Which is good. You got to know when to hold him, when to fold him in this game.
With his ultimate, that tombstone
It's
shit.
different for them too because they actually cleared this camp.
Nintendo's going to be at
before
Summer
doing the
Games
EVGA.
Fest.
Very different
First
to what we
time
saw
ever.
from
They
Team
need
Blue.
to be.
Half
They
of
got to
them
fix their
Team
PR.
Bronze now. This is just a world boss.
They better
might
be
spawn
there.
around. I know a lot of
And
us
they got a
ignored
new
it when we
console
first
to
tapped
show.
into Elden Ring.
A true
and
OG.
went past by. But yeah, we got the Executor just going into full beast form.
Yeah.
The
When is
entire
that
team's
again? That's in
looking down,
August, right, or
Arrows
something like
coming
that.
in.
I think it's
They're
August,
doing a
right?
good job here, Jake.
Hey, Team Bronze is solid right now. Level 10 is a fantastic place to be
That's
in this
incredible.
run.
Yeah.
If you're level 10 at the end of day 1, you are sitting pretty. That's incredible, actually. I don't know what they did.
I'm telling you, when the Crucible Knights are there in the castle, you get so much XP.
That's true. That if you can clear the castle has tons of stuff. Again,
Yeah.
risk-reward balance, right?
Absolutely.
It's confirmed
We're throwing
Switch
fire
2
pots
will be
here.
there.
Bringing Iron Eye close
When
range.
is that
of the business.
again?
Her dash leaves a mark, which lets everyone on your team do so much more damage. This Sentinel, it's butter in a microwave right now. Kind of the same color, right? That yellowy, meltish orange. And it's about to be real tasty for the team. Got a big boon here.
It's going to be 11 at the end of day 1. That's
Smoked.
absurd.
I don't think I've seen that before. I genuinely don't think I've seen 11 on day 1.
So as this first day turns to night, you can see that sky is darkening around us. That also means the zone is closing in, forcing our teams to that night 1 arena. Dan, walk me through what happens here as this zone of night comes in and we get towards that final arena. What can we expect next?
Sure. So as the circle closes to the final, which it's doing right now, they're going to have to face some lesser monsters, which are going to indicate what the boss they're going to be fighting is. So it can actually give you an advantage. You'll be like, oh, I'm fighting. Let's see what we have here.
We got to see what's up. While these guys lock it down, maybe we tune in to Team Violet really quick. They're actually inside the zone and looking to get to this position. We'll tune right back with that team to see what boss it is. But yeah, here's the issue.
Super risky deep in the zone here.
Yeah, they went
Yeah,
for
so
a troll and like
this-
they locked in too much.
You
Yeah.
see this a lot. When that night is falling, you have to make the choice. Do we want to spend extra time here and race against the clock as it closes in on us? The additional risk, as you can see, does not always pay off.
Yeah.
Dang,
And
smoke.
again, if you just go to the circle right away and you just sit around waiting for the boss, you're like, oh.
And then you might get to the Night Lord and not be as strong as you would like to
Right.
be.
Yeah.
So they're still gonna have
Yeah.
that chance. Looks like
Here's the
Team
first
Cam
one.
with Lil Aggie are gonna take on the Bell-Bearing Hunter, and this is one that, I mean, they look so comfy. Lil Aggie is just locked in, not a problem, especially with the Iron Eyes, right? Double Iron Eye
Double
in this
Iron Eyes
strategy.
is just so potent.
Look
Yeah,
at
they
his HP bar.
They can really kite.
Look at that.
Hunter.
Yeah,
What
they
was that?
smoking him.
So I'll tell you what that
They
probably
smoking
was. I
that
didn't
man.
see it. But between the 2 Iron Eyes and the Duchess has one of my favorite abilities in the whole game. It's called Restage. And what it does is it plays back all the damage that was done to the target
Yep.
in a very short time frame. So if you watch your friends and wait to see what they do, and then just tap that, you're doing all that damage again. So all your
Well,
damage,
that's
all
how
your
they
friends'
killing him.
damage,
That's a good
all at
combo.
once.
Two
That's
Iron
huge
Eyes,
chunks of damage.
two
That was
Iron
very
Eyes, and a
That's
Duchess.
actually
Very
insane.
clean.
Yeah.
Speaking of the team synergy there, another thing I noticed from
Summer
Team
Games
Cam,
Fest
they
is next
pick up
Friday,
a boss
June
buff.
6th.
That's
Oh,
gonna be some
shit.
of your most powerful passive.
Good thing you told me
buffs
that,
Or sometimes
'cause
active buffs that come in after a night boss.
You set a reminder,
They
Alexa.
have actually the poison and the
reminder
scarlet rot in their
for
build. So
June
playing up
6th.
those status effects, having different members maybe grab a different status effect, being ready for the Night Lord you're going to
Summer
face off
Games
against
Fest.
is really potent. And Team Tan, they're really showing their experience, looking like one of the clear favorites right now in
8
the
a.m.
competition.
Then we're gonna tap into Violet to see the other type of boss that could spawn in. So we saw the Bell-Bearing Hunter go and fight. Now we're gonna be looking at the Demi-Human Queen and the Demi-Human Swordmaster. So
you
this is a
don't-
bit different, right? It's 2 bosses
Yes.
at once.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the Queen so much, but the Swordmaster, he's kind of sneaky. You got to watch out for him. He can kill your whole team if you're not careful.
Yeah, you gotta
He's
be-
very small and very dangerous.
There's Garrick there with the Revenant playing like distraction duty.
Yep.
And so making sure that, you know, no matter what happens, the rest of the team's gonna be able to take out the Queen.
Yo, Zoe Martin, 894. Appreciate you. Welcome.
I mean, one of the key factors in Night
Welcome
Rain is
into
that
the stream.
even some of these familiar enemies still have reworked movesets, or the boss
Zoe
has been
Martin,
the,
shout out to you.
the fight
Follow.
has been reworked, i.e., having multiple enemies to face. So you need to coordinate that strategy. Of sometimes we've seen a lot of teams split up the aggro, having so that both bosses aren't aggroed on the same person at the same time, making dodging a little bit easier. It's one of those
Nintendo
key
being at Summer
strategic
Game Fest,
factors
that's
that when
big,
you
man.
hop in, and
That's big.
whether you're playing with friends or playing online,
Definitely
queuing
big.
up, that coordination, the communication is a key aspect of your success in a given run of Night Rain.
Yeah, and even if you're just
Twitch,
playing
if
on
y'all
randoms,
wonder
there's a
who
lot
I'm
of really
talking to,
interesting
I'm
data
dual streaming
that
on
is
YouTube,
on the,
so I got more.
you can see on the stage.
more
So
chat
like,
going
you
on
notice there in the
over there,
Demi-Human
so
Queen, she had
that's
a
who
rod
I'm talking to. I'm
debuff.
not talking to
So
myself.
you can actually see the debuffs on the targets and the buffs.
You
so
can
you
join the Twitch
coordinate
chat. You
between
can
that
talk in
way
here if you're in
silently.
there.
Like if you see the rod on there, like, okay,
Yeah.
my teammates are going to put rod on the target. I'm going to take perks that support that.
Let's look at 10 real quick. They're gonna just jump in as to what could be happening for Team Violet even, like just in 5 minutes. A Deathrite Bird kind of just spawned on the map on day 2. The bosses get a bit scarier. A few more field bosses end up spawning in. Right now he is staggered, he's not sleeping.
I mean, with again, this double Iron Eye Duchess comp just has the damage, just
It's
absurd,
melting.
absurd
Yeah, that's a
damage
good
output
duo
potential.
right
Yeah.
there. Iron Eye and Duchess.
Yeah, this is a great spot to see. We're gonna tap in here with Team Violet and watch them. So a lot of our teams are on to this second day phase, but this is sort of the process you can expect, right? After you beat that night 1 boss, you're gonna have an opportunity to pick your perk. Sight of Grace will spawn in if you have the runes to grab the level up, or you can reset your flasks and your FP and your HP, and then now on to the next day. Something we have seen, a little pro tip for people who want to really min-max, is we've seen some teams run off into the fog before it even clears.
You can do that.
Try to start into day 2 as quickly as possible, but now pretty much everyone is on to that day 2. Let's join Team Cyan. Looks like they're taking down a gargoyle right now, and
Wow.
tell me about where they are on the map right now. Let's go to Team Cyan and we can show that for POV, because
The gargoyle's already dead.
yeah, the gargoyle's already down.
What is happening?
This is crazy.
This is the
Common
going
is
greater
crazy.
growth event,
Flintstone
right?
staff. Yeah, I mean, okay, so we have one of the best spells in the game to take down Gladius or any boss. It's on distortion, by the way.
It's a very powerful spell.
Yeah, and
always
he's-
has
And the
been.
reduced FP skill cost for the passive, that's so potent.
Yeah,
Or the recluse.
and he has another thing to pick as well,
again,
dude. He's going
We
crazy.
talked about this a little
PlayStation
briefly,
boss
but
Jim
yeah,
Ryan
even though you're only
claims
gonna be
Bungie
wielding 1 or 2 things at
Activision,
once, all
Bungie
6 of those
acquisition is
slots
better than
matter.
Activision.
So you can stack
What have
all
they
kinds
done
of things.
since
So if you're a
acquiring it?
caster, you can
Nothing.
stack FP consumption.
What is he
perks,
talking
and
about?
Other things like that.
Yeah, and then I'll slow it down again once more. Day 1,
Like,
we
what is-
talked
what
about
is bro talking
exploring,
about?
going to POIs, seeing
No
what's
fall
up.
damage.
On day number 2, and yeah, there's no fall damage. Something that happens sometimes in these maps is called shifting earth. So a crater spawns in, there could be a mountaintop that spawns in, a biome of rot even. We'll see some cool things throughout the day. This is the crater, and on day 2, you can spend the whole day scaling these things. They'll spawn, very unique field bosses. We just saw the gargoyle. Now we got a falling star beast coming in. Maybe that's why this whole crater was made.
Maybe.
I mean, this is huge. You never see this in every single run. These guys are choosing to be here. They could be across the map doing something else entirely, but they're making quick work of this boss.
So they made the choice to come into the crater, which means they're probably going to go below, but it really depends. Everyone is different, strategy is different, and they evolve over the course of the game.
Yeah. We can tap in really quick the Team Bronze just to show you the kind of juxtaposition and the differences in how a run can look. They're on the complete opposite side of the map, in the castle, all the way at the top, taking out a Deathrite Bird. Now, we saw this Deathrite Bird on the hills for a different team. We saw these guys in the crater. These guys are now in the castle instead on day number 2, kind of working backwards compared to every other team.
And I mean, this
It's
top, the
CBD.
roof of the castle, like we mentioned, that they're on, really tends to have some of your biggest challenges in the overworld very consistently. And so it's a place that some of our more confident teams are gonna reliably be coming to seek that challenge out, get some very powerful perks. And it looks like we even got a couple legendary weapons for Teammates for Gino Machino.
Some very
and
good
CBD.
stuff there.
Yeah.
Those could really play to your build. And that's the type of thing where you find that loot early on in the run, you find that legendary weapon and you start to build towards it. You never know which drop is gonna lead you in that direction and give you that purpose overall for how
It
you're gonna
seems
build.
like
and take
they've been
on
playing. They
tonight.
probably were
Yeah, I
playing
want
like
to
way
actually
before
go
the
to
stream
Team
started.
Blue here specifically
'Cause it
real
looks
quick
like
when it comes to
everybody's
how
moving
things
with a
are looking
purpose.
like on the
You know,
opposite side of the map, inside this crater. So they've kind of gone way past where we saw the other team take that Fallen Star Beast down. They're past it even more so, taking out these big priests and going for a drop per every single mob. So the amount of loot you have in here is plentiful. After that, we got to keep moving. Speed is of the essence.
You do, because
time is of the essence.
If you're going down into the crater, remember, you have to have a plan to get back out.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're gonna keep walking forward. Here's Revenant again. The specialty
there goes
is
that Mog,
taking out mobs with absolute speed.
Mogs
And
blood.
you can see that
the
happen
blood
again.
techniques.
Everyone going down. The rest of the team maybe just looking around to see, what we're gonna be looking at towards the bottom of the crater. They're still moving. They got more stuff to get
You
past.
fight small bosses. to
I
prepare for the
recognize
big
this
fight,
golden
yeah.
fog ball, guys. That's definitely a
Where have
signal
I
of
seen that
something.
before?
Now they're gonna tap in on their side. I want to go to Team Cyan real quick. who might be
I
doing
want to see how they do
similar.
on the big
Again,
bosses.
Still looking
on the
different,
Night
though,
Lords.
right? They're
shit.
also
like the bosses
gonna
at the
tap
end.
in,
and
in
then
the exact
the
same
Night
place.
Lords.
This time with Recluse. Let's look at how fast we can get through a mob like this when you have a spellcaster that's kind of focused on that single target damage.
That's wow.
I'm in the prelates.
Yo, that damage he's getting is
I mean, these builds are
insane.
really coming online. This is one of the things I talked about with Recluse, right? Is you have so many options, so many flexibilities. If you start getting the right perks, the right passives together, and you become this monster late game damage dealer. And so the hands of somebody as expert as Distortion, we really get to see what's possible. I think Recluse with all, we talked about it a little bit, we can say more though about that first skill. You know, the ability to pull the elemental damage that you deal to an enemy, you pull that out of them, and then you're able to deploy that depending on its combination to send it back on an enemy in different unique spell combos. So there's gonna be so much.
Why is
depth in
his
that.
name
can
blanked
cook
out like that?
a lot of different
And why is
stuff.
the
Yeah,
end in
yeah.
ER? Y'all see that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Hell no.
Shake and stir it and do whatever you want with it, and you get some crazy combinations. Right here, so this is about timing, min-maxing. Lots of fire cards, we take our time to take down, but Dan talked about it, the crater. You have to solve its mysteries. You have to be upkeeping with
who's that
time
up there?
as you move around. There's hands clawing at you, parts spitting flame. You are skipping as many of them as you can because there's something towards the end of this that you really want to have, you know, just grab your eyes on.
Again, it's always about choices, right? Like,
Yeah.
You could be halfway through the run and be like, okay, we got halfway through the crater, but the wall's coming in. Maybe we should exit now.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But a lot of these teams, it looks like they're going for it.
Absolutely. We can tune in back over to Team Blue. I like going back and forth to see exactly how they're making decisions here.
Shout out to
Distortion's
Distortion
going all the
laying
way
for his
forward.
teammate there.
Cowboy instead has actually taken out every single fire cart. Looking at these hands as well, he's kind of delayed a few meters back from where we saw the other team, but has more runes in total, so they'll get another level up, go up to 9, and now they're moving through all the hands. So it's very different for both teams. I want to stick with Team Blue here as we see them go so much closer to that crater, almost all
they're
the
going
way.
right to the bottom.
Yeah.
We can actually hop over to Team Cyan to see where they're ultimately going to be going, the final challenge. Although I think Team Blue is
I think
also
we stick with
reaching
Team Blue.
that. Yeah,
I want to see them.
Team Blue's about to run in and show off some of the loot to be found in the crater.
And there it is, both of them side
Here
by
we go, put them
side.
side by
here,
side.
taking on the magma worm here down at the base.
That is just such unbelievable damage, man. Like I can't. They're punishing.
Yeah,
the
they going. Yo, Team
That is a
Scion,
freak
like
monster.
whoever's
Oh
using this
my
Recluse
God.
right here,
Both
he
teams
Distortion,
actually,
he's
these
going
health
crazy.
bars are absolutely getting decimated. I mean, Recluse with these spells is just every single time she casts one. The Magma Worm staggered as well, gonna take a big crit there too. I mean, it's just nuts
These
from
are
both
expert.
sides. Now, man,
These
talking
are
about
expert
beating
Souls
this Magma
players,
Worm-
man.
Wow,
They
it
going
went down in
nuts.
one hit.
Oh,
He's
no
got
way.
it resin. That's what you got to worry about, right? You were
right.
mentioning this, Dan.
Revenant
Infected
on
with the
threat.
rot.
Yeah.
You don't want to get too greedy with the spell casting, right? You could be in trouble if you take that one powerful hit from an
But
enemy.
hey, Sebastian's out.
Wow, Team Cyan, that is ridiculous. I looked away from the screen for a
He's
second,
already
and they
dead.
already cleaned the Magma Worm. And now, tell me about what they get here at the
Yes.
bottom of the crater.
So if you complete this aspect of the crater, you will actually be able to take any one of your items, any one of your weapons, and turn them into a legendary.
Wow.
So this is an incredible buff to go into the final battle with because, again, you look at the boss's weakness, you're like, oh, I've got a holy item. And this isn't even a holy one. It doesn't matter, right? It's like, if you've got a legendary weapon, very powerful.
Yeah.
And so you can make any one of your weapons legendary at that little service down there if you beat the Magma Worm.
And that's
Nice.
huge, right? If you're
That's
playing
fire.
Recluse, you pick up a weapon, make it legendary. If you're playing Iron Eye, you love your starting bow, a gray item.
Yes.
Make it legendary.
This is not, we talked about the relic system very briefly before we started going. So let's say I have a relic that starts my bow off with fire.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to pick up anything because I want fire, right?
Exactly.
You can make that legendary.
And it's-
You can-
it does so much
And all of
damage.
a sudden, your starter bow is now a legendary item.
Yeah,
So
that's amazing.
there's all kinds of different routes you can take. And again, this is only when the crater's in play.
Yeah, and it's
So-
still all earned, right? We saw these teams go all the way down. They have to practice actually going through this crater a couple of times as well. I've been lost, Jake, going into this crater sometimes. I have no idea. The first time I was in here, I had no idea what was going on.
These teams had been clinical
Oh,
about
shit.
going
Trump
down here.
pardoned-
It's actually there's a
Trump
lot more
pardoned
places
Larry
to get
Hoover.
lost,
Well,
more
no, he
places to
commuted
explore,
Larry
You
Hoover.
have to find the right
He
paths and
pardoned
causeways
young
around to
young
get
black
through
man,
there. You
he
know?
was in jail. Hold on.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's huge.
Looks like everyone's going to take their chances. Let's look at some of the level scaling. We see Team Blue is around about level 9. Team Bronze level
It's 15.
15. So, I mean, this is an amazing run. I think Bronze and Cyan are both hitting
What?
level 15.
15.
Like, guys, like we've seen a lot of runs. That's rare.
That's the
for our
cap.
runners to be
So yeah,
hitting
just so
the
you
level
know,
cap.
the
Yeah.
regular level cap is 15.
Larry
Yeah.
Hoover.
they're done. Like, there's supposed to be a night 2 boss that gives you XP as well.
Well, yeah.
But there's still going
It's
to be
not over,
chances
you
to
know.
spend your consumables. There's
Yeah.
special
True.
merchants around
Yeah.
the map, so you don't have to spend your runes on leveling up if you want to. You could go for more of those consumables. You could play towards that, and even, of course, we'll be able to see that closer to the final Night Lord. There's going to be one more chance to spend your runes. So you
Yeah,
don't have
just
to
to,
be too desperate.
to talk about that a little briefly, the runes, you can use them for all kinds of different things, including you can get more item slots. You can actually buy gear directly from a shopkeeper, and of course, consumables. I know for a lot of first-time players for this, you might not think about consumables too much. I know when I played Elden Ring, I didn't use them at all usually.
I'm saving them for the next round.
You save them for the next one, right? But in this game, use them.
Yeah.
Use your consumables. They're very good in this game.
Team
Absolutely
Green,
huge.
they're going to take on the Valiant Gargoyle. And honestly, this could be a great time here for a listen-in.
Level 9 Gargoyle.
This is a challenging fight. Yeah, let's see if we can listen in with Will Neff and see how they're taking on this engagement.
It don't even look like they talking.
Don't worry. Just distract him. Oh my God. Get Myth. Boys, he is absolutely clapping my balls.
Hey, yo. Hey,
All right,
yo.
That's the gargoyle experience, man.
He need to chill.
That's the gargoyle experience.
There's a dagger!
You know what you're taking on when you come against the Gargoyle. You got to be ready for that.
Please!
Cheap viewers. Oh, no. You're a bot. So you are going to get banned, my friend.
So close.
You are a
They got
Twitch's
it.
user. We do
They
not
got
do
it.
that in my chat. You're banned,
And that's a
buddy.
key comeback fight for them, right? In this
You're
run. Like,
banned.
they're level 9. They needed those runes. They needed this
yeah.
loot. They took the risk, and this time, it pays off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you can see here, here's one of the, we're hovering over it. You know, if you have teammates who are putting poison or rot on people, you can have +7 continuous HP recovery. That's a lot.
Yeah, serious.
It's like having a flask pretty much the entire time.
You also can drop loot to your allies. Here, Distortion, looks like on the Night 2
Okay,
boss, they
Death
grab the
Right
Death Right
Bird.
Bird, and this is a tricky arena for him. He's up on the high ground, casting these
and
devastating range
Night
attacks.
is coming in.
Yeah, that might be a foe that maybe they're not ready to challenge, especially in that position when he backs off into the Night.
They probably feel
Yo,
it's not
who
worth the
is this
risk,
user,
considering
bro,
they're
with
probably
this
gonna be
name?
15
Like, this
after
name looks so
after the
sus.
night
Yeah,
boss.
maybe no reason to take on a challenge. I mean, if you lost a level now at 14, that would be incredibly costly. You can see that circle on the map is zoning them in towards the final arena. But I mean, 14 right now is amazing. I have no question
Yeah,
in my mind
this-
that these guys are going to survive that night.
I think
to the Night Lord.
Yeah, I think Gladius should be afraid of these teams, not the other way around.
There's a different
he's
type of
wrecking.
Night Lord just walking around. Here's Night Boss number 1, by the way, for a bunch of other teams. And
Oh my!
Just
Damn.
if you blink, there's bye-bye. Yeah.
absolute wow.
Seems like the run's
They're
going
just
pretty well.
wiping these
Just
bosses.
saying. All right, all right.
Definitely seeing some really, really high-level recluse play here. I can't even imagine the effects they have stacked, but they're very serious.
It gets insane. And again, the one good thing about Recluse is that she never really runs out of FP, right? Especially with that
Oh
ultimate.
yeah, look at that. Look at
And-
see
and
all
great
these
passives, right, to
passives. All these
enable it.
passives are improving those sorceries. They're stacking the damage and reducing FP costs. So you can just let loose.
Yeah.
The thing is, your build is going to be different every game, right? You might be led in a different direction. You might be trying out different spells. And I think for me, you know, as someone who's a huge fan of Elden Ring, that I didn't fully explore like all of these different ways to play and fight in the game. And Night Rain really brings that to bear. And I think for a lot of players, it's going to be a great opportunity to really get the full breadth of the experience, to try all these different strategies and builds. And there's a reason this run is going so well. It's not because they needed to hit exactly this build, but it's because these players are able to adapt to whatever the game throws at them, and they're just really displaying their skill. Team Tan, I believe this is the Night 2 boss for them?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Level
They're already
14,
on night 2, damn.
taking on the Tree Sentinel. Not even worried about using their ultimate right now, little Aggie.
Sentinel and friends.
Yeah, I mean, you got to just divvy out again. Park and Harbor, Parky, she's on the back right there taking over some of the cavalrymen. Aggie's focused with Chris to take on the big Sentinel, and the Sentinel looks weaker than the cavalrymen right now. I mean,
They're going right for the big one first. Just the punishment that 2 Iron Eyes can put out with the Duchess. Again, I'm used to seeing this kind of composition with a tank in front, but
Yeah.
using the Duchess means this is just unbridled damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, in a boss fight, I don't think Gladius is going to be a problem. But in a larger boss fight, it might, you know, if you go down once, there might not be a chance for recovery.
This is the highest risk for like one of the highest rewards ever. Also, that's so sad. I feel like if the cavalryman dies, we should let the horse live. You know, just be able to ride off into the night. But we gotta put the horse down too.
Look, you need
Night
those
repose.
runes, all right? This is about business. We standing on business
You
here
gotta
for
stand on
Team Tan.
business.
They're going to take their
Big
last
facts.
perk, and tell me what's spawning in right here. Tell me what we can expect to happen next here, Dan, after
Yeah.
this second night boss.
So basically, the night cycle's over. There's no more roaming the map. After you've beaten night 2, you're going directly to the Night Lord. You're going to have a chance to level up and use a shop and use a blacksmith. So all those amenities are in this shelter that they're going to next. But there's no more map. We're just going to the boss.
Let's go over to Team Blue. Look at that Revenant gameplay again. We looked at just one of the night bosses. That's the Tree Sentinel. Well, we'll go there in just a second, actually. It's true. Let's look at day 3. We're talking about consumables as well. So this is one of the places you can get the best.
Basically, again, no more traveling the map. This is where you get set up for the big encounter. Everything's been building to this, the Night Lord. And so this time we're facing Gladius, which I'm pretty sure this team right here is absolutely going to eviscerate in seconds.
Yeah, they're going to body this boss. I already see it.
On many of our team members.
And you can see here again, don't ignore the consumables.
Yeah.
You can see they all stocked up. This stuff is all really good in these boss fights.
They're endurance fights, right? These are like some of the longest fight of the run is going to be that Night Lord. It's going to be
these are the biggest challenges. You want to have every advantage possible going in. Level 14
this is
though,
the cutscenes they show in
the biggest advantage possible,
in the trailer.
This is nuts. So, open that white door as well. Duchess double Iron Eye. Sometimes you don't get the biggest value because, sometimes there's arrows being shot at multiple mobs, but against just one Night Lord, right? That Duchess is going to be repeating so
much crazy
I can't tell you how much I love the restage ability.
Yeah.
It's so satisfying. Obviously, the Duchess is kind of like the rest of this team, kind of fragile. But the restage ability playing back all the damage your entire team does. Even if you're not communicating with your team, you can just watch visually when those giant arrows shoot.
Whether it's like a blood proc or a big repulse.
Doing it right after a bleed proc is the most. The boss's health bar it's gone.
Yeah, yeah. Eviscerated, evaporated, melted. Choose your way to have your boss, I guess.
And this is going to be our first look of the stream here at this Night Lord. I know for a lot of fans who maybe haven't seen so much of what to expect in Night Reign.
Which one is
it?
Get
ready. This is Gladius, the beast
Gladius, the beast of the night. Okay,
crazy.
Let's get
and again, the mobility you've got here. This is where we really put the players to the test, right? So night bosses might be a bit slower. You might be a little bit stronger compared to them in terms of your vigor. Over here, Dan, this is what you're talking about, right? When you have a squishy team comp like this, one bad mistake is a third of your team down.
Can happen.
Yeah.
Now, it's not going to happen on this one, but it can happen. It can definitely happen. Again, Gladius, again, he's still quite challenging, but should not present a problem to this particular team.
And level 14 is great. I mean, honestly, you could be in this boss at level 12. We've seen people clear it even lower than that and still feel pretty confident about your chances. So the fact that your run has gone so well up to this point, it puts you in a position of massive advantage. And now Gladius goes into the second phase.
Yeah, and every time you get here, you won't be at 12. Sometimes you'll be at 15. You might be at 9.
Yeah.
But you basically have to figure out how to do it with what you got.
You're going
to have different tools every time.
So I see what they're doing. Iron Eye's ultimate is this big bow shot. Every single dog gets kind of collateral with that bow. They double ult back and forth and deal quadruple the damage. That gets, I think, power to the 9s by restage. The mathematics elude me, right? It's my Night Lord.
Maybe we can bring in Cyan
Very
here.
powerful map.
Yeah. And yeah, Cyan's here too. Who's gonna actually beat this first? That's the big question. Cyan.
Cyan is a little bit ahead. It looks like Cyan got the first battle.
Wow.
Cyan eliminated it. Started it, I think, almost the latest.
I don't even think we got to see that one because it probably just evaporated.
These are crazy places to be. Amazing first run here for Team Cyan, led by Distortion 2. It's a great start, but it's expected for these squads. Team Tan looking to get the cleanup as well on Gladius, but this is going to be the one they're most familiar with. This is really your introductory run, your warm-up run for these squads.
Yeah.
Again, still a challenge, but these squads really know what they're doing.
These are some of the best players in the game, right? So when I hop in, it looks a little different, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm usually lying there on the ground.
Level 15 as well for Team Bronze. Man, there's going to be some very serious competition into some of these more difficult runs.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see how things shake out because when they start, those runs are going to look very different than the one we just saw. Again, different variables every time.
Locking with Team Blue as well. We're going to be looking at just the way that these guys might be starting a bit later. That might not be due to just the speed at which you're playing the game. You can spend your time planning on how things are going for this Night Lord all the way towards the very end, right? You can spend your merry days having dinner at that smithing place or just that pre-bridge right before the Night Lord happens. You can still see the damage who are pumping out here on blue is absolutely amazing.
This is a pretty cool build from Fighting Cowboy on the Revenant. We talked about how squishy Revenant is and how worried you are about taking a big hit, but it looks like he's grabbed a great shield. I think this is the Bell-Bearing Hunter's great shield. That can be really potent in this fight. It's hard to dodge all the attacks from these split-up beasts. And so this is giving him a bit more flexibility, a bit more staying power to be close and engage on the boss, showing that your builds could be different every run. I mean,
My bad. No,
I
you
hadn't
good.
thought about
You good.
using a great shield on Revenant.
I ain't going
but it
nowhere.
Seems to be working right now
It
for
might have
Cowboy.
good passives. I'm not exactly sure why he's using it. Maybe because he did go down earlier, right?
Yeah.
Defense.
I mean, he's already blocked some powerful attacks with it.
They're
Staggers
wrecking
now,
these
though.
bosses.
Whoa!
Massive attack.
Holy!
Sorceries.
Damn.
That's insane. Never seen that in Night Rain before. And Gladius is down again. I mean, huge. Team Blue wiping it out. We can go to Team Green, Gray, Violet, whatever we want to go with either. I mean, everyone's starting things at a different time. We'll lock in with Green for now. Their side of Gladius this time is going to be, again, a front line with an Iron Eye all the way in the back.
This team's got a lot of heart. I like this. This is my favorite one to watch.
They are so fun. The engagement is so, like, look at Wilnef. He is so locked in right now. But they're down at level 11, so a little bit, like, less than where you'd want to be in this run. Still absolutely winnable. But maybe we tap in and see what the comms are like.
Yeah, this is one of the Night Lords, yeah. Gladius.
No, they're on me. They're all on Ba. They're all on Ba.
Yeah, so you can see that red circle kind of shows you who's taking the biggest aggro so far.
It does. So if you see that red reticle on one of your teammates, that means they have the
25.
eye of
What's
the
going
enemy.
on? How's the stream going on? Have you watched
Could be
your
a big
stream for a
opportunity
while?
for you, depending on
Decided
your
to say hi, drop
situation.
your follow. I appreciate you.
no.
Also,
I
it tells
appreciate
that
the
player.
follow. I really love your
Run.
vibes. Keep
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah.
Thank you so
He's
much.
rejoining. We
Appreciate
have
you. I'm
him
just
at
trying to
right
get
now.
more consistent.
Nice. So
Get
good
back into
strats
being more
there,
consistent
but
streaming.
Gladius doesn't
careful.
stop. Yeah.
Yeah, so I appreciate you
I can't
dropping
see.
in and giving me some feedback. Thank you.
He's on me. He's on me. He's on me.
And I mean,
pressure.
they're able to res back into the fight, right? So that's one of the key elements really in these boss fights is the resurrection,
Thank you,
getting
man.
people back. But he's out of heals, right? So now you got to play this very clean.
yeah, Tony,
and
this
this
is
is a
not the
healthy
main boss. I'm
Gladius. So
jumping
this fight
between-
is
I'm jumping
really
back and
coming
forth
down to
between
the
my
wire. It
usual
needs to be
chat.
very sharp from here on out.
So
And as you can see, yeah, these can become duels of attrition.
pumping.
They're out of flasks.
Halfway.
Looks like they still got a few consumables.
Yeah.
I don't know that those
are you
bullets are
interested
going
in
to
this
help
game? Are
pull
you
out
going
too
to
much.
sneak up in this game, Yemzi?
I don't think right now under
Yemzi?
pressure he remembers.
But that's the thing. He doesn't realize he's got the warming stone. In
Yeah.
this moment of pressure.
If
and
you don't
like,
mind, what
it's
are your
good that you're
goals you
hitting
want to
on so much,
achieve
because I
with
think
my
a lot of
channel?
people are like me. Oh,
well,
never mind.
It'll come with the
I
warming
recently
stone.
hit
Caster curse didn't work.
There is a relic. that
well, I
lets
hit
you use
1,000
bullets to
subscribers
heal yourself
in
as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
January
That's
on
huge.
YouTube.
Now his ult is back up, so can use the iframes from that. We'll slowly walk
And-
away, get hit a little bit.
So low.
Boys,
My next
Spam
goal is
rolling.
10,000. So my goal is to grow the YouTube
The ult might
so
come
that
in
the
at some
Twitch could
point.
grow. Because I know
Here
in
we
order to
go.
grow on
Oh, he's
Twitch,
using all three of his
you
shields.
have to
Look at the
grow
damage.
on another
Wow.
platform.
Okay.
It was a good shot.
And then you grow on Twitch. You bring that
Dude, we
audience
love
over
this
to
squad.
Twitch.
They're so much fun to watch.
That's my goal.
So we're gonna see what.
They're all on me.
Maybe we
It's a
can
boy
tap in
doing. Oh
and-
my god!
It's
That's
okay.
amazing.
It's
Yeah,
okay. It's
thank
okay.
you.
I'm
Thank
on
you. I'm just
first
trying to
dagger. First dagger.
take it one day at a time. One day at a time.
Maybe we can tap back in with Team Green in a sec. Team Gray, it looks like they're about to get their Gladius kill
Come on, baby.
as well.
Come on, baby. Dial.
See how Afro Senju and the group are doing.
Yeah, this is that double executor team, so lots of fun, lots of parries, lots of
Gladius
close range
the
action
Night
from this one.
Beast. I mean,
Looks like
Beast
they
of
got
Night.
it.
They're in a great spot, still with a few flasks left. And Afro Senju's wasting no time, but a couple big hits going in here.
Come on,
let's bring
Afro.
it on.
I see you.
Here
Come on,
for the
my
final
boy.
moments of the fight.
Ooh. That Gladius very mobile.
How do I use the item? Okay, I'm using warming stone. You guys need it?
Yeah, out of HP, sometimes you gotta rely on your
I can't do anything
team.
about that.
Palvin
okay.
down,
You get
Gladius.
it? Moon?
Y'all right
5%
there at the end.
HP.
Come on.
Uh-oh.
Damn.
All down to one. Moon has to go for the rest, but the dogs
Clutch.
will lunge by any moment
Good.
now.
Clutch res. Clutch res. Come on.
And
Come
it feels
on.
like the res on ball
Yeah,
might
right
be
there.
too difficult. Maybe better to just go for the kill here on Gladius.
for the kill, go for the
Rich
kill.
Reward. Under pressure right now from Afro Senju. He's just sending it on the Gladius.
Let's go.
That
Have
is
you
what
heard
I
of
like.
Ilawan? I feel like I've
That
heard
was
that
well
name before,
played.
but I'm not gonna
That
lie. I
is
don't know.
huge.
I don't know exactly who that is.
Maybe we can go
Let me
back
look
here
them up.
to Team Green and see how their fight is rolling. Still a
Said
bit of health bar
Ilawan.
left on Gladius. I mean, Wilnev has been dodging incredibly well here in that engagement. Keeping
God,
the HP up
I love that
despite
this one
lacking
is still
flash.
going.
Yeah, I heard this guy
This
before.
one
I
all
heard
day.
Ilawan.
This has
But
been the
I'm
longest
not gonna lie.
so far.
Don't
Will
really
going
watch
down again,
their
but that
his
health
content.
bar has been put into work.
Right.
I mean,
So
you
you can
got
see
three
that-
players, but Gladius is matching that heat right now.
It's his third time down, so you see the wheel fills up.
Team Violet.
4.3 million subs. That's
5%
tough.
HP.
No.
That's so incredibly
That was
close.
the easiest boss.
What kind of
Not
streams
able
does
to
he
get the win
do?
there. Oh.
I'm telling you,
Look,
you
the
have
comeback
to
can
be
done.
careful.
The comeback
Yeah.
can be done, right? That's
Yeah.
only 1 point.
Oh, he does
So
Elden
they're
Ring
not out of it
streams?
yet. However, it does put them on the back foot,
Let's
and with
see.
some of the
Oh, no, he
impressive
plays-
runs
he's a
we've seen
variety.
So far, that's a blow
Variety,
there
so he plays
to Team
everything.
Violet.
Okay.
Listen, I was talking to Saikuno. He just doesn't want to come last. He wants to be top 4. He wants to stay inside the business.
Why
So
did they?
Fair
Why
enough,
they?
podium finish.
Why
Yeah,
they delete
podium
all
finish.
this?
Team
Why
Green,
they-
though,
No, looks like we got 2 down on Team Green, and they
No.
defeat 2.
My
auto mod deleted your
Gladius,
message. I
that is
don't
a
know
tough
why.
one. Team Purple, I believe they're our last competitors still fighting this round. Only
I'ma still
level
read it
9.
though.
This is
One
going
of
to
my
be
friends is a big
real
streamer who
endurance
loves to
battle
help
for
small
them.
streamers go
Yeah,
to
it can
channel
totally be
as
done at
well.
9.
Yeah.
He's
Can be
being
done.
partner has the
Certainly doesn't
opportunity
make
to
it
help
easier.
others.
And it's only the first down for
Because
Zentreya,
we
so they
fans
still
are
got a
the
shot
ones
here.
to make him part. That's a
Or
fact.
no, they
If
were
it
like
wasn't for the
level 12
audience,
by now that damage has been done.
we wouldn't
It
have
would've been
nothing
enough
on
to
here.
take down Gladius, but they're gonna have to work that
That's
extra
for
little
sure.
bit now.
Yeah, we
Just
talked about
because
this a
we're
little
level.
earlier. When you go down the first time,
let me
it's
fix
very
my
easy to get you
mod
back up.
thing.
Yeah.
'cause
But you
that's-
need more
that's
and
not
more
cool. I
damage
don't
to get
want
them
them
up.
keep- I don't
This
want
is a
them
nice
banning.
perk actually to have when you're
Banning
under
messages.
leveled. That when you get
you didn't
low
even
here,
say
I believe
anything wrong.
Zentreya has the perk where it summons Holy Ground under you to heal you. So it could be really useful in this fight where they're deceptively having a bit more resources than they might otherwise expect. For now, they're playing it slow. Maybe the Wilder ultimate can get a stagger on the boss, an opportunity to deal damage, but they were able to get Limo back in the fight.
He's blood stepping all over the place.
Bloodhound
stylish.
step, yeah.
Nice dodge.
Oh wait, they got some
Proc is gonna
poison
be
on
crucial
them.
if they
That's
wanna
fire.
play this as that war of attrition. They want to try to stall it out.
A little bit of lightning damage on this.
They've got poison on him.
Yeah,
That's something.
it's taken down slowly. Oh, the restage there as
And-
well.
Yeah, I don't know why my
Although you're
mod
always
deleted your
racing against
message,
the
man.
clock
Sorry
in
about
the
that.
day
I don't
phases
know.
of Night Reign. Here
it's
in the
an
Night
auto
Lords and the
mod. I
Night
gotta
Bosses,
fix that.
you can play things a little bit slower, but of course, your resources are finite, so that is a risky strategy in its own right.
Yeah,
When Zentreya gets caught.
There's no clock to fight.
Can I
Yeah.
give you
Fighting the main
his-
boss.
Can I give you his Discord? Some
Bosses
maximum
are hard
fee to
enough,
help
alright?
you.
Like,
exactly.
Channel.
Please don't make him
our
harder.
team wants to reach affiliate. I'm affiliate already. I'm already affiliate,
Dogs
but
now,
partner,
Joker
shit.
Bird. Rolling
I'll
away,
take that.
really
Yeah.
well, not taking even a lick of damage.
Yeah.
This
Send
time,
me
no
his
fireball.
Discord. I'll join in.
Stop Zentreya.
I'll join in.
Trying to heal up. He's now holy ground, but I mean, when Gladius splits, we've seen some teams like full kite. Nice roll,
Yeah.
but got caught by the other dog. The flame
Oh,
breath attack.
this one is going to be close.
Yeah, this is going to be a very close one so far. 2 teams still left playing so far. It's Purple, or just Purple, I guess, who's locking in for this one. The last POV we have,
Okay.
so low right now.
Discord. So
Oh,
I'm
they
gonna
stopped the
go and
split
add
just
him.
in time.
Nice.
Team
That was
Purple.
clutch.
Yeah,
A little
very,
bit of an
very close.
under-leveled run, but with the skill, they bring it together.
Yeah, amazing so far for, I think, every single team. Wipe or not,
me see.
memorable
How do I
moments
go
in that
over?
first
How do I-
session of a Night Lord.
That was fantastic to watch. A lot
Does
of.
he have? I'm sure you have the server.
Every
Well, I guess
team
I'll
was different,
add him.
Every run was different.
I guess I'll add him.
Again,
first,
all getting
and
to the
then
same place.
I guess
but
he'll
very
invite me to the
differently.
server.
Yeah, very.
from there.
Some teams were in the craters, some were not. Jake, it's nuts.
It's a beautiful showcase of the incredible variety in Night Reign, and we are going to play 2 more full runs of Night Reign, so there's going to be a lot more to see, but I hope that was a great introduction to start getting people in. I mean, and the fact that a couple teams
Tell 'em
fell
you
to
from
Gladius,
Yemzi.
I'm
All
not
right,
super
we'll
shocked.
do-
It's
hold
still
on,
a
let me-
stiff
let me
challenge
It
even for
happened.
people with
Yeah,
experience.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
Believe me, I've died to Gladius a lot.
Same. Guilty as charged. At the same time, too, right?
Illuwan.
It's not a short
Send
board
friend
thing. You can be level
request.
12. You can be down to 5% HP.
Okay,
You
I
have
sent
to
them a
be
friend
locked in
request.
in these Night Lords. That being said, it's not just the Night Lord that we want to focus on. We're talking about the day cycle, the night cycle. We have some replays overall for the entire first session we saw.
I won't
across
be
a
able to
whole
message
board
him till he
of 8
accepts,
teams.
right?
Want to tap right in and
I
look
can
at it.
message him
Team
and say,
10,
hey,
we saw one of the
Yemzi sent
best
me.
shows so far, right? They were the first ones to finish. Looks
Yeah.
so good on Aggie's side. They were nuts.
I think the composition here, again, I haven't seen that, 2 Iron Eyes and a Duchess.
Yeah.
So absolutely no tankiness, no sustainability at all, just all damage. This is
Perfect rolling, baby. Just perfect
is-
rolling.
This is glass cannon mastery right here, and you can really see the Duchess's restage being used.
Glass cannon,
to
man. It
facilitate
really is
the
though, because
Iron
they're not
Eye.
really
Yeah.
taking
Yeah.
damage.
It's melting in a microwave, but
Yeah,
that microwave like
follow.
The fact that they went here in this boss fight for the Tree Sentinel first really shows your strength. We see most teams try to play this one a little slower, clear
I
the
gotta
cavalry
fix my
movement
alerts.
first, and maybe kite the
My alerts is
Sentinel
all
around.
jacked
But
up.
they were just full confidence. The arrow riposte
absolute
there also
brutality.
pretty sick.
Yeah, they weren't
Yeah.
even using their ultimates on these night bosses.
They didn't
were
need
like,
to.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The sustained damage they have is absurd. As long as your Duchess.
Yeah, I
can
added
backstep this
Yemzi,
and
so
get out
let's
of the
see.
way, You're
Let's see if
set,
he accepts.
apparently.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just Team 10's run kind of from start to finish. Started out doing things. Aggie. even knows about this dude as well. Team Cyan as well. Now, we looked at what things look like when you have a lot of
you
those
stream
in the
too,
business.
Yemzi?
When got some
You
magic
stream as well?
rolling in as well. There's a lot of speed there too, Dan.
Some amazing Recluse play here.
Yeah.
And again, while I stress that the Recluse is a pretty high skill cap character and takes some getting used to, look what you can do with it. I mean, this speaks for itself. When you can chunk a magma worm like that, that's incredible.
Yeah, and her ult lets the entire team sustain. We got a Raider
Let me
close by
follow.
as well.
Let me follow.
That queen doesn't even have a chance to live.
That is ridiculous, that amount of nuking on the health bar. And then especially in the AoE fights, where some of these spellcasts have become especially powerful. And I mean, he's just standing and delivering.
Look at his HP bar.
Who is the boss here? I don't think it's not Teresa.
It's not Teresa. We were the villains all along.
Damn.
Like, straight up. This is that story. I mean,
last time he streamed?
even when the dogs are split up by 3, your
6
spells
hours
are hitting multiple dogs, doing all the damage. That dog's trying to sleep. He's a peaceful boy.
He needs a nap.
He needs a big nap after
They're
that.
going down for one real quick with
Spanish,
Cyan on the case.
Yeah.
Level
still
15,
too-
I mean,
I'll still
dude, it's
tap
crazy
in.
how much these teams have improved, how much of like a skill growth there is. For them to be level 15, I mean, I had only ever seen that like once before in all the runs I've seen. And the fact that they got it here off the rip in the first run of the competition says to me that this is a super serious contender for the title, a team that very well could fell all 3 Night Lords today.
Absolutely. They got 2 more left in the docket. Team Bronze as well, doing quick work on everything that's on the board. One of the few teams to actually end up running Executor as well, and they did it kind of.
Yeah, they warmed up now. Now they're gonna really kill it.
Executor kind of looks like just all the other characters as well, kind of in its own lane, doing the parries, not getting in too much trouble. That beast pops out, goes crazy. It means you're doing your job super, super well.
No! Guys, I got
kicked off the top 2 though, but this is one of the
I
things
love
that
that.
actually.
It's a good thing to showcase here.
Yeah.
If you played those Goblin Jerry Knights before, you can use that mantling system to attack their vulnerable critical spot. Great showcase here from Team Bronze, and they were also able to chunk through the Fell Omen as well.
Good job.
Very nice from Loyalty there. And yeah, we got up against Gladius as well. Quick work there too. I mean, just huge from Team Bronze. Over at Gray, they started things off different. Up inside the castle, going for that golem. Or I guess one of the fortresses going for the golem. And then after the fact, also just ended up playing, I think, one of the most unique styles we saw so far. Double Executors, Dan.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see if they're going to stick with the team comps for the rest of this. I know everyone's playing to win, so maybe they will, but really interesting class diversity on this initial showing.
I don't know what's the strongest, but I'm trying to use the Executor role, man. That is too sick. Turning into like a full-on Elden Ring boss.
You literally go beast mode.
It's so cool. Like, honestly, just for the swag
mode.
factor alone, I've got to be an Executor main when this game drops.
Yeah, that's gonna be me, Executor.
Items they use as well, like so many dex weapons, multiple katanas, twin blades, lots of bleed.
Bleed weapons. And who doesn't like bleed weapons? Come on.
Loves
Dude, you can see what it means to these players to compete here.
W! What are you talking about? I love his sleep chat.
You talking shit.
My sleep chat.
I love it. I love it, guys.
I can't wait for Percentage to wake up, man. That's gonna be crazy. If that's him sleeping, that's gonna be wild. Violent locking in as well. I mean, the big thing for this team was being careful going into things, right? You have a Revenant, you have an Iron Eye. That's where you're getting really close, nitty-gritty, uncomfortable with some of these bosses.
And losing some lives here in the day phase, dropping some levels, starts to really get costly, right? You start to fall behind in levels. That Night Lord fight starts to drag on. You run low on resources, showing how those day phases, playing it clean, playing it smart, working together with your team and having good strategy really does play into that Night Lord fight.
Yeah, and this is how the Night Lord fight started. Was looking really good for the team. They're doing a good job dodging. At the same time, every hit you take, right, that's one flask down. And the more you go down like Garrick over here, the harder it is to pick you back up. You're out of kind of resources, even at the last moment.
Man,
that was
whole team
rated
went
his
down.
first down, unfortunately.
I swear, it's always the low HP boss.
Always.
Right? You just want to get in for that one extra hit.
We might be able to just... Oh, I probably shouldn't have tried to revive.
Yeah.
Not always the right call.
Yeah.
But usually.
Team Heart up in the business, I guess, for us is what we want to maybe change the name to.
Dude, I love watching these guys play. It's fantastic. Like, I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, honestly, and they were one of the ones who were also there trying their best to take down Gladius. Day 1, day 2. This is kind of what your POV might look like, right? You're looking at exploring the map, taking in the sights as well, being very explorative and really trying to see what's there for you.
They are just zooming through and just, again, your first few play
Down
sessions
the air.
probably won't look like this.
Can someone? He is absolutely clapping my balls.
Hey, yo.
Yeah,
Hey,
we
yo.
saw that with the gargoyle. They got the revenge though.
Look, the gargoyles do not play, guys. If
They do
there's
not.
one thing I have learned from playing Elden Ring Night Reign is that you better, if you swing at the gargoyle, you best not miss.
If you fight the gargoyles, I think we'll put it best.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, we can't add more to that. We can't add more to that. Just leave it as it stands.
and this is their Gladius run as well.
Let me go to mods,
Yeah.
'cause
Oh.
this- I don't want
Sadness,
to ban
despair.
Highs
Fair.
and lows, man. The game is challenging.
Yeah.
It doesn't hide that fact. It's one of the signature aspects of the series. Team Blue, we were able to check out some of their replays. Took on the Godskin duo and the Bellbang Hunter. They were
And I
like,
said, nah.
maybe not, guys. This is a lot.
Yeah, they skipped over. This is kind of like what we saw, and we're teasing at the start of the stream here, Dan, the Revenant gameplay, right? This is what everyone wanted to see.
Love to see the Revenant in action. Hopefully we get to see some more Sebastian.
Yeah.
I want to see Sebastian do his thing. I don't think we got to see it yet, but it'll happen.
Absolutely. They also can show you the highs and lows of Revenant gameplay. You'll notice a lot of the times, even if you tune in with Cowboys comms, when he goes down, there's not really a gasp or a surprise. These Revenant players are so used to, like, one misstep, I'm knocked, it's okay.
It's very
part of the
calculated.
play.
You know,
Yeah.
if you're playing the Revenant, you already know that if you don't want to get hit.
Yeah. So it's not a big deal if that does happen 1 or 2 times. Your team gets you back up, and yeah, a great shield Revenant, Jake.
Turn these
Haven't seen that
alerts
before,
off.
but
I mean, that's the thing about Night Reign. Every single run I see, there's something new, there's something different that we haven't experienced before, and there's always going to be that challenge in every run. You're always going to have to follow, what you find, what kind of item do you get, that legendary weapon that you try to build towards. Do you get some passive that you try to say, okay, that's going to be the core of my build. Maybe it's consumable items that you want to play toward if you've got the relics to buff those up. So there's really so many ways to play in any given run of Night Reign. I'm confident we're still going to see new builds from every team, every single run from here on out.
absolutely. Talking about those builds as well, right? What does this all lead kind of up to? It's the score overall. We went over it in the beginning.
Look,
Every Night Lord.
The teams want those trophies. man.
Yeah, they want the
those are
trophies.
pretty cool.
Each Night Lord has a certain amount of points. For Gladius, it's 1 point in total. So far, every team has cleared Gladius except for Team Green, which is Will Neff, and Team Violet, which is Team Saikuno. So everyone else has a point on the board. The others have 0. But at the same time, Jake, that's not the end of the world, right?
There's 5 more points left.
There's 5 more points,
So
yeah.
the points are going to increase through the run. So our next run, taking on Libra, is going to be worth 2 points if you're able to fell that Night Lord. So you could very well come back. There's still a chance for other teams to slip up. But I think it's fair to say some of our top dogs look pretty locked in and look like they might be able to just take this all the way.
Yeah, that was the top dog we looked at in the game as well, Gladius. Let's look at the top merchant in the game now. Libra, Dan, is nuts as a Night Lord.
So Libra is going to represent a much more significant
Yeah, I saw a
challenge
video on
than
Libra.
Gladius did. Libra is actually one of my favorite and most interesting bosses, I think, in the entire From Software catalog.
Wow.
Because he plays Let's Make a Deal. And the player can choose to take the deal or not. He's going to offer you substantial power. But that power comes with a very serious price.
Yeah.
And not only that, but his fight mechanics are much more complicated than run away from 3 dogs.
Yeah, that's very true.
So
yeah.
I think even some of the best teams here might be tempted by his choices because he's
okay,
literally
so we could
offers
take this one off.
some really interesting
Could be a
choices.
powerful boon, right?
But
It could save your run.
You have to make
We can
choices.
take that
It's
off.
like roguelikes are full of choices, right? So now
Yeah.
you have to make even more choices before you even fight the boss. Will they take the power, and how will that play out? I am very interested to see how that happens.
It's going to go absolutely insane, Jake. The big thing for Libra as well that, I think me and you have had an experience watching this over at PAX, playing with some of these creators as well. It's the one boss in the game where at any time, just like we saw with Team Violet, you could lose. Like one mistake against this boss is a wipe across the team.
It has some very powerful team wiping mechanics, and even a team in a run that's going amazing, fantastic, like you're super leveled up, you're pumping damage, you could be in trouble. So you've got to be locked in. And like every run of Night Reign, right, it all starts from level 1. So you come in, maybe they've got a few relics they can bring into this next run that maybe give them a bit of an edge, start the farming a little bit on a faster pace, but they've still got to grind and try to hit those upper levels.
Yeah, for Gladius, we saw people going for, like, I believe it was holy weapons, and that does a lot of damage. For Libra, Dan, what are some of the weaknesses we look at?
You're going to want madness.
Madness, okay.
So it's
Which
very,
is kind of a rare effect, right?
It
You might
is.
have to dig deep to find that, and maybe you won't in the run.
you don't need it. Again, we talk about these weaknesses. You don't need it, but it really helps.
Yeah, I mean, let's tap in once again. We're looking at the Night Hunt round number 2. Kind of a third ways, almost halfway through that competition. Gonna be very exciting to see how these teams break it down. Now we've seen some experience. Some of these teams were, really, really well-versed, really veterans of Night Reign already. Been playing for about a week, know what's going down. Some of these other less experienced teams kind of have a feel now of how the day cycle looks, how the night cycle looks. They'll be switching up their compositions for Libra as well. Dan, one of the coolest things about this game is that You
Okay,
get to
second
choose your
run.
Night
They
Lord
starting their
first
second run
and
now.
Prep for that Night Lord, right? If I'm fighting something that
into it.
flies, maybe I want some Iron Eyes. If I'm fighting Libra, maybe I want stuff that's up close and personal, some big boom ultimates.
Right. One of the things you will know for sure which Night Lord you're going against.
Yeah.
That's one of the only absolutes that you'll know when you start a run.
And look at the changes right now for Team Blue, right? Instead of a Revenant, now we have Iron Eye, we have the Raider, we have the Wilder. One thing, Jake, that all these three have in common, a big ultimate that staggers the boss.
Yeah, it could be really useful at some key phases, which we'll talk more about once we get into Libra. Team Tan sticking with their guns here. That looks like a double Iron Eye with the Duchess. Still amazing for incredible DPS. I mean, both the Iron Eyes have some powerful staggers, and then the Duchess has been so far fantastic. I mean, the fact that Star Chris has been able to hold that aggro on Duchess and just rely on dodging rather than inherent tankiness speaks to the skill of Team Tan.
Absolutely. I love seeing the Duchess work. It's one of my favorites.
Team Green looks like Will Neff is going to head over on the Iron Eye as well. See if the Guardian and Duchess on his squad were able to hold that front line down, allow him to have space and time to deal damage as everyone's run is just getting started. We'll tap in with all the teams as they get into that cycle.
We'll tap in with some of the other teams as well. Look at how their prep is going on that day number 1. Bronze, gray, purple in tow as well. All these teams have a point on the board too, so they're looking at maybe trying to take home those replica items, that shield, the sword, the buckler, to place behind them, or to use them as, you know, letter openers, door stops, whatever you want to do.
I want that sword. If they release that sword to the public,
here in real life, we have
I'm
to go
buying
back to these creators and tell them to get busy.
Team Gray looks like they're going to be challenging an early fortress. So see if they're able to fight some tougher enemies. Looks like there's an abductive virgin here at the base of the castle, one that they could clear for some loot, but this is kind of a scary fight here at level 2.
Yeah, I think one of the most feared, like, bosses aesthetically.
Instant stagger? Okay, maybe not.
But yeah. One of the quickest one to get down as well. We go over to Team Purple. They're looking at going through one of these fortresses as well, from the bottom all the way to the top instead of starting inside the middle.
Yeah, and there's different enemies down here to face each time. It's going to depend on you know, what you end up rolling, which points of interest you decide to visit. And we've seen some teams actually even choose to just walk by some of the weaker enemies and just go straight for the boss rush, which can pay huge dividends, can really get you into a massive spot in terms of level ups. However, it can be risky. Team Cyan already opening an Everjail, so off to a very hot start.
This is one of the most, I would say, inhibiting in terms of time, things you can get out of the Everjail. At the same time, these guys are making quick work of it.
They don't care.
It's like an ever-ending army, and there's so many of them, and they're just breezing through.
You got to put some respect on Team Cyan right now. I'm not sure what's going to really be the test for this team.
I'm not sure there is a test out there for Team Cyan. I really don't know.
Well, here's my thing, right? If you have Recluse, that's one less ultimate to maybe face the Night Lord with. And again, we're going to go into it a bit deeper, but the bigger boom ultimates you have, the better chance you have against Libra. So that's the only place I see.
I mean, getting a stagger on Libra is really nice because he's going to keep the pressure on. Again, a lot more pressure than Gladius, and we'll see that.
Yeah. We keep rolling through, though.
We can maybe head over to Team Violet right now. It looks like, we can see them as they follow this Mausoleum Knighthead coming down into the basement. And, I mean, whoa, okay, wait, hold on. He's gone.
Yes, the Mausoleum basement kind of guys are pretty good for level 2. You know, it's kind of like in your flow. It's a pretty traditional starter, if you will. Yeah, like just after that first camp, you can take on one of those weaker mini-bosses at a relatively smaller point of interest, one that, you know, fits the level you're at in this moment.
Let's take a look at Team 10 now, who show us one of the mob/mini bosses in Elden Ring. Some people had a lot of trouble with in this game.
A favorite.
It's a favorite. It's going to be buffed up a little bit too to take on 3 people in total. Crucible Knight.
I mean, I feel like this is another team that is, I mean, look at those arrows sticking out of the Crucible Knight. He's getting absolutely farmed. Beautiful dodge by Aggie.
And you'll notice they have both rot and poison on him. Again, you can see the debuffs on the health bar. And this is like 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
This is a crazy spot to be able to see the choice here.
I mean, they got to do some
20,000 runes. It's pretty serious, especially this early. I mean, Aggie's level 5. This early, like, is a great snowball effect. We could see Team Tan take on some stiffer challenges, like, more quickly because of that early power spike that they got off the Everjail.
I am super impressed with this team comp. I don't know if I'd ever have the brass to run it myself because it's, but God, I love it.
And
honestly,
tell me what comes out of those scarabs that we didn't see Aggie loot.
We haven't. We have not talked about those. So those scarabs are really important. If you see them when you're walking around the map, those are what the talismans drop from. So you have 2 talisman slots, great passive effects there, you know, tons of HP, all kinds of different effects can spawn in those, kind of like rings in the other games. So yeah, you definitely want to get talismans.
This is also a good moment for Aggie to show off the traversal system, something necessary. Oh, Well, it looks like we're gonna head over. Team Blue, okay, they're gonna be taking on the Night Huntsman.
And not for long.
And it looks like, yeah, this is one of those invaders.
This is so they found an invader camp, which is going to have great loot from the appropriate classes. So they just beat an Iron Eye, so he's going to drop Iron Eye oriented loot.
Yeah, this is actually, I believe, one of the remembrances that's also inside the game. So Team Blue doing the Iron Eye remembrance, where like there's a story for every single character that's inside the game, which is really, really cool. So you set that objective as you go in. I think one person gets to do their mission as each match goes on. And in this one, yeah, Iron Eye is kind of investigating a thing that's going on with their story. So
that's right. We haven't talked about any of the story components here today, but yeah, that is how it works. So there is a lot of story to unravel doing the remembrance quests.
And you're gonna do it while you play. That's the crazy
thing. When you're just watching these guys melt bosses, you don't see it. But there is a whole story component campaign for every character.
Yeah. So if I was playing solo and I'm like, I want to try and like get the entire Iron Eye story quest, can I still do that if I'm just queuing up with randoms?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can do it with randoms. You can do it with your friends, or you can even do it solo if you want. You don't even for the story content. You don't have to beat the entire run. You just have to go and do the thing. So you can actually do the remembrance content without clearing. So you don't have to like beat Gladius or anything. You just,
so you don't have, you're not as relying on that. You can still, for folks that want to focus on the story.
Depending on the story quest, you won't have to beat a boss.
That can also give you like permanent progression inside the game when it comes to certain relics. There's crazy stuff. You will get rewarded for doing these remembrances, which is really, really cool. Past that too, so looking at some of these other teams, they might have some active as well. They end up giving you runes as well, so you're not even like inhibited for doing these side quests almost inside the game. You get rewarded pretty heavily for going through for these detours. Look at Team Bronze real quick, who are taking on the castle. The first day we saw this castle, there were a bunch of Crucible Knights inside. Now, that does not look like a Crucible Knight unless it was doing its drinking milk and push-up challenge overnight.
He's been bulking. The Crucible Knights got big.
So yeah, they got the Troll Castle, which can be one of the more challenging ones depending on your group, because the trolls kind of like cover each other by throwing pots, and they're very dangerous, and it can lead to a cycle of, oh, I got hit by a pot, I'm down, and now I'm going to try to get res, but also I got hit by a pot, so I'm down. It can lead to nastiness, but they are very lucrative if you can handle them.
Yeah, you know, being able to clear this castle early was part of the success for Team Bronze, but they're only level 2, so like this is pretty risky for them to go this early. You know, if you start to lose levels now, the run could really be in jeopardy. By the same token, you could also start the snowball rolling, and so far so good for Team Bronze, led by Duality.
Yeah, they have 2 Wilders, so they have a lot of survivability. Remember, don't count that cheat death move out, because that triggers every time they hit a Site of Grace. So they basically get a free life every single fight they're doing. So that really adds up, and it can let those Wilders play very aggressively, even in the face of having pots thrown at them.
The big risk with the castle, though, right? Because, Jake, I see what you're saying.
Executor, Raider, and Wilder.
In here,
so
there's not an official boss health bar. So because of that,
Suyuki?
you might get booze.
I don't know if I said that right. Suyuki?
You might get, an option to get a new weapon.
I'm going for Executor, Raider, and Wilder. Those are the classes I'm going for.
Level 2 this entire time. When they
what classes are you going for?
Look at the rune count, 68K on the
Sorry,
top
I was making the cup
screen.
noodles.
They will jump up to level 7 or 8, finishing this castle when they do find a grace. But they have to operate all the way on level 2, facing like level 6 mobs.
Yeah, and they could just jump off the castle and find a Site of Grace.
Here I am. My mic was.
It's the min-maxing, right?
It is.
Okay,
the longer you stay on 2, whoa, this is what you were talking about.
Got that purple fog here. What does that signify, Dan? Like, what are we expecting them to come upon here?
Purple fog.
Ooh, I think this is a sentient pest.
Yes, it is. So we missed the first part of this, but essentially.
Suyuki, what classes are you going for? I said,
this is actually
I said Executor, Wilder, and Raider.
A Night Lord from a different level, but not in its full form. This is a very abridged version of that encounter. So basically, this is kind of just, he sent out the Locust to steal their levels. And if you're able to find this guy, which they did, you're going to get a very, very, very amazing perk, which we'll see here in a second.
I've never seen this before myself.
It's very good. It's very, very good.
Maybe we mini-mapped over it for a second. Attacks obtain a great amount of runes from enemies on rare.
And they got this early. So this could really scale the run. Like they could be hitting a very high level.
They're going to get 15 this run.
Okay, doing that on day 1.
Very powerful. However, again, we didn't see the first part, so they were threatened.
They could have
So there were locusts that were going to steal their levels if they didn't find and hunt down that pest.
Okay, so this is kind of a payoff to anyone who watched the Elden Ring Nightraign PAX experience. There were locusts taking away so many levels from all our teams. It was that sentient pest the entire time, and now, a month or just a few weeks later, we finally see that pest go down. So Night Lords can appear inside multiple games as well. Yeah,
they're going to appear differently than they would in their own map. So obviously, sentient pest, they killed that very easily. Sentient pest represents a much greater challenge than what you just saw there.
Yeah.
But when they kind of invade, They're a lesser form that does different things to try to like
Interesting. Yeah.
hinder your team's progress.
Maybe
love that.
let's
Go
join
live
in
on
here
this
with
TikTok
Team
shit.
Green,
Let me
who's
see.
taking on the castle themselves. Maybe we can even get the listen in, see how Team Green's doing.
Gotta be
I
up.
mean, there's a chance they could even go for the rooftop here.
Yeah.
Level 6 is possible, but it would be a very big risk.
I think it would be aggressive.
Oh, this has got to be the guy.
That is a guy.
This
though.
is the guy.
Okay, so I see what they're actually going for here. They're trying to find that big health bar to see what's up. So this is one of the guys, but the guy's on the very, very top.
Right, he's not the roof boss.
Yeah.
This is a boss though, like a mini boss. Like I said, the castle's full of mid bosses. There were tons of runes.
Let me see if you're still in
Oh,
here.
They don't even know what they're in for yet. They're going to be coming across so many Crucible Knights
Probably took too
trying to
long.
find this big
Blue
boss.
shield if you need it. Oh, there we go.
The
They're
jar
gonna- they're
cannon.
gonna- they're gonna-
Oh,
Makes
I
him
wonder
cut
what's gonna
through.
take the jar cannon.
You better not.
Do you need a purple shield?
Wait, that's a pretty great shield, though, right?
See,
Do
see-
you have like a walking build?
Yeah, and this is the big thing, right? So he picks up that shield and he's going to give it over to his teammate
insane.
who can actually use it better. So all the rewards you get.
Great for Guardian, right?
Yeah.
You can, especially if you're playing with friends, you can pass the loot, and that's the
Alright,
advantage. We
Damien,
talked
there's
about some of
another
these
boss on the other
powerful
side.
builds where you're like specializing, you have multiple Iron Eyes. But there's a bit of a strategic
found
edge,
it.
I think, to teams that have diversity because you can always give that loot to somebody who can use it, whether it's a spell casting seal or a powerful great shield. Different characters might use it more effectively.
Yeah.
This is going really well. This is a really nice, clean castle clear here.
A lot of runes from these.
Now they haven't gone for the guy. I hope they don't go for the guy on top.
Yeah, that's
that could change the tone of this run very quickly.
Yeah, we could
see I'm
say,
a
but I
grown-ass
wonder if
man?
they'll even be aware of it, right? Like that's the thing. When I started playing, there's so many different bosses in the
The castle is actually quite large.
Yeah.
There's basically an underground, a mid, and a roof, and there's little secrets to find in all of those areas.
The speed at which you do it, it's a big thing, and depending on the enemy, that also changes, right? The way the other team was handling the trolls, they were only focused on the midsection.
Right.
And now you look at all of these teams, some of them are not even at the castle.
Yeah, depending on your run, if you want to do the castle, you can be like, okay, let's do castle bottom.
Yeah.
You know, you're just going to do that, right? It's up to the run, how much time you have, what you want to do, and what other opportunities are out there.
Is that a draconic tree sentinel on Team Tan's POV?
we
But
gotta
they're
watch
fighting
that.
outside the storm. They're kind of min-maxing this one and maybe get some damage on.
ridiculous.
so
This is
risky.
ridiculous.
Oh, they're actually pulling him
Maybe they can-
outside
They
from
are.
the
They're
storm. Yeah, they're trying to pull him in.
You can only pull them so far, though.
They're committing ultimates to this
a lot
one.
Of HP. I don't know if this is going to pay off for Team 10. They are level 9, so all right, maybe.
Right. Again,
and they have that perk.
They pulled that perk, so even just every attack is a good thing to do.
Yeah, you have that roll to
my
like gain
first
runes, and
TikTok live.
I mean they're
How did
kind of
this
pulling
work?
him now.
How
But it
does
looks like
this
there's
work?
the
I
zone.
don't
No,
know.
the zone's still coming though, so it's
Zone's still coming.
pretty
We'll see what
scary.
happens.
They're prodding him in. They're kind of just guiding him over. And there's that rune
Yeah,
acquisition.
you see that? Yep.
That's 15K? You're doubling your runes?
It's a lot, man. It doesn't double, but it gives you a lot.
Yeah,
It
yeah. I
gives
mean,
you
they
a
had
lot.
15, so I was like, okay, that's more than double than what they had. That's,
You got,
They're
you got
just
10
gonna-
games.
I know.
All right,
I'm
I
telling
need
you.
this perk, man.
Live,
I need this
You
perk.
didn't get to
We
see what they
live,
went
baby.
through for the again.
That's true.
When that pest shows up, it's very
Live with
stressful. You have to
TikTok. That
find
shit is
him.
so
Yeah,
If
you
you
have to
don't,
search.
he's gonna take your levels instead of give you levels.
Nice.
Can I find this in real life to get like free money
I
of just
don't got no
attacking?
views yet.
Not people. I guess.
I,
That's crazy, man. With Iron Eye 2, you're attacking so much and you're on always
He's
active,
dipping.
right?
He's
Like,
dipping. He won't be pulled. He won't be pulled into
you
the
know
bog.
what? This is the craziest thing about this is because they had that buff.
It's worth it.
That was still an efficient use of time, even
Yeah.
if they never kill that guy.
Yeah.
I think it's worth less if they even killed him. I'm not gonna lie.
And speaking of consumables, Aggie even has the golden foul foot, so he could pop that when they take down this first night boss. But as they get to this closing circle, it seems like all our teams are starting to get towards taking on this night boss. Some of these ads start to spawn. Oh my God, this enemy.
Yeah, I want to tap him with Team Gray right now. Again, we saw a lot of long-range gameplay, lots of spell casting too, but looking at a gameplay of the Executor once again, up in the business, it's still double Executor, Iron Eye, and this is one way you can play Executor. Not use your main ability, go straight for dex weapons, thwack, 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 kind of like
You
a
can.
Raider Executor hybrid.
There's a lot of different ways to play every character.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have those tools, right?
Yep.
Sometimes you just want to be a giant wolf thing.
Let's see the boss. It's the Royal Revenant now. This is actually, I think, a good matchup here for Executor, going for the parries and switching into the ultimate form and just
Yeah.
start bringing the damage here on the Royal Revenant.
You can see how big your health bar gets when you go into beast mode.
God, it's huge.
So can you
take a
still
lot more
heal
damage.
with flasks in this mode?
I don't think so.
No, this is like an all-in
I'm
game,
on
so
the
you have to be very
I'm on the
careful
blue
as to
app
what's
and the red app.
Okay.
Now they'll fight the Revenant.
If
I
y'all
want to
wanna
go
see
over to
what
Team
I'm
Blue
looking at,
really
if y'all wanna
quickly.
see the video I'm
Show
looking
you a
at.
different POV of a different boss that can spawn in. It's
Yeah.
the Duke's Deer Freya.
Well, who doesn't love this one? This,
And all
way
the
around
spider ads.
a returning boss from Dark Souls 2. This one, just as nasty. And
Yeah.
again, in this fight, if you've
Oh,
got a Revenant,
Freyga.
those spiders
Freyga.
come into play because you can actually take them over.
Yeah, it's
So
insane.
his little friends actually turn against him.
So talk to me about some of the movesets from a boss like this that comes from Dark Souls 2. You know, now that this is, of course, a game that's been built for that 3-player
Yes,
multiplayer
absolutely.
experience, what's different about this fight?
About this fight, I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't know if I remember all these abilities.
Go live
Some
for
of
at
the
least
other bosses
5
that we're gonna
minutes.
see today, yeah, they do
Go
have
live one
they've
day
been-
this week.
A lot of the classic bosses that you might remember from Elden Ring, or they have new kits.
Yeah. One cool thing about Freya is that both heads are attacking all the time, and at one point, if you do too much damage to one side,
full live
you're forced to
experience.
just interact with
Go
the
live
other.
for 30
Right, that'll
minutes.
that'll,
Go live
that'll
3
generally
separate
happen
days.
over the natural course of the
Confirm
fight
age.
near the end.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna do
Well,
that.
let's go to
We're
Team
gonna do
Purple.
that.
Looks like they've got a pretty interesting boss of their own spawning in here on this night. It's going to be the Centipede.
What's going on, y'all? There's
Another
mad
Dark
people
Souls
joining. What's
classic.
up,
This
y'all?
one's
What's
from
up?
Dark Souls 1.
I don't know how this works. I'm just.
And yeah, this
is my
boss as
first
well.
TikTok
As
stream.
you fight it, deal damage to certain parts of it, they start to fall down and become mobs of their
I don't
own.
know how
which
this
is
works.
Crazy
Start
as a
saying
mechanic.
stuff. Start saying
when it comes
stuff.
to the Centipede Demon.
If you want to
It's
know what
also
I'm
fire
watching,
has
I'm
like
on the
a
red
poison
app and I'm on
katana
the
here,
blue
so
app
able to
under
do
the
some of
same
that crit
name
damage, really potent
that you see up
against some
there.
of these bigger health bar bosses.
Yeah, we'll be able to tell with the poison sticks. Centipede Demon doesn't.
Oh, I got
seem
some
like it.
followers.
Yeah.
Okay, I got some more views.
I mean,
Cool.
level 6 though is a little bit low for this phase
releasing
of the
that poison
run.
mist.
What's going on,
But they
y'all?
can definitely bring it back here.
You know, honestly, I don't know about level 6. If you're level 6 at the end of day 1, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, we're holding everybody
That's
to a
true.
really high
Like,
standard
we've
here.
we're like seeing these
Perfect
level
standards.
15s acting like level 15 is normal. I
Yeah,
it's not.
It is not. It is not at all. Level 6 into day 1 is actually pretty good, pretty decent.
14
Yeah,
live
looks like Centipede Demon
recommendations,
going
15
down.
viewers.
That
This is
much
my
of a
first
fight,
live, so
great
I'm not
work
really doing
from
nothing.
Team Purple.
I'm streaming
Still
on the
in
red
this one.
app and
Maybe
the
we
purple
can
app. So
join
y'all-
over with some of our teams here who have
know,
started
I
that
don't know
second
what
day.
I'm doing.
Seems like everybody has cleared that first night boss. Maybe we can go to Team Bronze, who is
Playbook?
up at
What's
the
that?
top of that castle.
Valbearing, Hunter Intel. I call this man the aura farmer. Look
at
at
him.
him.
I mean,
Slow walking.
He's walking.
Taking so many arrows to the chest.
Oh,
And he's got some really, his moveset. It can be kind of, he's got that back,
Man, he's tanky.
shield drop. Yeah, you never know where it's coming. Yeah, he is. He's the castle boss. So yeah. Oh,
And there it is.
wow.
So you might say, wow, that boss moves so slowly. I could dodge anything. Boom. You're done. 5-frame sword telekinetic hit from medium range. Good luck with that one.
And they got kind of greedy here. Gino Magino wasn't here in the fight.
guess we could-
Duality needs to get rest.
No.
So
1
was up in
second.
this one hit. Oh, no, just a second too late.
it's all good. But now this
This is my
that-
first live. I don't
the
know what
death
I'm
isn't
doing,
that
y'all.
Significant, but now it commits them.
Just holla at me.
Yeah.
Now they
now they're
need
back
to get
there.
those
They gotta go.
rooms.
Yeah,
First
They
TikTok
got to,
live.
finish what they've started. And they are actually in a pretty great spot, like level-wise, right? They're down a level, but still level 8, right? So
Yeah, they're
definitely
they're in good position.
run over. Duality's also good. This is great, I think, for fans to be able to see. Okay, how do you get to the top? How do you take on? You found the castle. Duality's going to show you.
Yeah, they're making
exactly
it
how
look
to
easy
get
today,
there.
but you're going to want to explore, take some time
Oh,
and explore.
wow. What is
the
this?
castle. Yeah.
I've never
Dude,
gone this way.
this-
There
Okay.
are routes.
What?
Yeah,
This is the
there's-
tech. This is that tech for the fans.
Follow, join. Oh, I'm getting
That's
some
nuts.
hearts.
The
up
ca-
in
the
here.
ca- like I said,
What's
the
up?
castle's got all kinds of
What does
different
that mean?
different ways to
I
play
don't know
it.
what that means.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so you get up this way. Everything's looking good, just the way that we saw Gino get up.
Yeah, looks like
I
we've
don't know what
recovered
none of that
here.
means.
Yeah,
This
so able to
fight-
grab some of the runes back, continue this fight.
Oh, I'm getting some
Valbearing
likes
under
and
half
shit. Oh,
HP.
shit.
It's a,
Let's
You know,
go.
he's got a
I
lot
got
of health.
78
He's
likes.
the castle bosses are
What's
buff,
up,
right?
y'all?
They're
He
like
became the
stronger.
lord of the castle for a reason.
What's up with it?
He's a big guy.
Let's tap over to Team Blue while these guys finish off what's happening with the Hunter. They're
Oh.
facing the Gargoyle.
Oh, so they got the crater again, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Likes gonna track
and
more
he's
Level
views.
hard.
12
I don't
is
know what I'm
amazing
doing.
as well, though. So Team
Oh,
Blue
yeah,
in
this
great
is
tag.
What in the world?
Yeah, like these runs are. we're like, oh, this will be a challenge for them. And then, oh, look
123
at that
likes.
damage
That's
on the
kinda- that's
Gargoyle.
tough.
What?
That's tough.
I mean,
Welcome to
listen,
Raider.
If you're
like
level
that.
12,
I like
I
this shit. I
can
like
say go ahead and take on the gargoyle. If you're 12,
The other
you're
app
not.
that I'm on right now. The other app's that I'm
Oh,
on.
so much in terms of options.
Like for context, runs end at 12 sometimes. These guys
Yeah,
are way
yeah.
ahead.
Being 12 on the boss, you're
Oh,
like
Doc,
feeling
thank
okay.
you,
You
thank
know, you're
you.
feeling. I wonder if though if they
Thank you,
want
Doc.
to invest the
Appreciate you.
time to go down
Appreciate
into
your
that
likes and
crater.
stuff.
Looks like Team
is my
Cyan,
first
there's
live,
a
so I don't know- I
sentient
don't know what
pest
I'm doing on
somewhere.
here.
It looks like
I'm also
Distortion
on
just
the
lost
red
a
app
level to one of those
in the
locusts.
purple
Oh,
app.
okay.
But
So now they have to find
If
it.
y'all
Yeah,
wanna,
West is active.
say
Let's
what's
see
up
how they
on there,
navigate.
too.
I think they are just searching right
So
now
basically,
for
how
the
you
pest.
do this, you have to watch. You should basically just chill out and watch the locust fly, and then follow them.
Ah, okay. This is all right. These are the real pro tips for
Very
fans
good.
working on day one.
How does this work?
That's what we
Like,
got
Doc,
Danny
what do
here
you
to actually
do
help
on here
you
when you
guys
go
out.
live? Do you
Absolutely.
go live
See
on
that?
here?
They just spawned over there. They pop. But
What
if you're
do
in a
you
fight,
do
you
on
might not
here?
see them.
Yeah.
You have time. You have
What
time.
do people usually do
basically
on here
try to
when
get
they
out of
TikTok?
combat,
I've
look where the
seeing
locusts are
people
going
listen to
and
music.
beeline that direction.
And that's pretty
Yeah,
much
he's
it.
tracking them down, trying to get that sentient pest. They're aware, of course, that powerful buff they can earn from it. Seems like maybe Lobos Jr. and
They might already be on
found
it. In
something
fact,
here.
one
I got
way,
3
you know, I
views.
found
Let's
this
go. I
after
got
doing
254
if
likes.
Oh, I see what you mean with the flying locust
Yeah.
right there. Yeah.
One person is all you actually need to go kill him because he's not
that strong. He just
yeah,
hides away.
Yeah, it's basically just he's an evil, like sort of
Evil little
disruptor.
guy.
Yeah.
It's truly a pest.
Exactly.
Nicole.
Let's see, maybe Lobos Jr. or
got a lot
Spicy
of
are able to
people
track
on.
this one down. But I mean, this is a big time investment,
some
right? It
new
might be a
follows,
powerful
too.
perk,
Appreciate
but
the follows.
It's
I
one
didn't
that takes
peep-
time to pay off,
I
right?
didn't
This
Get those
one,
attacks
you
in.
know,
Trying to
a
figure
lot
this
of the
out.
times you're making decisions about whether or not you're going to go engage with something that spawns or
Yeah.
something that happens. This one you pretty much always want to.
Because it's so
Because
powerful.
either it's going to take your levels or give you a ton of levels. So
I have a channel
you really
but never
don't have
went
much
live.
choice.
Yeah, and it's such a big
Oh,
area, right?
try it,
These
you never
locusts can
know.
attack.
Right.
No, no,
It-
might
sometimes
be
it's
on.
clear across the
I got a
map. So
message. What
it's a lot
message did I
of
get?
commitment. But trust me, it's always better to go for it. The
no,
pest
that's
is not
just-
very difficult in this.
Yeah, in this
Again,
format.
the pest boss is very
Nah, I'm
different.
getting
than
hella
what
likes.
we see
That's
here.
crazy.
Yeah,
Pest, we
crazy.
won't,
Appreciate all the
see
likes.
here.
Appreciate all the
Pest,
love, y'all. Appreciate
very
y'all.
different than
Appreciate
this.
y'all.
This is more of a the disruptor pest.
I don't know what I'm doing
I mean,
on
we
here.
get to
I'm
see
just
some of the
here.
build coming online here for Team Cyan.
just get to see my
They had such
handsome face
insane builds
as
in that
I'm
last run.
streaming
Continuing to
to
run it back
another
here with the Recluse. Level being absorbed here. Do you get those levels that were
Hold on, let me go
absorbed
get my
back when you
food.
take down the pest?
Oh, it's a good question. I'm not sure that in this build whether they're coming back or not. Regardless, though, the perk's going to get you some levels.
I mean, oh wow, they have insane runes, so they
Right.
must have gotten that. I mean, 169,000 runes is
That's a lot of runes.
ridiculous for distortion.
With this
so.
team, I have no idea. They might have been sitting on it.
Yeah. All right, let's head over now to Team Tan. It looks like they're going to be taking on a boss here on the roof of the castle. It's going to be the Ancestor Spirit. Already
Oh, wow.
getting staggers, and I mean, wow, this roof
Again,
boss fight is going a lot better for Team
This
Tan.
is the ultimate damage team.
Whoa, that rock was massive.
And I love to see that the Duchess is
said,
wandering
"You are
around
very
with a
nice.
rock
I don't know what
axe.
it
I
does
mean,
either.
Yeah.
When
I love
sometimes
it.
it doesn't,
No
I
daggers
like to
here.
give lots of likes.
Improve range weapon
I
attacks.
appreciate
That's,
that.
I mean,
Thank
the
you.
dream passive
Thank you.
for Iron Eye. Exactly the kind of loot that you want to find
I don't know what
from
it does.
taking on
I'm
a
just
tough
on
challenge
here
here.
learning.
Like the castle boss. Level 13 is
I'm on here
amazing, and
learning.
you still,
What is this
you know, one of the
playing?
nice.
Still time.
What is
Exactly.
this?
One of the things I like to judge as I'm playing through a run of Night Raid is I'm just looking at the sky and
What is
seeing,
this?
you know, how dark is it? How much time do we have to work with?
Versus
Zentreya
matches.
down on level 8, and this Magma Worm is hitting, man. Already down Stokey Bird. Limu's low. Scary fight. They might need to back out of this one.
I mean, yeah, we saw some magma worms get absolutely bodied in the last run, but these are no joke, man. They have tons of health and they can hit really hard.
If anything, this goes to show how impressive some of those earlier runs were, that they were able
So
to
I guess
chunk
the
through
people joining
an
are
enemy as
people just
powerful as
swiping
the
through
Magma
the
Worm. And I actually
live
like
and
this
seeing-
decision
and
from
seeing
Team
my
Purple.
thing.
We've seen that
I got
you can
62,
beat the Night
63
Lord from a
views.
relatively lower level. You don't need to be level 14, 15, but if you start dropping down even lower, you go down to like 5, 6, you lose levels in the earlier run, then things are going to get really
It can make it
difficult.
nastier, and you'll be forced into taking a bargain with Libra too. You might be tempted to take those bonus levels if you
Yeah,
offer them to you,
those, as you mentioned, those bargains with Libra are, yeah, there's two sides to that sword.
which we're definitely going to see.
See if we can tap in here with Team Green as they're trying to also search for that sentient pest, it looks like. Seeing what they can find.
Yeah,
Searching
so
on
we
the
get a
map.
look- Oh yeah, they
Is
were
it
in a
dragon
fight. Yeah, it
too?
could be disruptive.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you could be caught in
Well,
a
as we go
boss
through,
fight.
yeah, that's why I was just like,
at
you know
the
what,
same
let me
time
just
be
try
having
to
to deal with
just
it. Will Nath
spark
looks like he's
up
trying to
live and see
track
what
down those
happens.
locusts.
He
You never
definitely
know.
wants to, because
You
if
never
you
know
let
what
this
can
one get
happen.
away from you,
You're gonna be
I'll
really
learn
it's
as I
not
go.
gonna be
I'll
good.
learn what to do on here as
Oh,
I
and
go.
seems like
yeah, I think it's gone.
maybe it despawned from outside the edge of the ring.
Eventually, it does despawn.
Yeah,
So.
you're always in that race
I
against
was looking
time.
on the
Do they
TikTok-
have time to
the
take on this
TikTok studio,
dragon?
they
That's
said if
also a
you-
pretty risky fight with the circle
what's the
closing
rules?
in.
What they said? They
I don't
said,
hate the idea of run past it. You know, I think
you go
this
live
is
for
something that
30
probably a lot
minutes,
of people are going to
go
learn the
live on
hard
3
way
separate
when you
days.
jump into Night
You
Raid.
have to
unlock
learn
the
it. You have to
full
learn
live
no other way to
experience
do
You
it
got to
but
take
learn
the
it.
risk, you
You
know,
do.
like
I
go
wanna
for the
see what
fight
that
at the
is.
edge of the fog. See what happens, man.
It's fun to take the risk sometimes, and you know you get better at
Good luck. I'm gonna
evaluating
scroll and
like,
check back later.
whether or
God's
not you
friend.
should.
Yes, sir.
As
That's
time
right.
goes
Yeah.
on.
The
I
pest
appreciate
sometimes
you, Doc.
forces
Thank
you
you.
to actually
Thanks for
take
showing
even
up.
more
Let me,
risks because, yeah,
Can I shoot
they're
you a
down
follow
runes now,
while
so
I'm
they have to
on
get
there?
them
Yeah, I'll
back.
definitely follow you back. Thank
That
you.
dog.
Dragon dodges
I
the elf.
appreciate you
Man, this one's gonna be really
coming in
tough.
This
here
is
and showing me some
tanky.
love. I appreciate
Especially
you.
on the
I
edge
just
of the
followed you
circle.
back, too.
And I mean, this type of an arena, right, to find the
Yeah.
boss where he's got this high and
He's
low
got-
ground to
Yeah, no
utilize
problem.
could be
Anytime.
pretty awkward. So we'll see what Team Green are thinking about. We're going to tap in on the audio.
You say you could barely hear me, Tony?
We were so
Hold
doing
on.
so well, and then we got 3 fucking
I gotta
levels
put my
still
headphones
in.
back in.
Wow, so
The
they were up at
Locust
level
Man.
12. They were up
That
at level 12 up to this point, which is huge.
That's actually real. Like I
for
said,
this team, yeah.
Risk reward.
The
That's
Can you hear me now?
second
Can you hear me
you
better
see
now,
that locust,
Tony?
Drop what you're doing and
And
go.
find it, yeah.
And go. It's worth it.
Dan's coming in with the real pro tips here for the day one gamers. Folks who are tuning into the stream, you're getting that inside look here.
I
at
went
Elden Ring
live
Nightreign.
on TikTok,
But the
so that's why
Dragon
I'm talking
is-
to my
is
TikTok
taking
people.
serious damage. So all right, Team
I
Green.
got two.
They
I got
are
two
doing
viewers
it.
right now.
They're chunking it down pretty hard.
I didn't recognize your game, Team Green. Respect. Oh.
No,
Flying
they'll take
dragon
this
of
one
the
down
hills.
easy.
Getting in those attacks in the
I
head.
don't know about easy, but I think they'll take it down.
And you see that Duchess rewind ability is
It's
so
on me if you
powerful.
can get him, Bo.
Myth took a big hit, went down though. Buzz low as well, so.
Oh, Myth can't afford to lose another level. That'd be 4
Gotta
levels
get him
lost.
up, Myth.
You know, for as many levels they lost.
Oh, they got him. They got him in.
And again,
I'm
they'll have a
watching.
chance to make a bargain,
Yeah, that's true.
which will make the fight more interesting.
So it looks like
all in.
this one's gonna go well here for Team Green. I would love to actually join back in here with Team Cyan, who is going back down to the crater and potentially looking for some of those legendary weapons. They're clearing the fire prelates here, guarding the entrance to that final boss or area. Level 12 already. This is another amazing run for Team Cyan.
Yeah.
I mean, in great position to take on Libra.
They have the pest buff as well, right? So they're going to be 15.
Yeah,
They should
I
be
got
super
5
level. I think they
views.
got
I'm
it a little bit
doing
later.
that. What's
Improved
up with y'all?
charge sorceries.
What's
A
up?
great find in terms of passives.
Say something. Talk to
Yeah,
me in
okay,
chat.
this recluse is about to hit so hard.
Yo, Tony,
I-
can
And
you
they're
hear me
already
now?
on 13.
I know. So they're going to be 15.
Yeah, let's actually speed up here. Go over to Team Bronze. Look at where Team Cyan's about to be in just a second. They're going to be skipping all these cards real quick. We go over to Bronze. This is the
Yeah, so
very
they're also
bottom.
in the crater.
Yeah. And let's take a listen in with Luality
You
too,
are
see
getting views
exactly what the
faster than
team
99%.
is feeling like.
Again,
Taking
you're
one
not
back.
going to have the crater on every map. We've had two in a row here.
Yeah.
That's fire. I got 8 people in here.
Yeah, it depends on.
There
What's
are
my
different
zodiac
biomes
sign?
Smaller, right?
that can
I'm
spawn
an
into
Aries.
your game.
Born in
Did the
April.
night just come in?
Depends on like bosses you've
Just
beaten,
get the
different
number 2
challenges,
get
different
your
things,
badge.
different random
There's
experiences.
all kinds of
Hey.
different factors here.
That's what's up.
But yeah, it looks like we got crater again.
Money,
Again,
what's going on?
that was very clean, awesome.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have a chance to get legendary weapons here. Man,
Improve range
everyone
weapon
is
attacks.
playing
That's a
really,
great passive.
really well today.
I don't know how none
Yeah.
of this works.
This is a big lock-in.
I'm trying to just.
We'll look at some
figure
of these
this
other
out as I
teams
go.
who
This
are
is my
also
first
just
time going
playing
live.
super
Fire
well.
me
Maybe
too. Oh,
we
you
go
Aries
back
too?
over
That's
to Team
fire.
Science, see how
You
they
born in
take
April?
down
Born in April too?
This Magma Worm.
It's a big DPS check, right? A boss as tanky as the Magma. We see some of the spells that Distortion is working with.
But
this
again, this
Dude!
the damage output is actually absurd.
We only ever see this with Duchess inside.
Like think about this. Not even using the ultimate.
Yeah, you
There's
born
no
in April
need.
too?
Yeah.
Oh my, okay.
Maybe until
okay,
you're out of
Magma
FP,
Worm.
like. Yeah, we have some person who also has like as soon as you sprint, the activation of your sprint can give you an ability as well. So-
Yeah.
Hey,
And remember, they still have that thing where they're getting runes.
Hey.
So
Wow.
45K
Follow, bro.
from the
Yeah.
worm,
Follow back.
20K from the sentient pest passive.
18% charge.
I feel like I'm at a
sorcery?
flea
If y'all
market
want
when it
to
comes
watch
to
it,
naming out prices
I'm on
with
the blue app
all the
and the
value
purple
these
app,
guys
so
are
you can
getting
open up another
from this
tab,
build
tab
right now
on
from this
there.
run. This is
Or you can
crazy
just
This,
for this
stay
one.
this
here.
team
Doesn't
is
matter.
going to
Doesn't matter.
annihilate Libra. I don't even that poor guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to be Libra today.
I don't know what
I'm
you're
not
supposed to
gonna
do
lie,
on live
Team
on
Distortion,
here, so I
Team
just-
Cyan coming up to a
just here.
very early lead here in the competition, looking
I
like
might start going
very
live like when
impressive
I'm going
poses.
to
See
the
what the
store and
upgrade
stuff.
choice though Distortion
Like when
makes
I'm
here.
outside.
Which passive, which upgrade does he want to get the most there?
Stars of Rain gonna be upgraded
So,
or
See
ruined.
what they're
my
thinking
bad.
about
we
too.
just do Maggie and then go in.
And this is how you actually get out
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Right,
That's
yes,
fine.
yes,
upgraders. So
That
you're
we'll
gonna show
get
us
on
the first
15
time.
with that.
Cassandra
You get one of
was
these
good.
spectral birds. and
Cassandra,
just hold
what's
on
going
for the
on?
ride. Don't
We
move
can
your left
maybe
stick.
jump
Do
back.
Yeah,
not
that's
jump
money.
off the bird, guys.
Don't jump off into the lava. But
Yeah.
so these are dotted across the map. These birds can actually give you some long distance travel options. Even though you can move very
Shout out-
fast,
thank you for all
these
the
are
likes,
even
y'all. I
faster
appreciate it.
for
Really
clearing
appreciate all
large
the likes.
portions of the map.
Yeah, and so on the map, they're denoted by these big white swoops, right, that allow you to, like you mentioned, traverse the map much more quickly than normal. If you know the objective you need, maybe you want to upgrade those flasks at a church, but it's across the map. You could use those spectral hawks to help you get that the increased traversal time.
100%. And this enemy human queen is just gonna have a really bad time. Just a really like the worst.
Andrew.
time.
Yeah, this is. I'm not feeling very good.
One
about
queen.
that.
9:15.
One
Thank you
queen.
for the
Which
follow.
is
It's already
always
gone.
gonna go on
It's
there,
already
right?
gone.
So this is a
Andrew
really good
won.
perspective. I was watching
Thank you
Team
for
Gray as
the
everyone else
follow.
is
Appreciate
doing the bottom of the crater. They're doing the top and all the bosses around them. So they're also level 13. They might not have the overall
Everyone
like
bullies me
buff,
for my
so to speak,
name.
when it
8
comes
blasts
to-
though. That's a
They
lot
always
of
say I'm a
they've
girl,
really
I'm a
got
guy.
the
They've
churches.
explored the
Oh,
overall
so your name
game
is
everyone
Cassandra,
else.
but you're a
When
guy.
you drop
world.
down
That's
into the
interesting.
crater, you miss going to all the churches. You
I'll tell
miss
you-
doing all the extra stuff.
I'll
So
tell you what,
they're up
though.
on XP. Might not have a legendary weapon.
No matter
but
what
this
you
is a
do,
completely different way to play the
People are
game.
always gonna
I mean,
like
8
talk
flask.
shit about
I
you.
feel pretty
So
comfortable with 8 flasks no matter
you
what
just
I'm
gotta
fighting.
focus
That's a
on
lot
the
of
people
healing.
that do
Yeah.
like you
And they're
do
gonna
care
need it,
about
right?
you.
Double executor.
And
Or executor just
Say
being
fuck them
close
to
range.
everybody else.
We have an eclipse show.
I don't know
time.
if
We
we
have
can
a
do
kind
this
of
on TikTok.
almost
Say
a
fuck them to
dagger
everybody
build
else.
going on here.
You can
It's a very
screenshot me
interesting
going like
Yeah.
this.
A lot of bleed
and you can
procs
send it to those
potentially.
people. Cassandra,
Bleed.
all the people that's
Pretty
making fun of
reliable
you.
of a tool. I mean, There's some bosses that aren't going to be vulnerable to it, but for the
Chris,
most
what's
part,
going on?
always
That's
nice
sad.
to be
What's
taking
sad?
out
What you talking about?
big tanky health bars.
Death Fire also going to be really good on
Yo,
Libra, I believe.
J
because
Money TV with the
Fire might
rose.
not
I
be
don't know
one
what
of the
that means,
obvious
but
weaknesses of the boss,
appreciate
but
you,
is
gang.
one that does do
Yeah,
know what
again,
that means.
we've talked about the weaknesses before, and in a way, they are kind of like, you know, they're really valuable to have in those fights, but they certainly are not necessary.
Yeah.
If you've got like a legendary weapon that doesn't have it, it's still probably better than using like, you know,
Nice roll.
a common weapon with it. You know, it really depends.
Yeah.
I mean, Senju's just putting on a very nice clinic here
Constant
about
quality
pumping
adjustment,
damage, staying
violations,
close
etc.
range.
Okay.
And I mean, one of the things that
new
I
followers.
think really is going to highlight your skill in a game
yeah,
like Night
Cassandra,
Rain is
don't let nobody-
playing that tempo game,
don't
right?
let
Like,
nobody
you can play some of these fights more
keep you
passively,
down
more
because
slowly,
they talking-
but that's going to
they
cost you
talking-
time.
talking shit
now,
about you.
the Godskin Noble looks to be the night boss they
There's gonna be people
face.
that like you, gonna be people that
It's
love
really,
you.
it's just the
Some people that
Godskin
like
Noble,
you.
right? You know, it's really
Some
is.
people that
Of
don't
course
like
it
you.
is.
It's just the Godskin Noble. Take him on, no problem. He
Godskin-
doesn't bring friends.
Never.
Chris, what you
gonna
talking
happen.
about? You said that's
He's
sad.
gonna
What
be
you talking
something.
about?
Yeah, I know, right?
This is
What's
just
that?
wailing on him. This power attack is
About
crazy.
Oh, I love the power
Wow.
attack. I love it.
Shotel also getting powered up here.
There we go.
Lots of damage. There's the
Andrew,
Apostle.
109.
And the
Hello,
cool
I'm
thing about
impressed
this game
by
is that
your
you might be
streaming
here
videos. I like you
familiar
adding
with
me
these
on
bosses.
Discord.
They have
Andrew, are
all
you a
new,
bot?
brand new movesets
Are you a bot?
to
You
deal
trying to
with
bot
blue
me in
players,
my other
to
chat?
deal with the
in
added
this chat, man?
pressure
Come on,
that you're
bro.
putting onto them. So
Big backstab.
the Apostle
Toby.
has this amazing moveset where like he starts to get lightning powers and twirl around the map and do a grab on you that we haven't really seen before. It gets crazy.
Uh-oh.
One goes down, so remember, if you die during the night bosses, you won't be reset with the level. You will be wiped, so you got to be very cautious. Moonski went down too, so after Senju, putting the carry on in this run, these bosses are still healthy.
This is a difficult start.
Yeah, 8 flasks though.
Again, yeah, 8 flasks could help.
They've got a lot of resources, right? So we expect them to
So
be able to
what
make
are
the
these
comeback.
badges,
Meanwhile,
like
Team
number one,
Bronze
number two?
tearing
What does
through
that
the
even
same
mean?
fight. And once the Noble
does that
goes down,
mean?
the Apostle, you know, just ganging up
I
on
don't
it.
know what
I'm
that
feeling
means.
very
Yeah,
confident. about Team
always the
Bronze.
divide and conquer strategy, you know? Unless you can just kill the tree sentinel first, like they did earlier. That was hilarious.
Might be the way Moonski down again.
Here's that
Triple,
attack
quadruple.
on Bronze.
Now the flasks don't matter if you can't drink them, right?
That is a really good call.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
if you
the
go
whole
down,
thing.
right, you get bursted. Some of those squishier characters, it might be harder to leverage the flask. So I feel like maybe if I'm going for a Revenant or Recluse build, maybe I'm not as worried about getting all those flasks at the
Palestine.
churches.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
One thing too, you're always gonna be on your feet for is looking at some of these
Jimmy
other bosses.
J?
Let's tap in with
Jimmy-
Team Blue real quick. Who's about to
I
finish
guess
one of
that's
their
Jimmy
runs.
one. I guess
If it does
Jimmy
finish
Lay
too
or
fast,
whatever.
we'll also jump to
That's a
Violet
one.
as well.
I don't know what
They were
letter you
dealing with
trying
the
to make that
Crucible
mean.
Knight
Oh.
against a
Free
golden
Palestine. I'm not
hippopotamus.
afraid
They got
Say
the
that.
that spawns in
surprise
halfway.
hippo.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Level
it's
15
insane.
for
And
Team
then
Blue again, man.
from
Not a
here,
political
from
guy, I
here, let's
don't
jump
do
to Team
political stuff.
10. I just want to show you the differences
I know right
in
from
this
wrong.
game. They're all
Free
on
Palestine.
this Libra run. They're up against a Deathright Bird, which is a different story entirely. If you're running a bleed build,
Yeah.
if you're running some crazy deck stuff, this boss is like your nightmare.
And normally I'd say the Deathright Bird can be very scary, but if you're level 15
That's
with this
probably
team,
gonna
I
lose me
doubt
some
you
views. I was
care.
scared. I was like, if you don't stand for
look at-
something before
I-
He's got
anything.
5 flask full HP.
I know
This
it's right.
is
I know
not
the
a
difference between
real
right and
challenge for Team
Of
10.
all the comps that I've seen here today, the double Iron Eye Duchess is the most
There's no
interesting
excuse
and the
to
most
kill
brutal.
innocent
Yeah,
children.
yeah.
It's
Tap
like,
in with that
this
one.
is the all-in build. This is either the enemy is
build.
dying in 10 seconds or I am.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Pre-ante, pre-flop, all-in type
Yeah,
build.
that's
It's
exactly
crazy.
that. That's a wild one. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Break in the game. This is the
what none of
POV
this
if you
stuff
don't have it. Actually, no. This team almost has that build. I've never seen this weapon before.
Sweet weapon. Looks like it's like the
That's
falling
from
star.
the Falling
orb.
Star. Yes.
Yeah. And again, if you went straight down to the Magma Worm, you wouldn't have the opportunity
That's
to
right.
have this weapon. So teams like Team Gray, like Team Purple as well, it's huge. You get this
Well,
really
you
cool
know,
gravity move with this as well. It's
There
really
is
nice.
the Falling Star Beast in the crater, but there might be other opportunities to find one, depending on things that happen over the course of the game.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah, there's those unique events. And I mean, Team Purple down to level 10. Still a winnable situation, but one where they're going to have to play it very clean, very sharp. We'll check in with them a little bit later. Because Team Cyan.
Yeah, somebody coming in. We're going to play Let's Make a Deal.
Yeah, I mean, and we've seen so many of those roguelike choices throughout the runs, and I love that Libra really plays into that core philosophy of the Night Rain experience.
For this team, I think they're all just going to not take anything.
Yeah.
When you're this strong,
I mean,
it's like,
they're
why?
they're so
I don't know
unbelievably
what the hell.
powerful.
But here's a cool thing, right?
But maybe
So-
you get the dream
Yeah.
offer, right?
I love when you get into this POV, into the field.
Right.
Gladius missed Sin. Libra is already here, waiting for you.
With the scale.
He looks pretty
Yeah.
chill. He doesn't, I mean, he looks pretty
Make
nice.
it just so you want to expand your intellect. This will
mean, that's
respect you.
tempting.
It respects you completely to a full int build at the cost of a level. A powerful weapon also has a cost. I want to gain many levels. You gain 3 levels, but every time you take a flask, you lose a level. So the
Okay,
the
they on
deals
the
get
boss. I'm gonna have to
crazy.
lock in on
Every
my stream
player has
here.
a separate deal.
Every player gets different deals.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
All right,
wild,
guys.
man.
This is
Here it
Libra.
comes.
And an immediate attack distortion already timing this
Go
one.
Libra.
Right.
Helping a lot
Oh,
of damage
yeah,
onto
that
Libra.
would
So
help.
aggressive with these
Oh
spells.
my
They're
God.
trying to just rain hellfire here.
Again, if
on
you
him.
wanna see
You
what
gotta
I'm
watch out for those sigils
watching,
on the ground. Those have the potential to knock you
You go
so quickly.
follow me on the
Yeah, he has an
red app
instant
or the
TP move
purple
as well that comes in with the Crash of Madness. So a lot of these caster builds, you have to be very careful while you're fighting Libra. Already,
For those of
Team
you watching
Cowboy.
at home, this is a difficult boss.
Yeah.
And it's getting bodied by the.
Oh my God, Team Cyan is melting this one.
The DPS is insane with Distortion's Recluse build right now.
They're both level 15 teams.
Yes.
And they look absolutely insane. So right now, when he gets into the sigil mode on Team Cyan's screen.
They already broke it. It was instant.
Yeah. They have an Iron Eye ultimate able to just take the entire minigame down. Here are the sigils
Blue
on Team Blue.
Yeah.
Oh, they just take it down as well. They stagger him with two colossal weapons.
Him out of it, yes.
That's insane. There's so many options to approach with this one.
One of the key straps we've seen for teams to break that sigil phase is using the ultimates to stagger the boss while he's passing.
You can do ultimate timing. Yeah.
You really want to avoid him getting that attack off, because if he does, he's going to get super buffed up and be a problem. He's got an attack buff now, but trust me, that's the better outcome. I promise you, somebody on some of these runs, you're going to see what happens if Libra gets his sigils off.
Yes, we are.
And now we saw a little bit of low FP on Team Cyan getting hit double time, so the Recluse ultimate comes out.
Figuring it out.
And now HP's not a problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're getting HP and FP back on every hit.
And look, it's a multi-hit spell as well. So you can see, while it was up at least, crazy things were coming in. Big stagger damage
Instant.
again.
God.
The Iron Eye ultimate. The big bow shot. Libra's mad, but I don't think the team cares.
This is such a masterclass from Team Cyan Distortion too, looking so impressive. This is
not a single
the fastest Libra kill I've seen. Not even close.
Okay, for those of you watching at home, your first Libra experience will not be like that one.
Let's go to Team
No
Gray.
false advertising. No false
Jump to Team Gray. Jump to Team Gray here. I know that Team Blue is also going to be solving this one out. Let's look at Libra from the perspective of someone who might have not seen it before, maybe going for it for the first time.
Oh yeah, to make different deals, as you can see.
And HP is low. Restore HP at the cost of reduced max HP. So let's hear from Afro Senju. What is he thinking about?
He made a deal. Wait, no,
not yet.
That's
self-proficiency.
I refuse.
If you're not sure, refusing is a good call.
I didn't know.
I agree. I think this is the right call. Unless it's like really perfect for your build, the downsides are expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Spam 2's
But
chat.
we have seen we've seen people hit like level 18 for taking those levels and play Iron Eye. You don't need to heal. Just play long range. So we've seen it pay off. The deals aren't always terrible. But these teams confident. Level 14, they feel like they can do it with the kit they have already.
We have to respect the mechanics.
I think this one will be a little more interesting.
What's going on?
Oh, they're trying to just multi-bleed him as much as they can.
That.
But here's the cool thing about this boss. He's a merchant-based boss. His lore as well has to do with
some big hits already.
If you get greedy, you go down. That's the entire philosophy around this boss.
The concept from the very beginning, right? His whole I'm gonna make you an offer. Don't take it.
So if you even do just one extra R1 proc, if you just stand in for a millisecond more for an attack, you're taking half your HP bar. Now you can see the true difficulty of this boss. This team's struggling when they're close range.
He hits like a truck.
Yeah.
And this team doesn't have the coordination for stagger cycles, if you will. Much more advanced play what we saw from the other teams.
They're still level 14. This is a beefy team.
Yes, this is
the beast is pumping damage. He's also taking those hits from Libra.
I staggered him.
I love this. This is.
Okay, so there's a mode.
Do they have the stagger?
They're not trying to stagger it so they can clear the seals.
Break the seals. Break the seal. Boom, break it. Run into it.
There we go. So that's one way to stop it. Now the thing is,
be careful.
that mechanic scales every time.
It
so
does.
you'll have double the seals.
There's going to be more seals.
Triple the seals. The seals spawn in the air, so it's a double executor Iron Eye build.
The Iron Eye's going to have to
Anybody know,
yeah,
guys,
it's going to be nuts.
Let's go over to Team Green right now. They just failed the sigils phase. Let's see what goes on if you let Libra get this buff online.
So triple the spells, right? At the same time, the spells get buffed, so they go faster. They go further. They stack on top of each other. And they also get buffed to go in 360 degrees when he casts it from his hands.
We need the comms from Team Green right now. Oh, we're not going to bring him in on this time. We'll see what Team Green's able to do. Can they clutch? Oh my God, these
Look at the damage.
They keep coming.
It's going to be a world of hurt.
This is a long phase. You got to survive this one. Let that buff decay off. Trying to put damage down in this phase, very risky.
Yeah, he has increased poise, by the way. You can see under his health bar, it's not rot, it's not poison. Yeah, increased poise, increased resistance, increased damage. Or not damage, just defense entirely. And every single person getting hit on the team, down to one flask. This is the scariness of not clearing the mechanic on this boss. Now, he starts to drum on the ground. You have to go pick up all those little runes. Naf doesn't know about it. You get madness proc if you don't go for it. You can't heal through it either.
Yeah, this is my first live stream on
a double hit.
I mean, he kind of can, but he's obviously still got a big madness bar charge.
And he's out of flasks. This much HP on the boss bar, and a madness proc knocks him. This is looking like a really scary fight here for Team Green.
Look at that, Myth and Asu trying to find their ways to get into this spot as well. I mean, They will get him up for now, which is kind of insane. Have an next chance to go for that Iron Eye ultimate. But again, we saw teams saving that ultimate to help with the mechanic. This team's just gonna rage throw it towards the very end.
Ooh, excuse me.
We're trying their best right now.
Team Bronze, meanwhile, just cleared. We can also maybe join Team Violet, who are pretty close to a clear of their own. Remember, this team went down in the first round. They weren't able to defeat Gladius, but getting a win here would go a long way to getting them back in the running here in the competition.
Yeah, they set themselves apart from some of the other teams that failed Gladius and will fail Libra.
Sigil phase. A lot of sigils.
They're trying to go to just break everything when it comes to the center. They're going to try for it multiple times. It's not going to work.
Uh-oh. Scary moment, right? They need to clutch this out. Sykkuno on the third down.
Not
gonna
again.
take a lot of hits to get him back up, and he's the Iron Eye. He's the one who's most equipped to res teammates, so it's a scary moment for Team Violet. They've got to stay locked in. They've got to kite this phase well.
Yeah, and with the 3 circle, you know, the 3 pips around the circle, very hard to res.
Yeah. No, this is
See how many attacks it takes from the allies.
When you get down that low, ultimate abilities are best used defensively, actually, if you have to. Because that's the only thing that can get that much damage out in that short time.
Garrick is low. Last man standing. Takes a hit. Just barely able to tank through it. Needs to just evade these spells, trying to get those reses off. Getting one back into the fight would really help. Okay, Raditz is up, and a great dodge from Garrick keeps him in the fight.
Still locking in with it. Ooh, Garrick down, just down to Raditz now for the very end of it.
Yeah, you can get into a really vicious cycle here when you got 2 down with the 3 pips on the bar.
Yeah.
And they don't have the best ultis to really res back into the fight. Sometimes ultis can be great, but something like the Wilder ulti is like pretty reliable way to res. We've seen that as one of the key skill sets on Guardian and Revenant.
And here's a really cool tech you can actually do if you just focus on the bottom right with Raditz. He was about to get that Madness proc in, uses his ultimate, the iframes from the ultimate, stop the Madness.
Absolutely.
He's able to go toe-to-toe with Libra now.
Oh, he's low though.
Ooh, gotta be
giving
careful.
time for the res here. It was a trade.
1 for 2. And big damage again.
Oh, no.
Just like Kuno as he gets up.
I mean, Libra is relentless.
Look at the sigil.
Oh, no.
Okay, this is where you got to make a choice. Maybe you do just go for the res, get people back up into the fight.
I don't think they can go. I think they have to go for it.
Yeah?
Well, they had an ult, apparently, right?
All right.
They're all up.
They get him back in, but this is the buff spellcasting Libra.
Yeah, he
might
is
be
buffed.
low, but he's not out.
He is buffed.
Sykkuno trying for this. Does not want to repeat what happened with Gladius, where we saw a very similar amount of HP, and the boss taking and having the final laugh at the end of the day. Libra, though, much tougher than Gladius.
I like that they're playing this one slow, though. They're trying to wait out some of these buff phases. Green, it looks like, just went down, so failing to that second boss. Libra, such a heavy threat. We saw them kind of struggling earlier. Team Violet, though, we're going to stay with them, see if they can manage to clutch this one out. These hits keep coming, though.
Ooh, iframes to stop the TP into the stagger.
This is going to be...
Oh, this is going to be
close. We're going for the res
so
again.
Close.
Hit on res. Iron Eye's going to just finish it off. It's going to be huge. Garrick is back up. Libra down to 10%.
Oh,
got him.
Gotta grab these pips. Libra still incredibly
Double
low.
Madness, triple.
No. Oh my God.
Wait a minute.
Oh, wait.
We had a res all the way. Maybe it's a legendary item. Yep.
Yeah, he had. There's a legendary item that can give you a free res.
Looks like 2 teammates already backed up, going back over to Garrick, getting back into the game. Sykkuno, everything on the line here. Libra,
he might
not
need to
gonna be
1v1
mad.
this. Although Garrick also looks like had the
yeah.
legendary res, so he's gonna be back up in this as well.
He's so low. They're locking in and just doing damage, leaving Raditz on the ground for now. Sykkuno, 5% HP.
He's weakened.
So close. Okay, back on the stage. More sigils than people.
Okay, we just leave.
Playing Night Rain right now. It's crazy.
Another
There's
buff
no
on
way.
Libra.
I think I'm dead.
All right.
Another buff on Libra. We're hearing from Sykkuno.
Bro,
What
like
they're
three
talking
hits,
about
three
here.
hits, man.
Continuing the focus now. Looking to get those highlights in, but this is when Libra's at his most dangerous. When you get greedy.
Ray, one
It's
hit,
just
bro,
Garrick.
one hit.
One more.
Push any button. Any
Oh,
my God.
Reliever 9 year.
Jesus
9 year. Hit me up on Discord so we can
That
catch
was
the streams
clutch.
whenever you're
Photo
live.
God.
finish
Okay,
from
that was
Team
actually
Violet
pretty
led
hype.
by
That was actually
Sykkuno.
pretty hype.
That was pretty
So
hard.
what's
Oh my
your,
God, that
We've got a
was
couple
scary.
runs still going.
Animator?
Team Gray,
Both
Team
of
Purple.
Our reses came in. That was
Yeah, I got to look
insane.
at Purple right now. They're kind of on the brink, halfway
TikTok,
through
I'm holla
Libra.
at y'all.
So
Appreciate
close
y'all
to locking
showing love.
this one down.
1,000 likes.
Trying to find a way to have it secured. These are the last 2 teams who are still fighting the boss. They took a little bit of time to get here
Team
to the
Purple's
stage.
in real trouble right now.
Yeah, Team Gray actually solved
Okay, the res
mechanic.
though.
Yeah, Team Gray was the one that had those 8 flasks coming into this.
Right.
I'm looking at 0 right now. Down 3 times as well. This double executor gameplay really putting them to the test.
I mean, it's challenging to use that beast form against a boss that's as much of a threat damage-wise as Libra, right? You try to get in there, get aggressive, you will get punished. You will get slapped in the face for that play.
Gonna be a close one here, Team Purple. Again,
Wilder ultimate, maybe for the break.
Nice!
That's lovely.
Just one person left from Team Gray going for one of these reses.
Team Gray, they're giving up the sigil buff. Can they get the res? They need this res. I mean, they've invested so much time into it. Executor, pumping damage and barely dodge rolls in, getting the second player up into the fight, so still a winnable scenario. Libra pretty low.
Yeah, Purple's got some flasks up as well, but again, Dan talked about it. As soon as one person goes down,
it becomes this battle of attrition.
Yeah.
Right? You can't DPS the boss while you're getting your friends up at the same time.
Exactly.
Most of the time. Now, when you get really clever, you can.
Yeah, the stamina bar also takes a lot of usage in getting people up, so it's not even not doing damage to the boss. You can take damage. You're very vulnerable going for that res, so you have to do it.
And especially with Libra, he's so relentless.
Yep, and you can see that relentlessness.
Afro sends you last man standing, trying to hold off, but he takes the hit too.
Anyone have a free
well,
res?
No, well, there's one free res on the field though. Okay, so Team Gray still in the fight, but one man trying to solo this one out. Such a scary spot to be.
Both teams down to one person.
This is when you pull out the cursed sword and go for some big parries.
Yeah.
That's what you go for.
It's time for parry mode. But right now, Libra gonna start stomping the ground. And again, going for that res, taking madness damage, trading lives. Duchess look like they're going down, leaving it all the way up to just one Wilder with a tooth sword.
Such a tense fight and so much HP left. I mean, I feel like Team Purple is running really low on gas here, trying to make this one happen. Team Gray have a bit more damage done, but that bar really hasn't been moving. They've been struggling to make more progress. You can see this is a nice little strat though. When you have multiple allies downed, having them group up on the ground so that you're able to res them more easily, two at once. Like during this, if this is a sigil phase, okay, there might be the chance to get them back up into the fight. And that's still gonna be a scary buff, but with all three players alive, maybe there's a recovery here in the cards
once
for Team Gray.
three players are alive, anything can happen.
Yeah,
you can get them three up.
Get out of that dangerous cycle, but the buff comes in, do you get it in time?
Libra can TP and gets right to the team, splitting them apart. We're able to get one person up, but at the same time, no, actually, no one got revived. There's no chance there. Madness taken over from Team Purple side as well, but no death just yet.
They're down so to the wire right here. Both teams really struggling to make more progress. Centrea trying to hold this one on, trying to get the teammates back into the fight, but a big hit from Libra.
Gosh, that was,
defeat for Team Purple so far. They tried
it was a great attempt, I gotta tell you. That was just, oh gosh.
Now it's just Team Gray trying to see what they can do here. Malvin trying his best to get the team back up, but maybe just do damage himself. They're just locking into go for the best option. Yeah, going for those pips again.
Gotta grab the pips. A madness proc would maybe kill him here. It's close.
They're missing the pips.
Oh, he needs to avoid it. Trying to go for the res, but look how, I mean, those spars are huge. I don't know if you can get this res.
It's really, once your friends have been down a few times, right? It just takes so much effort to get them up.
Yeah. This is the most like Benny Hill moment I've seen in Smash.
Yeah, you know, I guess the option here is to get your ultimate out and then try to wolf swing at him.
Yeah, maybe that would be enough.
I mean, if you really wanted to go for it, you could try to get a parry strike that involved two of them.
Oh,
you know,
that'd be
position
nuts.
the boss in front of it.
Yeah,
you could do it. I'm just saying.
Here's the beast trying to get the reses off. Big hits, cleaving through both allies. A little bit of tankiness, buying them time. Let's listen in with Afro Century. They're up back in the fight. 3 players alive, looking to make the clutch.
Double beast mode. Back at Libra. 2 dogs.
Well, 1 dog now.
1 dog now.
Maybe he can get the res out while he's cleaving on this big damage.
It is possible.
Has to be careful though, right? Baldwin went down.
Great value on this ultimate. Really well played by Afro Century.
Big value. This is great. If these guys pull it off, that's amazing.
All right, I'm back Twitch. I'm back Twitch.
They've still got some consumables to use as well.
TikTok for a little bit.
Looks like Moon's down right now for the count. Both teammates gone again. Back down over to Afro.
All pressure on him. Eyes on Afro Century. Low HP. Cannot afford to take a hit here. Oh, no, the spell cast from behind. Tough loss there for Team Gray.
Gosh, wow.
I mean, what a close one. That was one of our longer sessions overall for all players. You can see Libra puts you over to the test, way over the test as well as
right.
Honey, they will be engaging with real people.
Lots of things going on. Lots of things.
So many mechanics, and it's a real endurance fight, right? If Libra starts getting those buffs up, you start getting that cycle of trying to res your teammates, getting them back up. It's hard to stabilize from those positions. Felt like the boss really took control of the engagement.
Yeah, no, absolutely. When it comes to what we saw as well when it came to this night, Libra, a big test. You look at the points overall on the board too, it's just kind of crazy. Before that though, I believe replays are also here in terms of highlights when we're looking at some of the teams and how they've been playing. As we get to that one, big shout out for the people who are still watching. I mean, 2 Night Lords down so far, one
Where
more
did
to
you
go.
get your Switch pre-order?
Let's jump into this session though with Libra. Look at some of the highlights.
Walmart.
Exactly
I got it at
what
Walmart.
went down for some of these teams and how things went around. Jake,
I'm about to see if
hold them up on your right side. I like
Let me check
yeah,
mine.
I'm just, I'm summoning these in, of course, for the fans.
They charge
We're gonna have to check out some of the highlights. First team Bronze, starting off. Looks like, taking a rough death, right? But they still recovered this run, right? I completely forgot about this happening to them because they recovered so well. I mean, the Libra fight was a strong point for them. So they're showing that even if you do take maybe not the best start in a run of Night Rain, it's not over. You can recover.
There's always room for a comeback. Yeah, there is. Well, not always, but all the way up to to the end of day 2.
Walmart, you get yours day 1. Walmart
go down, right? Like there's never, you're never out of it. Even if you're a little bit under leveled for the bosses, you can clutch it out with great dodging, and we saw that here. I mean,
I was messing around on TikTok. I don't know how that shit works.
Making mincemeat out of
I got
Libra.
a bunch of
There's emerged
likes
kind of
and views though.
of front runners here in the competition. Team Bronze, definitely one of those here with both of the first 2 bosses going down.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest and coolest thing we saw so far on the second session is the variance, right? So some of these jails spawning Crucible Knights, some of them spawning like the Godskin duo, right? It went crazy. And then at the same time, what we saw from
we
the
didn't
Night
even see
1,
this. There was a Battlefield Commander out there.
Yeah, the Night 1 boss went crazy with the Battlefield Commander. On the castles too, we got to talk about it in our first session with Gladius. We saw it this time, right? Craziness with knights or trolls. The difference is
there's all kinds of the castle is huge.
Yeah.
There's different elements of it to play in, and depending on where you're at in the match and what your team wants to do, there's different elements to engage with all over the place.
Yeah, it's nuts. Even the way the Night 2 boss went down, there were some Crucible Knights with Golden Hippo surprises, Godskin dual surprises that we didn't even see coming.
I want to mess around with it.
Craziness with spiders
see if
in
I
the
could
fray.
show like
it was nuts. Finally, Libra though, Jake. This was, I think, the ultimate test. So many more people failed this one than Gladius.
Yeah, and I mean, Team Violet, they had to snatch it back here from the brink, but they were able to clutch it out on incredibly low HP, which does get them kind of back into competition. They're going to have 2 points on the board there. So despite Team Sykkuno losing to that Gladius fight, they're still able to bring it together and take down Libra. Team Gray, led by Afro Senju, running these Executors, also had a pretty good run to start off.
Yeah.
It was a great run until Libra showed up.
He's the ultimate test, right?
It's a bit of a theme with Libra. Like you might think you're on a good run, you're level 14. Oh, we're so strong, guys. This is going to be no problem. It's still a challenge. It's still a serious foe, but they kind of crushed here in the overall.
Yeah, they did. The Crater Gargoyle, they didn't even, they recovered really well from that.
Yeah. I mean, the coolest thing I was mentioning with this team compared to the others is they didn't go for that Crater buff. They stayed on the overworld. They got some cool weapons. They were still level 14 coming into Libra without doing a crazy POI. Yeah,
right?
and
So
8 flasks being up there. I've never seen that before.
I haven't either.
It's wild.
I mean, they just got caught in this cycle. We talked about it a little bit, while they're facing the boss of trying to res each other, and then you're just never quite pressuring the boss. Libra is buffing himself up with those sigils. Those phases get really scary, and you get caught trapped in that phase where you're no longer able to deal damage. But it's a scary thing to try to face the boss alone with both your teammates down.
But that's kind of Night Rain in a sense, right? This is going to happen to you. You will go to this point, Executor, Iron Eye, Wilder, whatever it is. You'll get to that point, and then you're going to be able to fail, try again, go through new night bosses, new Everjails, and then get to Libra once more, go for revenge. It's really, really cool.
And you'll get it.
Yeah,
you will get it.
And then every single time you're playing, we just saw it with the start of Team Blue there are remembrances you can be doing. There's story mode stuff individually you can tackle while you're playing. Yes, there's a crater now. Could be different the next game. There's a sentient pest that happens halfway through the game. No one else experienced this. It's crazy.
Yeah, the pest certainly messed up some, I think, Team Green, right?
Yeah, they lost a lot of levels to that. It was a rough spot to be here. But Team Blue had another fantastic run here. Able to clear out a lot of these night bosses, absolutely no problem. I mean, level 15 with 244,000 runes.
With runes to spare.
Yeah, that is unreal.
And
they out the shop.
They absolutely bullied this guy with perfect timing on breaking all of his shells to get him out of his phases.
I mean,
there's
the big thing too, right? Like with this team and with some of the greatest teams we've seen so far, Blue, Cyan, Tan, the amount of work they put in to be perfect for Libra and stuff, it takes like a community of knowledge and work. It's crazy. Like they're not just blocking in, pressing one button. The camps they mark down, the entire creator experience they're going through, there's so much prep involved getting to that point, Jake. It's wild.
And I know fans are going to be able to see this now, go back to some of these players who are streaming on their own channels, be able to see like what did they do in their run, what can you learn from them, you know, especially waiting for that game to launch. I know a lot of people are going to go back and watch a lot of these runs in full to really see like what kind of builds can I be looking for, what strategies are some of the best players, you know, in the content creator community showing for you today here on the stream.
Yeah, making Recluse look this easy as well, not a small task.
Your first Recluse game probably won't go this well. Maybe your second or your third. But yeah, this is just an incredibly impressive play with the Recluse. Just absolutely dishing out incredible damage while also giving your team buffs.
I'm trying to mess with this TikTok.
The Source is like creating a bunch of Recluse mains who have no idea what they're signing up for.
That's actually, that is what's happening right now. It's going to be a very different experience when they walk to the first camp and get knocked out.
It literally is not supposed to be that easy. He just makes it look milky smooth. Past that though, Team Green, Team Heart, loved watching them play, and I think it was heartbreak for them this time, right? They were level 12 coming in on day 2, lost 3 levels to the Sentient Pest, and never found it. Like, that's the tough part.
They've got to be preying on the downfall of our other competitors. The best they can do now is if they're able to take down Caligo, going to be able to get... Dude, we love this squad, though.
We do.
It's actually crazy. And yeah, they were one of the squads that got the face sprayer. You were talking about it earlier too, Dan. If you have the Revenant in this fight, you got so many. Her spider army? No, my spider army.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And I love, again, I hope Sebastian shows up later on.
Yeah. Hippo was here too, able to get the crits down. The Night 2 boss quickly kind of just made work of by every single team here, Jake. And they look good going to Libra, but again, it's Libra.
I mean, these teams are all playing on a pretty high level. They're all able to make it to that Night Lord, but as we're seeing, that's a major difficulty spike in the run here. And level 12, it's a doable scenario, but it's still such a scary fight. And when you allow Libra to get those sigil buffs online, especially if you go down, you're trying to res people back up, that's when I feel like the sigil buff often goes off.
Yeah.
And then, oh man, we see this. When Libra starts, you know, triple casting those spells, gets so much more aggressive, that's when things go from bad to worse.
Yeah, one of the coolest parts about Libra for me when it comes to like a boss in a series like this, right? Just the Elden Ring franchise and the Souls-like game is that it's the first boss that makes you want to work as a team better together and review things as a team. It's kind of almost like MMO-like, right? Or raid-like. It's crazy.
But you know, but because all of it is so communicated visually, like you know, he's in his little bubble. Oh, time to hit him.
Exactly.
You know, you don't have to be like, oh my gosh, on comms.
This ping,
you know, you don't need to worry about that. It's just like, okay, I know what to do. I see what's happening.
The practice for it is just so cool, and the fact that 3 players need to now band together and use their skills. It's not just about how you experience the boss fight, it's about how your team is going to attack the Night Lord. So that experience kind of is only available inside Night Lord.
And Libra's so unique. Libra's a terrifying
Libra guy
fight.
was
an incredible fight, but
harder than the first boss.
Yeah, it's madness.
I want to see who they get next.
That's good. That's very good.
Who's the next
It's actual
Night
madness. And yeah, Team Purple also so close on their run too, but again, you talk about the cyclical nature of trying to go for the reses. If you're going for reses, you're not dealing damage. If you're not dealing damage, you're in a little bit of trouble. So you don't want to be in that spot when you're facing a Night Lord.
Yeah, it's definitely a scary fight, and although some of our teams make it look easy, it's because they're incredible skill here in the game. And you know, we're gonna have one more round of gameplay, but I think it's a good moment here to do a little housekeeping to check in on the status of our competition overall. There's been a clear group of front runners that have emerged that kind of control their own destiny at this point in the competition. Remember that last Night Lord Caligo is gonna be worth 3 points. So Team Blue, led by Fightin' Cowboy, they've cleared both of the Night Lords. They're at 3 points right now. As well, Team Cyan, led by Distortion 2, they've also cleared both very solidly at 3 points. Team Bronze, led by Lil Aggie, also full clear.
Nice.
2 bosses down, 3 points. And Team Team Bronze with Duality, also with 3 points of their own. So those are the 4 teams that, if they're able to take them this last Night Lord, are going to be at the maximum possible points. And I mean, it's looking to me like this might need to go down to tie breaks for how intense the competition is.
Yeah, tie breaks, you don't really just want to reveal what it is yet. The viewers and the teams will know once we are done with that final Night Lord. The one story I'm looking forward to is Team Green taking down a Night Lord. The only ones.
I really want to see that.
Them and Team Gray as well. Afro Senju, both those teams sticking to their guns. These guys are going full like weeb mode with it, you know, with the katanas, with the executors. I love it. Stick to that. Want to see you win. One more chance here for both those teams.
Yeah, and the hype and the energy has been amazing. So we got to just send a huge thank you to the community, to the streamers who've been coming out here and showing us their heart, taking on the very stiff challenge.
Nice little thing to build hype for the game.
Absolutely, and you can see the differences when it goes from Night Lord to Night Lord. The next one coming in is Caligo, the Fisher of the Fog. This is a dragon, I believe.
It is, in fact, a dragon.
Yeah.
It's an elegant, majestic beast.
Yeah.
That is also very dangerous. Surprise! No, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see the team. This one can be very interesting. This can be a real battle of attrition. There's a lot of build-up of mechanics in this fight. There might be some impaired visibility.
Yeah.
Other mechanics that we haven't seen so far. So this is definitely a step above Gladius. I mean, I put him on par with Libra, but very different than Libra.
Very, very different.
So we're going to have a very, very different skill set in order to take this one on.
Absolutely. The big thing, too, as you've been noticing, if you're a keen viewer, is that the things have been changing from day to day and night to night, depending on the Night Lord you choose. So increased difficulty for Night Lords. If you're choosing some of the ones that are at the bottom of the list, your days, Jake, your night bosses as well, they go crazy. They get elevated too, depending on what Night Lord you choose.
Yeah, there's going to be tougher pools to take on, and that's some of the challenge that you're building into, especially, you know, for folks playing at home. They're going to be playing these bosses, you know, getting through them and starting to farm up some of those relics, which puts you in a better position to take on the stiffer challenges. Like, once you get a little bit level, you got some relics under your belt, you could take a build that's more suited to the given Night Lord that you've chosen to hunt.
Absolutely.
This boss especially, there might be some relics that can be very useful against this one.
Very useful, yeah.
But all of the Night Lords are kind of like that in the fact that you can, once you're playing a few games, even if you're getting killed by Gladius over and over, you're getting a pool of relics that you can draw from and create your own builds with.
Yeah.
And that stuff will really help give you the edge you need to cross those hurdles.
Hey, so you have that progression. We want to see what's there. The teams are also getting ready, just huddled around the round table, making sure they have their strats locked in for this final Majestic Beast for this night hunt. And it's been great so far. I think some of the best things we've seen are how teams are kind of traversing the map as well. We saw Craters come in. Now that a few teams have taken away some of the other Night Lords, there might be other shifting Earths that pop in too.
I sure hope we see one.
I can't wait. I want to lock in. Let's get in and see exactly how these teams are popping off. We have them ready. They're flying in on Spectral Hawks. We'll see what's good. Honestly, for this last one, 3 points on the line as well. We saw the replica items that they're coming in with too. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, this is the moment really in the competition where things are heating up. The teams probably know that, okay, some other groups have failed those previous Night Lords. It's gonna come down heavily to this third and final run. So, I mean, as much as this is a showcase of the game, it's also an opportunity for these incredible players to show that they are the best, to take that crown, the sword and shield marking you as the winner of the night hunt. So this competition is gonna get fierce here on the third round.
Big thing too when it comes to this run in specific is that some of these, you know, less experienced teams now have double the practice available, and these early games will be locked down. When it comes to compositions, we saw Revenant be playing a lot today on a lot of teams.
I love to see Revenant. I mean, I really, again, I'm really hoping we still get to see Sebastian do his signature skill.
His mega signature skill. I'm also hyped for that one. But the thing I love most so far is the variance from game to game now. Atlas Enju's team, they're going to be switching things up. Yeah, we had double katanas before. Now we've got the classic Wilder, Iron Eye, Duchess combination coming in.
This stream, how I got it now.
They really want to take out one of these final Night Lords, take out a few more bosses. They're going a little bit more traditional, widespread with it, which is really cool. I want to lock in with Team Blue as well, see exactly what they're rocking with too, because they've started with Revenant. They've switched over to Iron Eye. They're looking at different ways to take on the competition as well, so that'll be really cool.
I mean,
any of these teams, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame them at all. You know, they're going. Revenant is a new hero for everyone, right?
Yeah.
So nobody knows what's exactly going on there. So I can see the switch to Iron Eye.
Yeah, and now we got Saikuno's team, who had a little bit of a disappointing, not even disappointing, just a heartbreaking Gladius run where it came down to 5%. They're rocking an Executor, a Wilder, and an Iron Eye, so they're also getting pretty up close and personal. Lots of decks in this build.
They're back in it as far as I'm concerned. if they beat Libra, you know, the Gladius thing, if you beating Libra
I don't even
after
remember Gladius. Well,
yeah, Gladius was like a week ago. I'm not worried about Gladius.
Right.
Libra's locked in. So now you can see some of the differences on this map entirely too. I'm gonna just keep peering and seeing if I see any mini maps up in the field too. Let's go to Team Cyan and see if they're locking in with Recluse still. They're the magical team, I guess, to watch today. And yeah, Distortion. Playing that high skill cap character, making it look absolutely easy.
Just incredible consistency from this group today, really. Yeah. I mean, expected, but still surprising.
It's just a show they put on every time. And this is a tough camp to challenge as the Recluse, right? These are very aggressive bows. The Banished Knights can really gap pose on you. So the team is aware of that, trying to hold the aggro as aggressively as they can so Distortion can just really get to work with the spell casting.
Yeah, if Revenant's weakness is kind of like the amount of micromanaging she needs to do, Recluse's is just like when you actually go and tap in for your spells. You're locked into very long animations. You have actually a pretty good dodge, but it's just about when to turn things online and when to be offline and in dodge mode.
Yeah, you really know your positioning is paramount, as we say.
Absolutely, and Distortion knows everything about that His teammates also doing a great job at running distractions, running marks for his spells to do more damage as well. I think Lobos is one of the key players to watch inside this team as well. He's the one taking aggro from all the bosses, staying alive, doing the mechanics, dodging 24/7. And for Caligo, it goes crazy. This boss does not let you breathe, really. Kind of cools you down as you keep moving.
Yeah,
it
something
gets
like that.
wild, yeah.
Let's see what else going on here. Team Gray, led by Afro Senju. Looks like they've got the Crystallians here.
This is round 3.
At the top
They're
of this
competing
fortress.
for
Going down
some
pretty easy, pretty
Elden Ring
That's a really nice
replica
starter
weapons.
kind of softball boss to take on. It's a really good way to start your run.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of loot going before you start having to take on tougher challenges.
Nice to lock it down over here on top of
And
one
you
of
see
these
at those
fortresses.
forts there, yeah, we haven't talked about this. Every single one of these forts, there's going to be a map in that room
Yeah.
that they walk to, and that map will highlight other POIs on your map, so points of interest for you to find. It can help you especially track down the little talisman-carrying scarab.
Yeah, it shows you, I think,
characters, yeah.
every single talisman.
It shows them
that's
on the map.
So you find that loot, and then you're allowed to, you could go hunt talismans and get something that maybe buffs up the build you're going for, leads you down a certain path.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even like moving POI to POI. Okay, what is
Do
this?
they want this?
I
Do they
don't
want
think
this?
they want
Let's
this.
run.
I don't think they
Yeah.
want that.
The Blackbait Kindred does not play. So.
Gargoyle, let him chill. I see Gargoyle, I sleep.
That I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be doing the exact same thing.
They're not even
And I
finishing
mean,
the
you
ad.
can
They
come
just wanna
back
get out of
later.
it.
That's the thing. You're like, okay, we know this is a foe we want to challenge later for some of those bigger rewards, but let's get to level 4.
Hear me
let's
out,
get
hear
to
me
level
out.
5.
Don't come back later.
Hear me out.
Don't
Just leave
don't
it.
even
He
just
said,
leave the
"Hear me
Gargoyle.
out, don't come
leave
back
the Gargoyle."
later.
And here
I'm
it is.
dead.
We didn't get to see this mechanic before, but these are the churches where you up your flasks. So you just have to interact with it once. It gets crazy.
Team Blue, they're down in the caves here.
Yes, I love the game.
mines.
So
Yeah,
every
Dan-
one of these mines has a troll in it. This troll will offer you the same.
Not always a troll.
Not always. Okay, sometimes it's at night, I believe. I'm not even sure.
There's a pumpkin head and maybe some other
A
things.
pumpkin, yes. But whatever boss it is will give you a smithing stone 2. That lets you just upgrade one of your blue weapons into purple weapons. A smithing stone 1 is available at most merchants as well, so you kind of guarantee getting a purple weapon. For people like Iron Eye, who kind of sometimes love the starter bow, you choose relics to get certain armaments on it. If you want a fire bow, you want to bring it in, you can make your fire bow epic rarity.
Yeah,
and just lock in with
absolutely.
it.
So you could kind of hit some consistency despite the randomness of
Exactly,
Night Rain.
yeah.
You
You can.
know that, like, okay, for this boss, I'm going to have the relics to get the exact bow I want, and I'm going to be able to buff that up so that it has like a relevant power level to take on the final boss.
Exactly.
Makes a lot of sense when you're thinking about preparing for the Night Lord that you choose to face. So that meta progression in the relic system is something that I think people are really going to start to take note of and really optimize their strategies for when they're challenging tougher bosses like Caligo.
Yeah, one big thing for Iron Eye is a lot of the bow drops do end up being blue. And a lot of them, you have to have a lot of options on what you want to take, right? I think against Caligo, fire is a really good option to deal with them. And the big thing with Iron Eyes, there are a lot of bows that drop that sometimes have lightning on them, sometimes have fire. So you want to find that fire bow, get it to purple, do a lot of damage. That chest always has a Storm Sword key in it as well. So the pathing for Cowboy is absolutely amazing. He's soloing a Mausoleum Knight as well.
And are they splitting up here to take a bit of more risk and challenge?
They
to
might
do
be.
more camps. I mean, this is a risky strategy.
It's not that uncommon with this particular camp. Like if you're level 3, like doing it, this is actually pretty safe. I mean, don't try it at home right away, but it's fairly safe as far as plays go.
I'll tell you why. So the one big thing is that there's some teams that actually don't really prioritize the cave at all. The cave is kind of a detour for most Nightfarers coming into things. So Wilder doesn't really use that smithing stone. A lot of teams want to do something else, while Iron Eyes really love going down that cave. So in playing with Cowboy as well myself, I've seen a lot of times where he sends Ouroboros or whoever's playing Iron Eye to do the cave themselves. Get that buff, and then meet up with the team afterwards.
This is some advanced tech, right?
It is.
Yeah,
For
it's
folks
very, very
for
advanced.
me,
Please don't try this on your first game. It will
we
not
had
go
that
well.
team.
We had 40-minute
24/7.
arguments about this, like over Discord, onto how to do this, and it took 5 tries to get perfect. Because now the team has to come through, pick up the buffs that
Oh, that
Cowboy
timing
does,
was
and now,
clean.
yeah,
It
now
was.
Cowboy will go out and take out all the buffs that they got while they were going themselves, and then they'll go towards center zone. It's an insane setup. Takes a lot of practice, takes a lot of communication, and these guys are pros at it. So now you see this Iron Eye going back towards these camps, getting all the boons up again, and then we keep moving. It's really, really fun. Tuning in now with maybe a team like Gray, looking at the way that they have changed their setup, right? We were looking at Executors 24/7. Now we're looking at a common sense of how to play the game, kind of with a more widespread horizontal front line, back line.
This is a great, like, balanced strategy, right?
Exactly.
Duchess has that invisibility cloak, is great for resetting in scary scenarios, getting some reses off for your team, or letting them traverse through camps a little bit more aggressively, not having to worry about taking enemy aggro. Wilder, of course, can be that tanky frontliner, is great at getting some of those reses, especially with the ultimate or staggering bosses. And then Iron Eye to put the marks on the enemy and amp the damage. I mean, this is like a really solid setup. You don't have to be too tricky with your composition in terms of, you know, stacking Iron Eyes or whatever. Like, you can do that if you want to, but these like solid, diverse strategies, I think are going to be great for a lot of folks on day one.
I really want to choose Team Cyan here as well. Jake's putting up some really good points on how to attack these things on day one. This is really cool. We haven't really gotten to drop down into this POI yet. These are the ruins. Lots of chests available. Battle mages this time. It's huge for spellcasters and sorcerers to really try to RNG roll a bunch of drops for you. Could be wands, could be consumables, but stuff that'll help you out in your run.
There's actually a sorcerer's tower available most of the time that you know will have mage drops in it.
Nice.
That you have to solve kind of a little mini puzzle to get into. But you know what? Interestingly enough, I haven't seen any teams utilize them at all today.
I think because they're truly an enigma. You know what I mean? Like going for those sorcerer's towers, they always come with a puzzle and a challenge. Sometimes it's a tree trunk you have to find. There's always a sigil.
It's not a boss.
Yeah.
It's like a mini puzzle. So
yeah.
Maybe they just don't want to deal with that because
There's
it's easier to kill the bosses in 3 seconds with this team.
Yeah, right. I mean, with the damage they're putting out, level 7 is amazing pace.
Yeah, they're gonna
so
go
far.
right. They're gonna just destroy.
There's a Revenant. Looks like a church ahead too. So I mean, they're just taking on challenge after challenge.
That's just free runes to these guys. I have this play is so unbelievably clean.
This enemy is like so terrifying to me, and he's just staring death in the face fearlessly.
Again, look at the way Distortion kind of just prioritizes what to do. If the enemy's in his face, we're dodging, we're switching weapons. You one stagger.
Oh my god.
And that's about 80% of his HP gone.
Yeah, this is wow.
This is crazy. They're only level 7, and they're still playing this aggressively, getting the run rolling. Getting a maximum HP buff, adding a bit of tankiness so you don't go down in one shot. I mean, that can be a difference maker even for somebody like the Recluse who doesn't necessarily want to focus on tanking.
Looking at everything as well, going towards Team Green now.
Look what happened in Tan's game.
Hold up. This is crazy. So Tan's locking in with something, but so is Green. This is
they've both,
Yeah, so this is a Night Lord also that's available in the game. Obviously invading here right now.
Uh-oh.
They're trapped inside this dome.
They're outside the fog. That looks rough. Let's see.
Team 10 has Libra.
Yeah, Libra. So Libra, basically, he says, "Pay me or I'll kill you."
Yeah.
They didn't want to fight. Green, the augur invaded. Oh, yeah.
It looks like their max health has been reduced here.
Yo.
He's down. Needs to get rezzed up. I mean, they're only level 7
Kyla.
on Libra.
What was that? What did I say? Kyla, Kevin? Appreciate the follow. Appreciate the follow.
The Libra, but it's still quite a significant challenge.
Appreciate the follow. I was AFK for a little bit, but I'm back.
Harder than Libra.
Appreciate the follow, Kyle.
First time I've seen them go down.
It's wild. Genuinely never seen something like this before.
Appreciate the follow.
Slow down their run, but it's still recoverable as we've seen
it's
before.
Definitely recoverable.
But this fight is going to be a bellwether. Aggie going for that ultimate. Was trying to get the res at the same time, but Libra teleported away, pulled the aggro of the ultimate, and got another down. I mean, this is starting to get really dicey.
The glass cannon showing the glass off at last.
I mean, that's the risk. We're talking about reward of double Iron Eye with Duchess, but they may just need to cut their losses and fall back here.
Yeah, this was again, random factors, good and bad, can impact your game, and
they're going to be losing their levels. Yeah, -1 level, and I don't even know if they're going to come back.
Sheesh.
Libra is half. Like, this is a major decision point for them.
I think you go in.
Yeah,
we'll see what they do.
They're confident. They're strong
I think at that
players.
point, I think you go in.
Maybe you have to, right? Maybe you think, you know what, this is the game on the line.
But then again, yeah, they do have to consider this is the last match. So
right, and there's been other teams who belled the Night Lords. Maybe let's join in here with Team Cyan, who are still just blitzkrieging here through the run. They've got the Crystallians summoned out of the Everjail. And I mean, they are just destroying here. Still incredibly clean performance.
Crystallians kind of not a threat at any point ever, I don't think. They're kind of just a farm kind of boss.
If you had like a triple Duchess with like, you know, rapiers, maybe it's tough because no one can break the stagger.
Yeah, maybe. I think they can still happen.
Yeah.
There's big runes for everyone too. They're really stacking up runes, so they're going to get some extra level ups. And now continuing on, level 8, great spot to be. We're going to join in with Team Tan as they decided to back off here and take on the Knights Cavalry. But look at that max health. Is that from the Libra? Their max health seems to be reduced.
Yeah, I think it's from...
They didn't pay Libra, and he's cursed them.
He kind of like forces like his side of the deal on you.
So those won't go away.
Yeah, until I think they actually take care of him. So
right. So then it's not going away.
Maybe, you think they could come back in
maybe day two?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I don't think if he's.
I haven't seen this mechanic before. Like every run I see of Night Ring, guys, there's something new. Every single run, there's something new. And despite us having like watched and played tens, like probably close to 100 runs, I mean, there's still different mechanics that we don't fully know yet because there's just that much content in this game. And Team Tan are just playing with the down HP, but I mean, this is also a very high skill, very clutch team, so I won't count them out just yet.
I don't even think that loss of HP is going to hurt. It's a team that dies in one hit anyway.
Yeah,
what does it matter?
Just don't get hit. Just roll. Just roll for him.
I mean, it seems like they're finally normal now, but we'll see what happens as they keep scaling up.
Yeah, we will.
Rest of the teams, maybe we can look at
Team Blue taking on the Castle.
Yeah.
This could be a big moment for them, right? And getting the run rolling, and they are one of our teams in contention for that top spot with 3 points on the board already. And they're playing right at the edge of the night, so maximum greed, but this can also pay off.
Yeah, going in. Hey.
Ooh, they gotta watch out.
Fast.
Okay.
We've all done this.
Ooh, max stam 10% is
I'm just
huge.
like, if I'm in the fog, I'm like instantly taking the passive every time. I'm like, no time to think, take passive.
And this is what the POV for a lot of your runs might be at home, but this castle, since it's so central and the zone's always changing where it is, you're gonna be fighting against time to take down a lot of these mini bosses and get your boots.
This is great for them too. They're able to get a lot of farm off the castle just before going into the boss. The key question though is, do they have like a site of grace they could reset at before going into this night boss?
No, they don't.
Yeah, they don't need it.
I mean, you're right. You're probably right.
They have 162K.
You can wipe on the night one boss. I want to mention that.
You definitely can. People will.
They have a lot of levels in the tank, but they can't bring them to bear. Still, level 7.
I will. Yeah, it is absolutely not only will you die in the night one boss, it's very possible. Again, these teams all have it down. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, if it were anyone but Team Blue, I might be worried, but I think you guys are right. And we can join over here with
Team Green.
Team Green. They're going to be taking on a Gargoyle. Looks like they're getting the better of him. Will Neff switched over to the Recluse and looking to have a little bit better luck on it.
Hold up.
Maybe the Spellcaster is going to be a fan favorite for a lot of people on launch day.
Gargoyle on 6? Love to see it.
Yeah?
Yeah, that Spellcaster was getting
nice here.
stupid damage.
A little bit of FP passive? Yeah.
FP restoration on attacks, but do you want, okay, just going with
I don't know.
straightforward passive.
I like it. Okay. You know.
They still got a bit of time to work.
It's pretty challenging for him as a Recluse. But.
Yeah.
Get those level ups.
There's so many funny moments that end up happening when you have certain passives. Like, hey, don't hit him, don't hit him. I need the crit.
I need the crit.
I need the crit, please.
Let the Recluse walk up.
Ooh, Team Tan.
Check in, yeah, with Team Tan. They're going to be taking on, looks like the ulcerated tree spirit here. And despite the reduced max HP, they're not taking damage. Perfect rolls on everyone. Beautiful boss kill.
Right.
We blinked.
Again, we blinked that it's because.
Let's go to Team Cyan, actually. So this is one of the things we see with Team Tan. They're taking out the big tree spirit. The Smelter Demon. Yeah. Okay, so this boss is really cool. He gets hotter and hotter as you fight him. So I know there's a limited time to fight a lot of these night bosses and night lords, but he will start doing so much DOT to you, especially after phase 2. We're not going to see this mechanic.
We're not going to actually see it, but he does the blue. He does the blue version.
That thing right there.
So those of you who played Dark Souls 2, you know, there's a Smelter Demon and there's the blue Smelter Demon. So this is kind of both Smelter Demons, sort of.
In combination.
Sort of.
Yeah. But like, the longer you fight that boss, the harder it takes, or the more damage it ends up doing. It gets really hot in the room. These guys are cool to the bone, and you can see them min-maxing there.
Distortion's
into
just
the
going
zone.
like max DPS, but he's going for like bleed on low HP on Recluse, which probably won't come into play, but that's just a full show of confidence. They're just playing for absolute maximum damage threat. Team Cyan, you can see like the Recluse is already just headed off straight to the cave, tanking some of the night fog, knowing that, okay, daytime is coming, and it can get just a little bit more out of the map by pushing into that fog early. Great experience. I mean, again, some things I wouldn't necessarily recommend you do on day one, but it's cool to see some of the best players in the game, the innovations they're already discovering.
This really is, though, like next level kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they're already out, and they got the next boss pulled when day breaks.
Look at Team Grey right now. They just broke. The logo for day 2 popped up, and they're already fighting a magworm. So yeah,
but they may be walking away from the magworm. I don't know.
I mean, this is a scary foe. Level 8 is like doable, but this is where you're on those lines, and when you're at home, you're thinking maybe you optimize this differently. That's part of the fun of Elden Ring.
It really depends.
Everyone, can control that for themselves, for their own group.
In this particular circumstance, I would drag my team into it. Maybe I'd get him killed.
I would, you know what?
I don't know.
I won't back down.
But at 8, I'm fighting that magworm.
Yeah, I'm wiping at least twice before I back off. All right, I'm blowing the run before we back off. You know.
But again, it's a fascinating set of decisions, right? You're constantly evolving and adapting to the situations the game throws at you.
Yeah. And every run's gonna be different. I mean, we've seen a huge variety already, and it's still only just a slice. Different shifting earths, different biomes are gonna appear, different challenges are gonna be on every run. And there's something off in the distance there, and after Senja, I saw a little cyclone in the air.
We've only seen the crater today, which was like, I was hoping we would see some of the other shifts, but hey, the crater's hot.
Yeah, definitely a valuable one, right? Getting that guaranteed legendary weapon at the bottom from the forge is incredibly valuable.
Right.
So that's why we've seen a lot of teams prioritize it.
And each one of those biomes has a different sort of experience to go through.
Team Violet taking on the Burial Watchdogs. These guys can be deceptively tricky with their moves. Gotta watch out for some of these explosive pods.
Oh,
like Kuno goes down.
The imps.
The imps and even just the watchdogs themselves. Listen, I'm just saying goofy. Goofy mobs,
These guys
and they're
are
so troublesome
They are
to
goofy.
take down.
I've always thought they're like a weird combination of goofy and eerie.
Right?
This
It's
guy,
wild.
I swear the moveset on the Burial Watchdogs is like always tricky. Even though I know it pretty well, it just like, it's so janky
Because it
with
doesn't
its
seem
movements.
natural.
Yeah. like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
one of
so
those, like,
it's like possessed. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it really fits the art style, the thematic aspect of it. Nice pick off of the camp from T-Bot.
The imps have not given up on
Yeah,
the quest.
never surrender for the imps here.
Let's lock in with Team Green real quick, see what they're up to. Still challenging
And it
boss
looks
number
like,
one.
yeah, I mean,
Yep.
a little bit low on the
Yeah.
levels. That Night Boss 1 taking a little bit more time for them, but still recoverable. They're playing it patiently, getting a lot of value off this Warming Stone. Even though they have a bit of health pots to use, I kind of
they
like
got
that
health pots.
efficiency.
I just like sometimes at the start of a fight, I'll just throw down a couple warming stones, you know?
Yeah,
Use
good
it
value.
if you need it, you know?
And I think you make a great point of like making sure you actually use your consumables in a run is so important. It's so easy to, over hold on to those and to keep them a little bit too deep.
Yeah, you don't have a whole lot of base consumable space, so just grab them and use them. They're all
Cycle
over
them,
the
right?
place.
And then it's all about speed in Night Rain, right? So you use those explosive pots or that fire grease to clear an early camp a little bit quicker. Maybe that lets you take down one more world boss. It gives you one more long-term buff. So that
There's
snowball
more
effect
fire
is
grease
key.
out there, I promise you. You'll get more.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a fellow consumable hoarder. Let's see Team
Ooh.
Blue taking on this Flame Chariot camp. There's also apparently an ulcerated tree spirit somewhere.
We don't know where it is, though. They may have just dragged it around.
Oh, all those mobs cleared
That
out.
was nice.
Yeah, so there's one thing about this camp is that a lot of people just go for the carts themselves and then leave. They spawn in a community of like fire people that just want to blow up. And they are like a total of 10K ruins if you take down all of them. So people that stay in this camp and ult just like that at a specific angle,
Get
you
some
guys get a
extra farm.
20K rune buff. Yeah, it's crazy. So already 35K runes after level up for Cowboy. That's the effect of staying in that camp, knowing your min-max, knowing where the runes are.
Team Cyan on another very solid run here. Clearing the battle mage as quickly as they can. 2 golden foul foots on distortion. That's going to be a great consumable
Just
for
stacking the
getting
golden
those runs
foul
levels
foots.
up.
That's-
Yeah,
it is.
that's going to be awesome for them to get that maximum possible farm, hit the biggest power peak possible. I mean, hitting level 15, I think they did it both of the last runs. That's like a 1 in 100 scenario. So-
Hitting 15 is a big goal.
Yeah.
So to see somebody do it consistently, again, it's just, we're watching masters play.
It's just
Action
it's
Gaming,
unreal
what's
the
going on?
level
My
that these
fault.
players
I'm
are
over here
at.
looking at my
Like,
phone
this
and
is
shit.
Still early days.
I'm just waiting for
I
them to get to the
already
night
know
fair.
people are going to be doing
What's
some,
up,
like,
dude?
level
When did I
1
start
challenge
streaming?
run absurdity
What do you mean, when did I
once
start-
Night Rain
well-
gets rolling.
It will be absurdity, and it certainly will happen.
That's a good question, actually.
I've learned not to underestimate.
Yeah.
I've learned not to underestimate the Souls community when it comes to grinding out these.
I want to say
ridiculous
2020,
challenges.
but
Now,
I've
of
been
course, our teams are all about competing
off and
to
on
take
with
down
different
those
levels of
Light Lords.
consistency
Looks like
since
Team Violet, led by Sekuno.
since 2020.
Never jail here. Death Bird
Since-
going down.
yeah, since 2020,
pretty
I'll
confidently
say
for them.
that.
So looks like
But
this run
it's
is
been
good.
different
Utilizing
levels
some
of
legendary loot
consistency
here.
off and on. So
30,000.
Wow.
trying to get back to that.
Okay.
That's nice.
level of consistency I
That's
had
a nice little bounty.
last year.
Wow.
Big level ups for them. That really is a big recovery. You see how big that circle is? Means they have quite a lot of time here to continue leveling up. And
Oh wow,
Aurora
there's a royal red.
Great.
I love it. It's,
What are these
it's like
gifts?
it's like delivery.
This guy's in
Yeah.
the wrong neighborhood, man.
Oh, and he gets marked as that crit comes in as well, so the damage going crazy right now for the team.
Yeah, big hits. It seems like this is this holy implication on the bow is great for the Royal Revenant. Getting aggroed on as the Iron Knight, not what you want, but oh my god.
You know what? They don't care.
Insane hits
This is-
there.
This is
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Pull it out
my
the mace.
God.
Melee Iron Eyes, new meta.
No Dutches involved there either, which is kind of crazy. Almost looks like a restage. Level 10 for Team Violet.
Maybe let's hop back in here with Team Cyan, see how their run's going. I mean, this is another one of those teams, right, that's in contention for the maximum possible points. DPS check now for Distortion 2. So far, he's passed them all with flying colors. And I'm a little bit worried for this Ultra Tree Spirit. Instant ult from the Wilder, getting the stagger. Followed up as well by the Recluse ultimate, ensuring that lifesteal and FP steal on attacks, allowing them to just continue pumping damage. Another stagger. And this is one of the tankier bosses in the game, and it is just getting worked down.
Every single one of these little fireballs does actually proc a little bit of a stagger effect, so the amount of just
Man, he's just
recasting.
This is insane.
Crazy, man.
I wonder if he pops a golden foul foot here when he takes down this boss, or if they save it for, you know, some of the bigger, like the Knight 2 bosses.
I feel bad for the tree spirit, man.
Dude, I feel like he's going to be casting too many spells. Again, these spells can go towards your teammates as well. One cast of them, forget about your teammates, you can focus on the boss because they all just take their time.
The damage!
Yeah.
What is that?
That was a chunk.
Unreal damage. The riposte as well. Big crit from Spicy. One of the other changes in this game is that while your teammates are riposting, the boss doesn't get iframed, so everybody can continue pumping that damage. It's really been designed for that team play experience. And see what they're able to grab here in terms of buffs. Improved sorceries. I mean, that's the dream. That's exactly what you want.
Longbow as well if one of the teammates wants it. Grace available too. The zone will be coming in, so that fight finished at the perfect time. Meanwhile, we'll tune in with other teams all across the world. Maybe Team Gray, who's taking down one castle right now. Bronze also finishing up somewhere in the crater as well, so maybe tapping into Team Bronze is the solution here.
And for Team Bronze, I mean, they're another one of our top contenders here, right? Like in contention for the perfect 3 clears. And getting some legendary runes on the hand of Malenia, that's awesome.
That's one of my favorites.
It's
so
good.
I mean, the Water Fountains, I wonder if they're actually gonna, I mean, they could deploy this on the Iron Eye for the passive. You could also have it as like, you know, sometimes you might find your legendary weapon, you just say, you know what, I'm going melee. Like, that might be worth it.
She has an S+ scaling on Dex, so like having the hand of Malenia on her, if you get up close and personal, definitive damage.
And you've got, I mean, we talk about this marking ability as it buffs up your teammates, but it's also a very powerful mobility skill. So a lot of the skills, I think people will find once they start playing Night Rain and they start, you know, figure out their favorite characters, you'll realize that using these abilities, you have so many
another
flexible
auger
options.
invasion.
And this is a big kill potentially for Team Blue. If they're able to get this one down, it's a great find, put them in a nice spot here for that Night Lord.
And I like this, so I'm not sure if Ouroboros or even like on-screen Cowboy dropped this for Scott Jund, but Oro's got a bow on Wilder. 4 moments like
they're getting crazy damage.
There's some mobs might not be able to actually swing a sword at. Actually, all 3 players might have bows right now. Yeah, they all have bows. It might have been Cowboy that dropped them.
Sometimes sometimes it's really nice to just have a bow in your pocket, you know, just in case.
And because things like this happen, you never know what actually pops up inside Night Rain.
Because you don't have to worry about equip load, right? You've got 6 weapons. There's a real argument to having a bit of diversity in the build, to be able to flex as you need for the different fights, and you don't know exactly what you're gonna face, so it might be wise to prepare for many possible foes.
Now watch this power real quick before we switch off. A unifying fate. So for these guys, I believe they get FP out the wazoo when it comes to just their entire power. So beating Augur there as that field boss, we saw what happened before, right? So the Sentient Pest gives you a lot of runes. Augur, max FP. So not sure if they were the team that had the hand of Malenia. I don't think they were, but they have the possibility to get a weapon like that and use that weapon art again and again.
The Night Lord invasions can obviously give you a lot of trouble, but they also give you very significant rewards if you take on the challenge.
Exactly. Ancestor Spirit going down. Now, this was not a Night Lord invasion.
In fact, you know, when I started playing, it was like I'm getting invaded. I'm scared. But instead, today it's like, oh yes, we're getting a buff.
Let's go. Yeah. Rivers of Blood here as well. So everyone that's kind of beat Elden Ring, I think, has used this weapon at some point to help out in their run.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
We'll have to see where we're gonna go next. Let's maybe check out with Team Gray here, who are down in the crater, taking on a Falling Star Beast, and already the fight looks pretty tough. Afro sends you down for the 2nd time, needs to get res back into this, and level 9, so this crater, really, the hopes of the run rest on their successful completion here.
I love the way they just take this crater on in terms of going for mobs first. They don't even care about the event that's at the bottom. I'm not even sure if they know about the
there's multiple ways to do it.
It's so amazing. I love that about this game.
That's the whole, like, the map, you know, with the different shifts that can happen with the Falling Earth, it can completely change your run. And it's just because the crater's there, it doesn't mean you go to the bottom.
Yeah.
It depends on the flow.
You might take a totally different approach depending on what you prioritize for the run, where you're at. Personally, I just love the shifting earths. I always want to see, okay, what's inside this one, you know, because although we've seen a bit of craters this time, it's going to be affected by your progression throughout the game. And so for me, it's like, I want to see what's here. I want to see what's new and different. In our testing, we've seen a lot of different biomes, so it's another thing that fans can really look forward to as the game comes out. But right now, Team Gray struggling here, trying to get both of these reses at once. The grab on Evolvin', oh, he's so low.
I hope he's got their ultimate up.
Ooh.
be really useful now.
He's just guiding. One down. That's a level loss here for Team Gray.
Right.
So things are looking pretty dark for them there.
It's not that, because they're committed to it anyway. The thing's got like 25% health.
Yeah.
Right? So they're gonna,
And they spawn right here, which
now
is good.
we just have to, what we have to make sure it doesn't happen is like stagger spawning, like dying and spawning and dying.
Yeah.
And dying over. As long as we got
you
that.
mentioned that. Well, so Dan, this is something I'd like to call the caster curse, as you're mentioning. Just the chances it could happen when you start to mention it.
And it begins.
And hopefully they'll be able to recover this. I do want to tap in though with Team Cyan, who, by the way, just killed the Magmore in about 30 seconds. And
of course they did.
They this team, they really needed the legendary weapon. Clearly,
Right.
Team Cyan been killing it the whole time.
Guys. I mean, and it's showing that this strat really looks solid for them.
Oh my God, we have collapsing stars on legendary mode.
I got it.
At level
It's like
13.
deja vu on this every single time. Man, it's just, oof.
Yeah, it's about to get crazy.
It is.
Great stuff for them. Maybe we can also hop in here with Team Purple. We're going to take on a gargoyle of their own. See if they, I don't know if they have time to venture down into the crater here. So this might be a situation where you just got to clear this gargoyle and get on towards that second night boss. Remember, it's all about being able to defeat Caligo at the end of the run. You're trying to get as strong as you can, but it's also a race against the clock here in the daytime.
There's a blasphemous blade as
Big
well
hit.
on Wilder. That's huge.
Yeah, it looks like it. It could be a powerful weapon. And once you get to level 10, we should mention there's also some
Look at that.
dual wielding it?
requirements.
We had there was a dead player there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, another one? Dude.
Okay, you got to do. Are you gonna
So he has
power stance, great
four
sword?
legendary weapons.
You could power
Okay.
stance these.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my God,
that
that's
is
so
pretty
wild.
I mean,
is this double blasphemous?
I think you have to do it if you get
This
that.
is just
100%.
full swag.
How did he get two? Where did these guys go?
Raw
This is not the
08.
same game anyone else is playing. What
that is
this?
pretty wild.
Raw
actually.
08.
That's such a sick loadout.
Let's
It's the
do it.
dream.
Let's do it.
This is crazy. I mean, it's not just Team Purple here. There's many teams that have actually taken down both Libra
I never did the
and
stream
Gladius,
together
right?
thing.
Overall, it seems that there are some teams set up to really do well here when it comes to this third night boss or night lord today.
Yo.
This tiebreaker is coming up, Jake. It's going to be crazy. This will come down
Yo.
to the wire for all these teams.
With how
Ties for
impressive
Elden Ring.
the results
Is that
have been
okay?
so far, I'm
Yeah.
almost certain
It's
that we're gonna
cool.
see
It's cool.
more than one team defeat all three Night Lords. Just to catch you guys
Raw
up. as you're
08, what's
joining
going on,
the
man?
Team Blue, led by Fighting Cowboy, they're at 3 points. They defeated both of the first two Night Lords on great pace. If they're able to take down Caligo, they'll be at that maximum of 6. In the same position, Team Cyan, led
What's
by
going on, bro?
2, also at 3
Can you
points
hear me?
right
Can
now.
y'all hear me?
Team Bronze, led by Duality, 3 points. And Team Tan,
Good,
led by
good, good.
Lag.
Okay, cool,
but the
cool,
runs
cool,
are
cool, cool.
getting a little bit more frayed
cool.
at the edges here on this third run, showing that there's some serious challenges. Like, if we join Team Tan right now, they're still cursed by their encounter with Libra. A little bit of revenge from the last run, and they're going to be on reduced max HP.
I wonder if it's going to end
Do
up
you want to
mattering.
see
with
the
with
text?
the team comp
No,
already.
I can
Maybe
see it.
will.
No, I can see it.
Very nice.
Oh,
Do you want to see the
wow.
text
This is
for Elden
scary.
Ring?
Look
What do
at
you
that
mean?
hit. Just barely he has the HP to tank through it.
You've seen
Of
this
course,
team
a
take bets,
classic here from Dark Souls 3.
Just an OG. This
Our
boss
Night Ring launch
ruined
becomes
my
unlockable
life
with a
in
new
Dark Souls
global
3.
emote. Here's
In
how
the
to get
best
them
way.
before
I
Reckless
would
Badge.
love it.
Stream
But
together
that's
for
why I
15
love
minutes.
these games,
Wilder
man. And now
Badge.
they get to take it on as free, right? So
Download
maybe
and
they'll
share
split the
Elden Ring
aggro.
clip
One
from
player can focus on the dodging.
529.
But those
my
hits
God.
are big.
I mean, these are
Again,
big
yeah.
hits.
They were taking
Granted, I
hits.
think that may have killed him even if
Oh,
he didn't.
okay. Cool.
That's the
Cool.
thing, though, right? They were
So if we
taking
stream
hits
together
earlier,
for
so they were
15
using their
minutes,
flash. So this
Right.
time,
then we get
Damage
the
is solid.
stakes will
Reckless
be there,
Badge.
but
Yeah,
they're gonna
this
be
group-
that
again.
much hit it harder. Like it's gonna be
Damage-
tough. Look
damage
at
output
the
of this
dance.
Oh, the dancer be dancing.
But that's starting tomorrow,
Parky with
though.
amazing
Doesn't
dodges
even
there.
care. Yeah, it doesn't even.
Sick dodges from Parky, actually.
It says
Sick
starting
dodges. Yeah, roll through all that. And
Like
like the low
529.
HP, too. It's like one of those hits could be deadly.
That is an absolutely fearless Duchess right there.
Yeah.
It's
Stars of your
amazing with
Curse.
this
Do you know
comp
the
too
time?
because
Is it
Duchess is
now?
able to stay close and personal.
Well,
Look at
I'm
all the
Eastern
damage that's
time.
happening. Go for those
I'm 20.
restages.
I'm
Again,
at-
I feel like we're playing with Revenant now. I'm used to these knocks coming in with like
8:57
these
p.m.
levels
Eastern.
of HP bars, so it's not going to be a big deal. Dancer low HP. Parky this whole time still firing.
I
on
think
him.
we're too early
As
for
things
this.
are going down,
We
we
might
can
be too
restage
early
at any
for
moment
this.
if we want. Aggie has an ultimate, doesn't even need to use it.
Yeah,
we
they're
just tap him down.
Damn.
the
Let's hop
damage
into it.
output is unreal.
Raw, thank you for the follow, bro.
Cyan, they're another one of our favorites. I want to see how the build is going. And spoiler alert, pretty good. Recluse, super
Are you
tanky, and
online
already the
tomorrow?
Godskin duo is going down.
Here's the Apollo.
Yeah, I'll be online tomorrow, but
to see these cool new moves.
It's a lot of time to work with.
Unfortunately,
Time,
we
man.
don't have that much time.
yeah, I'll be online tomorrow. But I don't know if
He
I'll
gets
be.
stretchy with it, and
Unless
now
they're
he's
doing
put
another
down
stream.
Just the grave.
I
man.
probably
This
won't
is
be on
tough.
this. I'll probably be playing Astrobot. I'm trying to
Insane
finish
stuff. Maybe,
Astrobot.
I mean, Let's see what the perk they go with here. Gonna grab a bit of stamina, assist some of the dodging, and maybe now let's hop in with Team Blue, who are also taking on the Night Boss.
New global emote.
Another one of our contenders. You can see they're in the top left.
Whoa, look at the top right real quick. Team Bronze already cleared as well. They're already inside looking for the Night Lord.
So it seems like all of our teams here that are tied at that 3-point score line are all going to be going on to face the Night Lord. Team Blue has still a little bit of work to get through. Yeah, I'm confident in them.
3 a.m.
But this is really going to be down to the wire. As usual, it's going to come down to the Night Lord, the ultimate challenge of every run in Elden Ring Night Reign.
Yeah, Noble down for some of these teams. The other side of the coin is the Draconic Tree Sentinel.
So starting at 3 a.m. tomorrow until
well, kind of, and
the 30th.
The Draconic Tree Sentinel itself is that much more damaging, right? The moveset that
I'll definitely be online tomorrow.
It's a spicier
but
fight
I think
than
we're too early to get it now.
Yeah,
we're definitely too early to get it now.
Damage all across the board. Really nasty charges.
Because it says 529.
You can see there he's bringing back his friends to get back into the action.
Some of those lightning attacks are so devastating. You see those big hits coming in from the Tree Sentinel against Team Purple.
Let's tap in with Team Cyan right now. Look at this Night Lord. No one on this team, on this screen at all, any of these teams, have seen this Night Lord yet.
If they're doing another stream, maybe we do it again tomorrow. We'll do it again tomorrow. I'll be on around the same time. I'll be on around the same time.
Watching this as well, so let's see how it goes. This is Distortion's first look at the Fisher of the Fog.
And we can listen in with Distortion as well. They're coming in at this moment of the competition here.
We think
3 points. If they can get this win, their fate is in their own hands.
Like total amount of runes gained, or
oh, they're talking about the tiebreaker, right? That's the what they.
These guys are competitors. These guys are thinking about.
They really are.
Like they came to win, and it is showing here.
I mean, you could tell. Have you seen this Recluse?
I've been seeing the spell casting. It's a little terrifying.
It's crazy.
So that's the standard. I'm a little scared. Okay.
But I just want to see the reaction. The soundtrack to this Night Lord, the ambiance, everything from start to finish is crazy. Missed this time. You can't see anything,
tomorrow.
Jake.
Okay, cool.
What's that?
Cool.
Fissure in the fog.
No problem.
Holy!
The core wings, no way.
Caligo, the miasma of night, dispels the fog.
Oh my God, the damage. He does so much damage.
See them all. See them all.
So much damage.
We're gonna kill him.
Look at Distortion. He's crushing this Night Lord. That's ridiculous.
But look at this, right? You have to be very careful. Distortion's not going to have as many chances to cast his spells. That tail's active. The maw's active. The wings get active as well. So he really has to find these gaps to use these spells.
And see if he wants to take that casting spell.
He just calls it as well. That's an AoE. Has to back off a little bit. And these frost kind of molecules get left on the ground.
Creating like a hazard in the arena that you've got to watch out for while you're evading. And a big
stagger.
Oh, gosh.
That's massive.
You know, despite all this, they're still bullying him. He's got a huge health pool.
Yeah. Tapping in with all teams. So the boss actually ends up putting some mist down as well when it comes to that phase 2
we need to go towards the
coming in.
Queue. It's this way, right?
This way. It's this
way.
And you can hear a sound cue of crackling ice from the ceiling as well. You see the boss, and he is making that ceiling of ice come through.
That's sick.
Yeah. They found him pretty easily. If you don't find him, it could be really bad for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because as you can see,
the ice does crash down.
The sky is falling. Yeah.
If you're not in that vicinity, that does crazy damage as it crackles and comes down to you. So the team understanding the mechanic, but now the boss gets crazy with the soundtrack picks up. He starts to just gain more wings. Fly up in the air and go crazy with it. Oh, big stagger. Hold up.
No.
They're like stopping phase 3 from going in.
This is crazy. Massive pumping of damage here from Team Cyan, showing the power they've assembled on this build. Level 14.
Another stagger.
On flash.
It's just chain staggers.
I want to zoom in on Cyan right now, straight up. I just want to see the end of this fight from their POV. Coming in, using that ultimate for the iframes as well.
And they got the curse on.
They do. It is cursed.
Caligo, and they're allowed to just pump damage now, getting those life steals. Still the threat coming back. Got to be careful. Don't want to be going down and throwing what looks to be an amazing start to the fight.
And so this is the fun part, right?
It's all the fun part.
He gets fast in this time.
Oh my God.
And he starts flying towards you in lanes, throwing crazy meteors of ice. Switching over, you have no idea where he goes. He comes right back at you again.
Great patterns from Distortion here, evading a lot of these attacks, allowing him to continue pumping damage, but showing a lot of discipline, right? Not trying to look for attacks in this very threatening phase. Now sees the moment to strike and get aggressive here. Takes a big hit, though. I mean, you got to be very careful. We talked about this is the weakness of the Recluse. I mean, his positioning has been so immaculate we haven't felt it.
He's also stacked a ton of HP on top.
Yeah.
So That really did help.
Level 14, Caligo first attempt here from Distortion. Looking really good right now. The whole team popping off. They're going to finish that one in just a second. Luality also in the business, seeing what they can do. Team Cyan does take Caligo down.
It'll depend on the tiebreaker. But
True, man.
GG.
Locked in. It's gonna if it comes down to tiebreaker, we're gonna have to see if the other teams are gonna be able to follow in their footsteps. But Team Cyan, man, they set a standard here. I think a lot of fans are gonna be wanting to see what Distortion 2 was playing, and a lot of these guys streaming on their own channel. So if you want to see the full runs, you could go to those.
I want to go to Team Violet here real quick. We're going to be seeing this boss for the first time as well in just a moment. I want to see their reactions to what this dragon might look like. So wait for Sakuno. He's like, what's that?
It's different. It's so foggy. All right, guys, it's time.
He sees the dragon walking in.
Going in for the mark.
Immediate mark. They got to stay aggressive. I mean, that's one of the keys, right? With how impressive these bosses are, it's easy to be cowed and to start playing slow, but it's a matter of time, right? The boss is going to keep attacking, going to keep pumping damage on you.
Oh, it still
So you've got to try to keep that aggression on, get those staggers we saw Team Cyan do.
I was trying to use the other item.
Oh, careful.
There, yeah, you don't want to take a lot of frostbite procs. You got to be careful. This bow's actually, I think,
I can target his leg.
just buffed up with holy damage as well. So it's not going to do crazy weakness damage policies to the boss, but at the same time, it's just that extra little bit over the top.
He's actually aura walking, dude. He's actually
and this boss is really cool when you look at the way it walks around the map and flies as well in the different phases as well. It just goes absolutely crazy.
And let's see if they get the riposte here for big damage. I mean, Caligo still looking very tanky against Team Violet.
Let's go to Team Blue.
This one out.
Gotta look at Team Blue right now towards the very end, going for that final
clear.
phase.
Doable. This is so doable.
Looking for the clear here on multiple teams now. So
everyone
Team Bronze, Team 10, Team Blue, all locking it in. Look at Luality's POV. Dodging, dodging, and dodging. It goes crazy.
On the beaches of Normandy right here, but Team Bronze, Luality continuing to pump that aggression now, seeing the opportunity, looking for that chance to get the damage in, but patience for the moment. Wanted to dodge these attacks, getting those arrow shots in. I mean, the Iron Eye with the ultimate, but the boss looks like maybe, oh no, just didn't quite dodge in time.
It goes crazy. A little bit of bleed proc as well on one of the sides. Again, Team 10 on the top right playing with nerfed HP bars the entire time.
As long as you got the damage output with that team, you know, it's a problem, but it's not they can mitigate it.
We've seen how good they are at rolling, right? With the Dancer of the Boreal Valley that they challenged in that Night 2 boss, they really showed their skill. And so the fact that they're staying composed despite taking a pretty serious debuff speaks to their skill and experience.
Oh, high five!
High five moment from Luality. I'm hitting the screen myself. They're amazing.
United.
From her and the
Never
team.
be defeated. Squires, who needs jamais serão vencidos. Screenshot, don't drop anything.
I love it.
It goes crazy.
They got to get the screenshot.
These other two teams, Blue and 10, both Iron Eyes have gone down at least once so far. So Cowboys fallen, Little Aggie's fallen. For Team Blue, we're almost there. And yeah, Caligo goes down as well. So huge for that team. Now it's just Little Aggie I think we're looking at. I want to actually go to Team Green, full screen, their reactions for this boss. They're just starting it this time.
We need the true stump speech here from Will Neff. Let's hear what he's got for the team. We need the battlefield commander to come out of Will Neff right here as they look to secure this Night Lord.
Now that's a pep talk.
That's a pep talk. Get your team on the same aura sphere. I feel it.
Oh my God. Let's see what they're able to do, taking on the Fisher in the Fog. Team Green have quickly become a fan favorite, have found a home in our hearts. Out of the competition for first, but still in the running to drop a Night Lord to fell one here on the Night Hunt.
I'm still really invested in this fight, regardless.
Maybe we tap back into the comms, see what they're talking about here. And there it is, the reaction. Oh my God, is that a dragon?
He's an ice dragon. Fire does make sense.
So some of the teammates are going to be switching over to their fire weapons. They actually have that candlestick available as well.
I'm casting my big spell.
Going back over to Team 10 as we will tune in back with Team Green as they fix up all the mechanics. Again, this team taking slightly longer now just because of the health bars.
This is like the only time something just hasn't evaporated because they have to take care with all the mechanics.
Exactly.
Because they have such small health pools and there's a lot of chip damage in this fight coming in from all kinds of different sources. The meteors, for instance, you know?
Yeah.
you're gonna get hit by one of them eventually.
And chips and snacks for other teams, for them, it's like full meals of damage. You gotta be careful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So 3 of our 4 teams have cleared. Team Blue just cleared the Night Lord as well. So if Team Tan are also able to clear, it's gonna be going down to a 4-way photo finish tiebreaker here. Incredible stuff.
Gotta see what's good. Team Tan's gotta make it in. Purple still rocking it. They're not inside that race though. Violet as well is kind of falling out of it. Looking for Tan to make it in.
Oh, that's gonna be a nasty frostbite.
Big frostbite. Caligo's so low. I'm not sure what Aggie's saving this ult for. Here it is.
Here it comes. The stagger could be big, an opportunity for damage.
This is a big one.
No crit though.
Oh, they got Duchess over there.
They're low on resources.
No
They need to
flasks.
be able to punish that damage.
Let's zoom into Team Tan here real quick. Let's see if they can take this one out. Take this one out.
Very clutch moment here in the team fight.
Coming down to the line here.
They're used to being one hit though. No strangers to it.
The warming
Big
stone
tail
give them a
slap.
buffer.
Oh! And look, this targets you from across the map. So Parky, Chris, Aggie down. It's up to Chris. Chris might have to go for Aggie here. He is just one bar, but you gotta make it way past the dragon. Go past those stalagmites or tights, whatever it is down at the bottom to get to this Iron Eye. It's a Duchess invisibility.
The Duchess invisibility
it's
coming
huge.
in clutch.
So valuable right now, right? Giving you that opportunity to res. Now the Laggy, it's gonna take the full ire of Caligo. Gonna need a dodge attack, crucial dodge there. They're trying to just pump damage on the boss. Gotta decide now, tough call. Do you want to try to res Parky? Do you want to try to just pick this one out?
He's actually on the actual limit of the map. He's backed all the way up, so there's nowhere else for him to go. Okay. We have to look at the Maw of the Beast and fight right now. Maybe just focusing on getting Parky back up. Gotta be careful of these ice shards down below as well. The dragon's up in the air.
They're all up.
He's about to race in.
Still is a scary damage chase from the boss. Hard to deal damage in this moment.
Oh my God.
Just trying to evade these attacks.
Dive number 2.
One more opportunity to deal damage. It seems like all they need.
Dive number 3.
Here we go.
Oh, they have to make it past this entire field to deal damage. Oh my God.
That's a lot of rocks.
They're still up though. They're still up. It's still a chance.
Frostbite coming in.
Big dodge from Maggie.
Okay.
Here we go. Here we go. He's still paying attention. Still just waiting on top of one of these warming stones right now.
Yep.
There's the mark.
Little bit of mark coming in. Caligo, low HP, almost down. Tail slap.
Get the repulse,
Huge stagger.
Kill him.
And he's down.
Team Tan, it's going to be the 4-way tiebreak here in the Night Hunt.
33% health debuff.
Yeah, I mean, that was the most grueling, gruesome run we've ever seen.
The glass cannon even glassier.
Yeah.
Team Purple trying to get their win as well. Caligo starting to drop low. It seems like all our teams are really rallying here in this Night Lord. With the big Frostbite proc on the Zentreya, knocks her down, needs to get res back into the fight if Team Purple wants to close this one out. Caligo is low, but he's not out.
This dragon has so much HP, and although the mechanics are very readable, can force you into some very sticky situations and will build up that frostbite as the fight goes on. This is one of those fights where, yeah, you truly see a lot of these wipes happen in the last 10% of this dragon's HP bar.
Yeah, you got to be careful with resources running low. Those frostbite procs really do start to bite. No pun intended. Team Green and Team Violet also with quite a bit of HP bar to get through.
Nice Duchess restage coming in on that big crit hit after the fact. The power stance, Blasphemous Blaze there.
Big grapple in.
Big jump attack, Frostbite being taken, big ultimate from Wilder to stop the breath. After that, straight towards the face with the Blaze, not gonna be able to see it. To the core,
for the
entire team's there.
They got it.
And he flies in the air though, they gotta wait.
Maybe they're helping. Maybe they don't got it.
Spot.
Two of the team has no flasks.
With that power stance can't lose. That's what I'm saying.
True.
Too much aura.
Pure aura here on Wilder with the power stance.
Team Purple's in there, still looking for it. Team Green doing their best to lock in with it as well. A little bit of frostbite. Have to just get past this little crazy section. I don't know what Caligo's aiming at, but it's a blast for Team Purple.
Come on.
Almost there for Zentreya. About to do it.
Man.
Just a couple more hits.
One good
One
power
jump attack.
stance, you know?
So close, Caligo. Tanky foe needs a couple more.
Please.
Wilder trying to get it done with the double
so
power
close.
stance.
One more.
Oh no.
No way.
One.
The double power stance. Okay.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Impressive stuff there.
Oh my God.
From Team Zentreya. Night Lord is felled.
We got Team Green now to lock in with as well to see exactly how they're taking down Caligo. They're doing some good work as well. This Recluse locking in. Team Violet also in the business too. Both have very similar HP bars. Who do you guys think is going to take it out first?
I'm gonna go with Team Violet.
Team Violet, what about you, Jake?
It's close.
Heart
I guess
or mind?
Violet, I'm just a green believer, man. I'm on the green team, baby.
Green's the team I want to believe.
Yeah.
I choose to believe.
Well, Nev trying his best, Saikuno. A little rocky with Gladius, but after that, the bosses have looked good so far, so we're looking to see what he can do here against Caligo. Nice stagger. It's a huge one where you can actually find a crit. This is where you deal all your damage as much as you can. Crit hit comes in as well. That HP bar barely even moving at the end, though.
So he was able to finish off at first. If they're able to win, right? I mean, Team Green got some very low players there. Got to be careful on the Recluse. Not much of a defense. And at this moment, any hit would be enough to knock you down. Those ice boulders are threatening. Violet takes it down on Saikuno now.
Uh-oh. Trouble in paradise for Team Violet. Resources running low. And you called it, yeah, Jake, on Team Green.
Again, this is an endurance fight in some ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, the dodges need to be perfect. Okay.
Like even when you get them, you know the mechanics at this stage of the game.
You gotta lock
But execution is challenging.
It's so tight. These massive AoE attacks.
Literally just frames of dodges you need. It's so wild. Whoa, nice iframes. Huge. And now everyone gets their HP back the more they hit this dragon.
Yeah, they gotta hit him though.
Yeah.
It's crucial though at this point with low resources, right? This gives you a chance to get a little bit healthy. But Caligo's evading a lot of these hits.
Yeah, so Will Knapp able to heal his teammates up, but he doesn't get anything from his ultimate, which is unfortunate, except for the will to live longer. Meanwhile, Team Violet taking their time, staying across the map. There is a little bit of damage fall off for Iron Eye's bow from this distance, so they are taking their time with this one, playing it very, very safe.
Guys, I feel like I bet on the right horse here. Team Green, come on. You got this. Oh, another download. It's going to slow them. I mean, that's the issue with the Recluse, right? You take some hits in this long endurance fight, you start going down.
And especially when you're down to the 3-pip wheel, that's a whole effort to get you back into the fight.
Your horse lost a leg there, man. I don't know what I'm looking at here, but it's
lock in, all right? I still believe.
This is tough.
Team Green, the Guardian, maybe with the Guardian ult, if they have it, they could use it to get him back up into the fight. So hard to get this res off, though, without an ultimate. They're trying.
Iron Eye can't get close, has to play it careful as well. You can see all the shards that come in. Huge bow shot, though. A little bit of stagger buys them time to get Wilnef back up in the business.
Still, they miss an opportunity to deal damage, and Caligo not going to stay on the earth for too long. This is a key moment in the fight where you do have that chance to start striking back. Saikuno goes down again for Team Violet. They need to stabilize here. That's a 2-bar down for them.
Still locking in with it, Team Violet. We're trying to see what they can do. It's going to be a tough one here.
They have a nice opportunity to res, though, in that moment where Caligo's flying away. It's just a small moment of respite where you're able to strike back and make this a competitive fight, get your whole team back up into the engagement. Team Green doing much the same. Looks like they're very low on resources here.
Ooh, that frost breath
through.
And the wing. Team Green losing 2 members so far.
Uh-oh, guys.
Down to just the Guardian. I believe that's Myth.
We need a Guardian ult
down.
when we needed him most.
Guardian ult will do it.
Yeah.
It'll bring them both back.
Does he have it is the question. They are grouping up for now. Myth has not used his ult from what I've seen so far in a hot minute. Has to be careful getting close to use that ult, though, with all those ice shards in play.
You got some range. It's got some range. If he's got the ult. If he's got the ult, now's the time.
Team Saikuno still struggling to deal
There it is, the
damage.
Guardian
ult. Clutch ult. Clutched it with the ult.
But they're instantly getting breath.
No.
Myth died, but that still is only his first down, so Myth's been playing really well in this fight. Should be able to get back up, but these are big hits coming in from Caligo. Both teams now, the run rests on the edge of a knife.
Just want to get Myth back up here, get 3 people.
fuck.
Neff going down while going for the res. All
Team
3
Green.
teammates gone. Team Green going to fall. Now it's all eyes on Team Violet. The last one here in the night hunt. Looking to see if they can cross that line, take down Caligo, take down one more Night Lord.
You know, sometimes that last 10% of that health bar is the biggest part of the health bar.
Feels like a half sometimes, and getting a res would be nice, but they've got to start working on the health bar of Caligo.
Uh-oh, if you don't hit that health bar,
Is this a chance? Maybe they can get him up while he flies, but they're so scared. I mean, they're worried about going down and losing their Raider, their Executor here during this range attack.
And they even have to be careful when they res him, because if they do it into the breath, like it just happened to Team Green,
he just goes over.
It's not a great time.
And look at this, it's like an AC 130 type runs coming in from the sky. There's no way you're going for reses while this is going on. If your teammate's saying, trust me, bro, I'm safe, Do not listen. It's not the case.
Nobody is safe when Caligo is on the field. They are able to res, though, getting the Executor back into the fight. And maybe with the two-man effort, they get up with the breath attack comes in. They both take big hits. Executor needs to clutch this one out, has to dodge perfectly.
He's gonna breathe right on him.
There's a lot of back rolling going on here. I love to see it.
He's back rolling into Ice Shards, though, so his Frostbite has to have been built up so much. This dragon is just kind of laughing right above both bodies as well.
Yeah, you cooked, buddy.
It's crazy.
So desperate for Garrick. He cannot afford to take a single hit here. Has to be clean, and there he goes.
He got clipped. Darn.
Team Violet, a close one.
Oh, he had the
there.
res. He had the second life.
Okay, we keep it going.
It's
20%.
not over.
Taking more damage.
Okay.
Maybe if he has the ultimate, the beast form could be powerful, getting people back in.
Yeah, the beast is really good for that.
And Caligo's giving them a moment, but the Frost Breath?
Every single point of damage they've done to their teammates right now has been damage they haven't been pushing on the boss.
It's 100%.
The boss health bar has
you
not
better use
moved
that
in a
ult if you're
long time.
Executor.
Again,
Stagnating.
I've seen
That's
the
why
hour.
that part of the health bar is the longest part.
I've seen the hour hand of a clock move more in the past 10 minutes than Caligo's health bar right now. Team Sykkuno, Team Violet needs to push it. Another down. Now it's up to the Wilder. Raided's up in the business. Not sure what he has left. Maybe he can pull his teammates closer and further away.
We're gonna have
Seeing
to
what's
see.
good here. I mean, this is just nuts right now. Team Violet still rocking forward. Another run coming in. And he did get Garrick up. It's not done.
They're refusing
It's
to
not
give
over.
up here.
Oh my God.
It's not over.
Colliding with Garrick, and he doesn't go down.
Resources
This is
so low.
crazy.
They're 1 HP on both players.
This has to be the worst airport on planet Earth. I'm not gonna lie, or wherever this is. I mean, no traffic control. This dragon lands exactly where he wants. Dude, another down.
It's starting to get really scary. Now all the downs are at 3 bars.
When you get to this point again, you're no longer fighting the dragon.
Garrick, you gotta
You're
solo this. Garrick, you just need to take matters
Parry mode.
into
Let's
your
go.
own hands
Come
here.
on.
I would love to see that. You know, I haven't seen a whole bunch of
Parry on
parry.
executive.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't seen a ton of it today.
Listen, you look at the sun, you stare straight into it, and you unsheath your sword, right? Like, take on a planetary problem here.
Oh my God, the breath attack.
Okay, out of range. Caligo gets closer.
Oh, the beast form.
Iframe straight to his
Beast form has
teammates.
come
Getting the
out.
heal off the beast form, going for the resurrects.
The big hit. Oh.
Does it?
Looks like it hit, looks like it hit. And back into the regular form, doing what damage he can. And if he's able to get his teammates back up in this moment, this could be another shot for
Dude,
Team Violet.
This is a 7-season anime, man. What am I watching?
This is a team that refuses to die.
They won't
that
give
was
up.
clutch.
I respect that. They
Not gonna
want
lie,
some
that was
points
clutch.
on the board here. Teams like Kuno.
7th resurrection arc happening here. Can our trio take this down? The protagonists of the story.
They can't go down here. They need to be at full strength when Caligo lands after this flying phase. This is a full pressure moment here for Garrick and the gang.
It'll be a huge opportunity if they can survive this to the landing.
Maybe they can talk to Caligo at the end and ask him to change
Ultimate from
sides.
Sykkuno.
Big
with the
hit.
stagger. Where's
Frostbite
the follow-up?
coming
They need more
in.
damage. Oh, the Frostbite
Oh,
procs.
no.
It's not going to take him down yet, though, right? So it'll affect his stamina, it'll affect his HP, but past that, here comes the damage.
He's
Seems
so
like Kuno.
tanky.
That's
Oh
damage.
my God.
That's damage. He has been hit.
Little by little.
And we're down again.
Oh.
See, trades like that.
Renewed for another season
down,
right now.
Garrick.
Yeah, this is
We're
crazy.
getting another season.
Can Garrick do it again?
Another season comes in, the animation kind of falling off, but the set
Oh my
pieces
gosh,
still look good.
This Garrick is doing a lot
I
of work.
want Garrick
out
on my
there.
team in the ranked games,
Oh,
but in the
Oh my goodness.
wait. Oh, no, never mind.
end,
Another
the war
one.
episode.
Yeah, another one.
yeah.
If he had another resurrection, we're cutting away. guys.
Garrick had a
I'm sorry,
son,
we're
and his son has to
we're
come back
cutting
and
away.
res his dad.
Yeah,
Like, it gets
exactly,
crazy.
exactly.
Oh my God. So close. These guys having such a, just, I think, the most phenomenal, crazy length of a run we've ever seen.
Wild stuff there.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, just such a great diversity of experience of the whole run.
Yeah.
And then just to see all the different kinds of ways to fight Caligo, who did end up winning against some of our teams.
Yeah. I mean, losing seems fun there, Jake. I'm not going to lie. Like, that's a story. That's a story to tell.
Like-
Especially when you beat Caligo one day.
Yeah, that
Remember
was
the
fun.
last time you faced him, we like died 5
Even
times.
when
and
you
it's
lost like
crazy.
that, that
Garrick
still
was
looked
doing
kind of
God's
fun.
work out there. We got to put some
Yeah.
respect on the name.
Mad
Really
props to
impressed.
Garrick.
Like, I want that guy
clutch
on my
there.
team when I queue up to start playing some Night Reign. Somebody who will not give up, who reses the teammates time and time again with those clutch plays. Like, that's a team that you give them one more run at Caligo, I think we see a very different outcome. They could really grow as a group. But across the board here on our event, all of our teams put up in masterful performances it's going to be a 4-way tiebreak. We're parsing that out right now. We're coming to figure out who our winner is. For the meantime, though, let's take a look at some of the highlights here from round 3, from all of our team's wonderful Caligo runs.
Absolutely. When we look at the highlights so far from this Frost Dragon, we had some host invasions or some Night Lord invasions coming in.
We had a surprising amount of Night Lord invasions, some of which were very impactful to the run.
Yeah, absolutely. It goes genuinely wild. So Team Gray here had a really cool run coming through. Lots of ulcerated tree spirits as well. I feel like the deeper we went down the Night Lord list too, the more variation we had for some of these people on Night Boss 1, Night Boss 2. It went crazy.
Seeing the dancer.
Yeah, I love to see the dancer.
How cool was that?
Dude, seeing Lil Aggie's team on 25% less HP the entire time, or whatever it was, that was crazy, right? That was Libra coming in.
We didn't get to see them tell Libra to, because Libra comes and he's like, pay me or bad things are going to happen to you. And they're like, I'm not going to pay you. And guess what?
There's a bad thing. Yeah, they paid no matter what. The cool thing with Team Gray that I like the most is that they actually switched up their comp coming in to this third session, right? This was the double, Katana, double Executor team that we were watching. At the same time, they rock in now. Afro Senju comes in with his team, Balvin, and they look really good. They had nice vibes. Fought that nice boss. I didn't get all the way through, but at the same time,
that round was so sad, bro. The ship was sinking.
I'm a fan of Afro
I was trying to be positive.
He was locked in. He was giving us some huge moments.
Yeah.
They did their best to try and clutch out, but
we didn't even see that. They fought the Grafted Monarch.
That's crazy.
He's got a new limb now. It's quite fun.
He's got a lot of those. He's got a lot of those limbs in the bag. Team Blue. Let's see some highlights from their run.
Yeah, we had an Augur invasion.
Yeah, the Augur giving you FP like crazy.
These are Night Lords, but they're very different than the ones that you're going to face when they're the main target.
Sort of scaled for a world boss appearance, but can be super powerful depending on the build you end up running.
Yeah, Ancestor Spirit, and I love having Iron Eye against that Spirit. You kind of just snipe him down for the ground. Hate when he starts to run. Saw the Godskin duo in full form this time, and they have a brand new moveset, which is crazy.
I'll tell you what, today has made me want to play Iron Eye. A lot.
Yeah. Lots of just shooting, lots of damage, and I like Team Blue's run on Caligo as well, because this wasn't the Team Blue we were used to watching, right? They were very clean, high levels, fast runs. This time, it just seemed like, they struggled just a little bit, and just Caligo took that damage.
And I wouldn't even say they struggled, they just didn't evaporate the boss.
My bad. They weren't perfect. My sorry, like, it goes, okay,
Cowboy.
So that's not fair. They're playing with 5 teammates in total. You got Cowboy, his 2 teammates, and the guns. That's not fair at all. Someone's gotta check that.
That's right.
You gotta check the rules on that.
Team Bronze, I mean, just 3 immaculate runs back to back. The coordination was on fire from this team. We heard when we tapped in with Loudly, just constantly cheering the team on. It's clear that they really brought that team spirit, and really is the dream for Elden Ring Nightreign. You're able to hop on with your best friends, play these runs, get a unique experience every time, really playing the game to perfection. I mean, another masterful run here when they were able to take down Caligo. The Magma Worm able to get that, legendary weapon upgrade at the bottom of the crater, so powerful. And they had their own Dance of the Boreal Validated challenge.
Yeah, this thing was nuts. We saw some crazy dodges over and over again.
Look at this damage. I think we did.
This is why we didn't see this. Never mind.
That's even more damage than a Duchess double Iron Eye.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And they locked in with Caligo. No question about it.
Level 15. Oh my! Another level 15. I'm blown away. I've seen like that one time.
If you get to 15 in any of your games, that's a really big achievement.
Yeah.
Yes.
In fact, that is an achievement.
I think it's
literally an achievement. And just to see it perform so effectively here over and over, it's just a testament to these teams' skill.
Yeah.
Team Cyan, another team that I know won a ton of fans today. Incredible performances. Whoa. Distortion set the standard on the Recluse. I mean, we talked about this character a little bit, in the prelude to the show, but Distortion really put on a show that exactly what is possible with this character when you really are getting that build online, when the team is all playing together, coordinating, getting those damage phases in. I mean, this was an incredibly fast Night Lord kill.
Listen, for Distortion, exclamation mark breakfast, exclamation mark what time do you sleep? How many swishes of the brush do you have when you brush your teeth? How is this guy built so different when it comes to approaching games like this, solving them before they even come out, man? It's actually absolutely insane. Cyan, a shoo-in even to be here inside this tiebreaker. It looks just nuts. Moving on from this team, though, they made a record pacing of that. Team Purple locking it in. Lots of content from this team today. They were looking really good from camp to camp.
Yeah, and they were able to run it back and still get some very solid runs in, despite a couple of setbacks throughout. So an impressive performance from Team Purple, taking down this Magma Worm here at a relatively early level, making mincemeat of Valid Gargoyle. And I mean, come on, the power stance on these legendary weapons is crazy. I've never seen that.
I haven't either.
Yeah, actually. And so we didn't get to see too much of the Draconic Tree Sentinel itself, but man, that guy just packs a wallop. A lot of teams had to face him. Go back over to Caligo. Again, this team had so much fire damage, and that's a really unique thing against this boss. You end up just chunking him down again and again. Candlesticks, the Blasphemous Blade on power stance. You're just doing jump attack damage like crazy, weapon art damage like crazy. You barely even see him in the second phase.
If you got Blasphemous Blade power stance, do you really need anything else?
No,
You're good to go.
You don't need teammates even, I feel like. You can just do that all yourself. So, Aura of Oppose there by Wilder towards the end. Looking really good.
Yeah, a great set of runs there. Team Tan as well. I mean, let's see some of the highlights from their run. Oh, that's a little warning sign they get on the drop in.
Oh yeah, this is where they met.
Libra asked for a deal. This time you can't refuse so easily.
Yeah, this is tough. And they all
Libra got revenge. It's
Libra
from the last run.
This was Libra's revenge.
He got his pound of flesh, but Team Tan still recovered, right?
Did.
So impressive to me that even on a glass cannon build where you're very close to dying in one hit, with that reduced HP, you pretty much died at one of these powerful hits from a main boss. And the fact that they were still able to deliver a winning run in the Caligo fight, so impressive. I think fans of Lil Aggie won't be disappointed by this immaculate run that the team put together.
It's just absolutely insane. They had to play perfectly. They still went down and made a few mistakes, and at the end of the day, just ended up popping off. When it comes to Team 10, possibly the team to look at when it comes to perfection when playing the game. And again, Caligo down, big achievement.
That team comp.
That's it. Okay.
Is the best.
It might not be the smartest thing for me to do. That's
but
what I'm
you
playing.
want to try it.
That's what I'm playing this week.
Absolutely. Team Green not locking it in. Team Heart, we kind of renamed them to. Team Soul for you, Jake.
Dude, I love these guys.
Yeah, they face Augur as well. Things look so good.
This is like, honestly, like, I'm gonna be real with you. This is where I'm at in the game. Like, I'm not gonna win every run. I'm not like some of these insanely top tier players that we've got here in the competition, but this just shows some of the passion and the excitement. It makes me want to hop in and play with my friends and see what happens in any kind of run. Try to put something strong enough together to have a good shot at taking down the Night Lord.
Absolutely, and they took down Gargoyles on multiple runs. They were kind of transferring and looking at what's happening inside the crater. Faced off against Freya. I think this is one of the first times you saw Wolnaf using Recluse, and he was doing pretty well.
And looked solid.
He was.
Any other Night Lord, I feel like, too, on this Recluse, I feel like it could have been a pass, right? Like, if they were facing Gladius, maybe even the Sentient Pest, could have done a really good job. Against Caligo, though, it's a tall order. You got to bring your absolute A game, right? So that's a cool thing about the game, too. Again, a roguelike type of game. You get in, you learn about your enemy, you go and redo the run again. You fight more bosses, new bosses, and you try the Night Lord.
You're gonna have different challenges every time, but also different opportunities.
Yeah.
So things will fall into place.
Yeah, and then this is Team Violet as well. Team Anime, I guess, is what we want to call them, or the team that lasts the longest time. What they were doing was crazy, Jake.
A team that would not fail, that just held on for so incredibly long in that fight. Here's their road to get there, how they were strong enough to be able to push Caligo to its limit the way they did in that final engagement with the Night Lord. Making mincemeat of this Death Right Bird, showing a lot of confidence here. But of course, you never know how the run's gonna go until it really gets down to the Night Lord. You might think you're powerful, you might start to feel pretty confident. The Night Lord can snatch that away.
Yeah, and this is just nuts what we saw from Team Violet. Sky crashing down.
Dude, what
doesn't
the
matter. Having a fun
What
time.
the heck?
And then, yeah, their multiple season arc getting extended by one season by Garrick.
This was definitely a full season.
Yeah.
Like there was drama, there was passion.
Yeah, literally.
The whole thing was there.
Flashbacks, everything. And finally, they go down. Again, while we were watching these highlights, we saw, multiple teams get that win over all three Night Lords on the day.
Four-way tie.
Four-way tie. A big tiebreaker up in the business, Jake.
Yeah, we're gonna jump in to the scorecard. We're gonna break down how we're gonna break this tie for y'all and eventually announce our winner. So this is the score breakdown, right? Yeah, this is the tie break now to release it to everyone. It is the team with the most runes at the end of round 3 here. So that final round, all these runners, all these teams were able to put together 3 successful wins. So they're gonna be coming down to how good that last run was. Yeah. How many bosses did you clear in the overworld? How quickly did you move? I mean, that's really we talk a lot about the Night Lords, but we really need to talk about the whole spirit of the game in Elden Ring Nightrign, which is trying to clear through those overworlds, get your build rolling, get as many bosses down as you possibly can so that you are at full strength. Absolutely, let's talk about that full strength. Let's talk about the 4 teams. So first off is Team 10, and I say first, but I mean 4th overall, with 1,160,000
227 runes. So that's a little Aggies team.
They took that death to Libra, right? They recovered the run impressively, but it was too hard for them to keep up on the rune totals after, taking those early deaths with some of the really clean runs that we saw elsewhere.
Yeah, it's lost runes, it's lost time.
Yeah.
In the number 3 slot,
Team Cyan, led by Distortion 2, put together some really impressive runs, immaculate performances with 1,436,000 runes. A great showing from them, but it's only enough to land them that podium finish in 3rd place.
Yeah, 2nd place overall is Team Blue, which is fighting Cowboy as the captain. 4,174 afterwards. You can remath that, but 1,704,174. It's crazy.
That's a lot of runes.
That's a lot of runes. Now,
all these teams put together impressive runs. All these teams put together an amazing showing. But our champion here today is going to be Team Bronze, led by Duality. 1,761,000 runes total. An insane performance. I believe they hit level 15 in that final run of the day. This was a team that was so fun to watch. Every time we tapped in, they were psyching each other up, playing towards that team spirit, and you could feel it, you could see it in the success of their runs.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. 60,000 runes of a difference. Dan, that's like an ever jail for the whole team.
That's less than an ever. Man, that is.
It's crazy.
That's close.
Yeah, very, very close. It could have been a different night boss. It could have been stuff that they didn't even plan for. But once again, congratulations to all 4 teams. Big congratulations to Team Bronze, Luality. I think we have Luality on interview right now as well. So, Luality, what is up? How are we feeling? It's just crazy when we come to what we look at today, Jake, in terms of what we saw.
Yeah, I mean, it was an amazing performance from them across all 3 runs. So incredible consistency-wise. Luality, I think we have her here with us now. Do you hear us, Luality?
Let's see if he's here. Luality will appear in a second. Jake's using his spell casting. There she is. With this, such a cute, is that a dog in tow or a cat? I'm not even sure. We'll see what it is. Luality, how's it going?
It's a bunny.
A bunny?
Jake, you got experience with that.
Wait, my girlfriend has a pet bunny too. I'm such a fan. Luality, I was a fan through all the runs. I'm an even bigger fan knowing now that you have an incredibly cute bunny. But I want to talk today about your teammates. These incredible people you brought together. How do you know each other? Like, how did you bring this squad together to get the win here today?
Listen, my audio is a little bit delayed, but hopefully this will get just right. So I met Gino Machino before he started streaming. I was a full-time streamer at the time. He was part of my community, and it has actually been so rewarding over the years, see him grow, because I remember when he had just started streaming, and he had like 5 years. I was like, this is the best player that I've seen play From Software games. You need people need to know about him, So over the years, seeing him grow has been fantastic. And CPD, or CPD, however you would like to call him, I met him in the Twitch Rivals of Elden Ring. And it was me, CPD, and Technique. Technique had only played Elden Ring once, and CPD was an absolute sweetheart. He had all the patience in the world to teach us everything, and we stay up late at night, learning things together, and it was just lovely.
Absolutely amazing. When it comes to just like playing here today as well,
I thought they would be great people to bring along for this.
Amazing. I love that. When it comes to the actual gameplay itself, did you guys have a lot of planning going into these like big Night Lord fights, or was it kind of just vibes, see what you want to do? Like, were you the leader overall when it comes to what we saw? We'll see if the delay hits Luality in a second. Nice, she's good.
Could you repeat the question? I
sorry.
Hear.
Yeah. When it comes to like how you guys played taking on these Night Lords, did you guys have a plan coming into things, or did you just kind of vibe it out, play off each other? Like were you guys talking a lot beforehand, or was it like you being the leader? What was the plan overall?
It was always teamwork. Even as we were going around the map. Even as we were going around the map, we all kind of like learned together what was the best, and then we would just make decisions on the stop. So you know, on that, it was just teamwork. It was lovely.
Nice. Absolutely amazing. You guys did such a good job. Now, when it comes to prizing, I know you have the best prize in the world when it comes to the bunny right there in your arms. At the same time, there's something, you know, all your team has earned right now. You guys have been playing with them for a little bit in game. It's gonna be even cooler if you can see the stream to have them out of game. It's the replica items from Guardian and Wilder. What do you think about like this grand prize of these weapons being able to be held by you guys in real life?
That is amazing. However, we are probably going to need to fight each other, maybe rock, paper, scissors or something, to decide who is going to get the sword, because that's the favorite. And we'll see what happens then.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think about these items, Jake? Like,
I'm such a fan. I mean, these things are pretty hefty. They're pretty solid. This is going to be so incredible for like the background of somebody's stream setup, or you know, to be displayed in your home. So I could see, you know, it's just going to be awesome. A great prize for you to look back on this incredible, successful run. We just want to say congratulations again, Duality. It was awesome to watch you guys play. We could see the team chemistry between you and your teammates, always, you know, hyping each other up. It made it really fun to follow your run. So thank you so much for competing and for showing up, and congrats again on your win.
Can I just say one thing, Esther?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wanted to thank the people in the background of this event. They have been incredibly helpful whenever we had questions, whenever we had technical problems. And I hope I'm saying this for everyone that participated in this event. But the people in the background of this event, they have gone above and beyond to make this work. Getting all of this setup and all this running together, you guys have done a great job. So thank you so much for that.
That's so kind of you to say, Lualdi. I mean, the team here was really put their heart and soul into this event. I know all the fans watching at home, I mean, we couldn't have done it without you either, right? Like all the excitement around this game, around Elden Ring Nightraign. And of course, the game is releasing very soon. You too at home can hop into the action on the 29th at 3 p.m. PST. It's dropping on Steam. And at 9 p.m., it's going to be dropping on PlayStation and Xbox. So everyone's going to be able to get into the action very soon. We know there's a lot of content to look over, a lot of VODs to check out. You can, you know, see who played your favorite characters, who you want to see in a little bit more detail. I know everyone's going to be diving into that as they wait to hop into the game, dissecting all this footage on Reddit. But none of this would have been possible without the incredible support of the fans here of Elden Ring Nightraign.
Absolutely. Thank you again to Team Luality, who was playing with us today. Thank you again to Dan. You were absolutely amazing, my man.
Double Duchess Iron Eye this weekend. Buckler Perry.
Yeah. When it comes to the game itself, the Standard, Deluxe, and Collector's Edition are also available. That pre-order bonus is also there for the Jester. For everyone playing and watching today, what you watched was like a river, a raindrop in an ocean, maybe even a planet like Neptune of content that's available inside Nightraign. Get the game. I want to see you in there. I hope you have a really good time, and good night.
Hey, man. That's that, y'all. Elden Ring Nightraign. Now they're doing something on Twitch where you could get like badges in the game or some shit like that. But yeah, that's that. Let's look at the chat. Let's see what the chat is talking about. Let's see what the chat is feeling this. This was fun, y'all. Save me from Darkrai, wake me up inside. GG. I'm trading my nuts for this game. W ending, Night Fairs. So yeah, people are fucking with it. So yeah, it has a 78 on Metacritic, but I think that score will go up as like a classic. I don't know what the media was expecting, but I mean 78 is still a good score. But I thought it was going to get at least an 85. But we'll see. But yeah, so we'll be back on this tomorrow. I think you can get like some badges or something like that. So I'm gonna get on with Raw and see what's going on with that. But yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. So you already know the vibes. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's your boy Just Falls, and we are out.